On day 1, I splashed into the world as Water Pokemon Squirtle. I was as small as a raindrop, but my lack of tsunami size wasn't one to keep me down. I guess we're doing a beach episode. This seems like the perfect place to play some volleyball. If it weren't so hot, that is. Jeez, I'm sweating my shell off out here. Sun, go away. Come again another day.
The sun may be hot, but I'm sweltering.
I panned down to see a Mega Charizard X standing imposingly in the sand. Oh hey, are you here on vacation too? It sure is nice not having to worry over getting trapped in a Pokeball out here. I'm like totally relaxed.
Vacation? More like staycation. I'm here 24/7. The paradise never ends. This is my turf, turtle. Now scram before I feed you to the seagulls.
But I'm not just a turtle, I'm a Squirtle.
Beach Smeech, you think you can just waddle in and steal my favorite suntanning spot? I'm the fiery guy of Apacalpo Beach. Make like some sea foam and fizz before I flip-flop out on you.
What does that even mean? Jeez, can't we just share the beach? There seems to be enough room for all of us.
Share? Oh sure, that's funny. You're funny. Didn't you hear me the first time, turtle? I said scram.
The Mega Charizard unleashed a terrifying jet of fire, scaring me so bad I had no choice but to run. Yikes! So much for a fun in the sun kind of day. This is almost as disappointing as getting sand in your shoes. Well, I'm sure he doesn't stake claim over the entire beach. I guess I'll just have to take my 100-day vacation elsewhere. On day 2, I galloped along the warm sand of Apacalpo Beach, looking for a place to relax. I was lucky that big old Charizard wasn't able to blast me with his fire breath. Being as small as a water droplet only yielded me 8 hearts. One of the best parts of vacationing is trying all the cool new foods. Could really go for a refreshing treat right now, like lemonade or some iced tea or some guava. That's it. Don't mind if I do. As I chowed down on some delicious guava, I felt something pelt me on the shell. It was a Charmander's fireball. Youch! Come on, no battles, please. Haven't you heard? Zozo's on vacation, which means no fighting, no quarrels, no mining, no quests.
And no guava. That's my dad Charizard's favorite vacation snack, not for rando consumption. I'm what you could call his guava guardian.
Guava guardian? I've never heard of any guava-type Pokemon before.
Guava-type Pokemon? I'm a Charmander, you goof. And if I recall, fire and water don't mix. So why don't you make like a seashell and... Oh, forget it. Dad is way better at those similes than I am. Just scat.
If Charizard's last one-liner was supposed to be a good one, I'd hate to hear what yours are.
Oh, sick burn. Wait, I'm the only one allowed to make sick burns. No more guava. Eat my flames, fool.
Charmander was fast to attack me, and I quickly learned his feisty attitude wouldn't burn out anytime soon. Scared, I'd be sizzled to nothing. I began to trot off, but ran straight into a Raichu. Oh no, an electric-type Pokemon. If I know anything, it's that electricity and water make a far worse pair than fire and water.
Just keep your distance and you'll be fine. The last time I high-fived a water type, bad things happened. I just wanted to celebrate my teammate's beach volleyball tournament win, man. Horsey, I'm so sorry.
Your eyes are getting all watery.
I'm not crying. I've just got sand in them.
Well, as a water type myself, I feel compelled to help you unpack this tear-welling experience. Want to take this somewhere else? I've got vacation time to kill, and I need to unpack my literal bags as well.
Sure, I know the perfect place, and it's far cheaper than staying in a resort. Follow me.
With my new ally, I ran out of the danger zone, ready to find exciting new pastures of this vacation world. On day 3, Raichu took me to a far-off part of the beach, assuring we wouldn't be bothered by any fire types.
This part of the shore gets the most washed-up trash. It may not be pretty, but since it's a far cry from paradise, Charizard wouldn't dare lay a flaming foot here. Plus, all this garbage serves for some awesome kindling.
And ironic you'd take me to your campfire, being I've been trying to avoid avoid fire anything for the past 2 days.
Oh, I know, but since this area of the beach is quite shaded, the ocean breeze makes it chilly fairly quickly. I didn't want you to change from a water type into an ice type.
I don't think that's a possible evolution for me, but regardless, I appreciate the sentiment. I went ahead alone to explore the area, and in the process, I ran into a Weedle.
Who are you? You're not here to capture us, are you?
Capture you? Oh no, I don't sling any Pokeballs. I'm here on vacation, just like every other Pokemon.
Oh, good.
I'm Squirtle Zozo. Nice to meet you. And you are... Geez, you're awfully small. Just a Weedle little guy, aren't ya?
That's because I'm a Weedle.
A Weedle what?
A Weedle.
Yeah, but a Weedle bit what?
Oh, forget it. Anyways, you gotta help us, Zozo. That nasty Charizard and his lackey keep ruining all our vacations. We used to come to Acapulco Beach to relax. They've made our time off so stressful that we'd rather be cooped up in Pokeballs or engaging in battle or something.
Jeez, that's no good. If it grants relaxation for others, I guess I'll be spending my own vacation time trying to rid these guys off of Acapulco. Maybe I'll even defeat them in 99 days. And once they're gone, I'll spend that 100th day building a victory sandcastle.
Oh, thank you, Zozo. Thank you so much. Now let's fire those fire types off the island. Or you can fire those fire types. I'll be standing off to the side for emotional support and definitely not attempting to avoid conflict in any way.
From day 4 to day 5, I scoured the beach for wood and crafted a wooden pickaxe. Sick of its splinters, I then gathered a bunch of stone and fancied myself a new set of tools, a stone sword and a non-splintery stone pickaxe. I may be adventuring on vacation time, but I can at least build myself an on-theme base. And build I did. A bodacious beach bungalow, that is. Or maybe not totally bodacious, but it was definitely enough for me and my friend Raichu. Despite being my pal, I was sure to make us our own separate rooms. I didn't want to run the chance of getting electrocuted in my sleep. Once I was done, Raichu dropped in to admire all my hard work.
Awesome bungalow, Squirtle Zo. It's sure to protect us from guys like that.
Guys like, oh no! A lousy enemy Pokemon popped up right outside our base. It's a Sandslash! I brandished my sword and trotted outside, striking the Sandslash with all my might. A lot cheaper than paying for a vacation or spa day. It was mildly relaxing, and with a few clean swings, I was able to take him out shortly after. In wake of my victory, I was granted 12 hearts, an energy-packed water blast, and evolved into my new and improved form, a war turtle. This'll be sure to douse those fire types' flames. Call me a firefighter, cause I'm fighting that fire. I'll workshop that. From day 6 to day 8, I decided to step away from the beach and journey into the nearby Cherry Blossom Forest, a popular tourist site amongst vacationing Pokemon. So this is where all those fancy photo ops take place. I wonder if Sharam lives here. Man, me and him go way back. Expecting to hear the typical camera snaps and shudders associated with the area, I was surprised to be met with angry shouting not too far off from where I was.
It's Beta Beedrill. You're ruining my photo.
Is everything good over here?
No, everything is not good. A stupid Beedrill keeps photobombing my perfect shots. Oh, come on. If it keeps hogging up the frame, I'm gonna start charging it a photographer's fee.
Relax, I've got it under control. I left the salty Vulpix to his own devices and hunted down the photobombing Beedrill. Come on, man, you're ruining priceless memories. I instantly attacked the Beedrill with my stone sword, striking him several times. It took a few tries, but I sent him spiraling to the ground where he'd never mess with Vulpix's photography again. I ran back to my new buddy with the good news. Boom, I did it.
Gee, thanks. If I want to snag the perfect pic, we're gonna have to move this photo op elsewhere and evade some dangerous foes in the process. A shoot is never a shoot without some risk.
That sounds a little scary, but I'm down to try. From day 9 to day 10, Vinny Vulpix and I walked through the Cherry Blossom Forest for quite some time, mostly because he kept taking pictures of all the most scenic trees and views.
I'm making memories out here.
Yeah, but we should be making tracks. Didn't you say there was a dangerous latest evolved Pokemon in the area?
Are you talking about the 3 Dougs?
3 Dougs?
Yeah, 3 Dougs. And together, they form the Doug Trio.
I soon found out exactly what Vinny meant as a rumbling earthquake separated us. Part of the ground exploded, and I fell into a small grotto where I encountered Doug Trio.
3 heads are better than 1. You do the math, Baldy.
Whoa, I didn't know you were fire type.
We're not. We're ground type.
Then why are you giving me burns? I launched an attack that should have been super effective against Doug Trio, but the triple threat was too speedy for my attack to connect. Doug Trio hit me with a melee attack that dropped my hearts low, and I knew that this battle would end in my loss if I kept this up. I decided to make a turtle-tastic retreat out of the ground-type grotto to get away from Doug Trio. Farther into the woods, I reunited with Vinny Vulpix.
I was totally crazy. I took some great pictures of you running for your life.
Delete those. I'll be able to defeat the 3 Dougs on the inevitable rematch several days from now. This was just a warm-up.
Say don't spray it, water boy. Anyway, all this nature walking has me eager to relax back at the hotel. But I lost my room key in that earthquake.
No problem. You can stay at mine for a bit while your photos develop. You can pay me back with manual labor.
Manual labor? What kind of vacation is this?
From day 11 to day 12, Vinny Vulpix and I returned to my beach bungalow. When we arrived, I saw that my friend Raichu had demolished my old base and replaced it with a massive new base. It was gorgeous, but the interior was a bit empty, so I quickly built a computer room for Vulpix and a dark room tailored to his needs, figuring he had a lot of pics to develop.
A very own dark room? Oh man, this is awesome, Squirtle Zo. I'm sorry, and I mean this as a compliment, but you're never gonna see me again. I'll be cooped up in here developing photos like there's no tomorrow. I'll tell you what.
Glad you like it, Vinny. If you ever want to dip your paws into some interior decorating, we could use a few framed pics up on our walls. It's looking a little barren in here.
Oh, for sure, Zo. I'm a sucker for displaying my work. You know, I've always wanted to try out digital photography, so while you were as busy as a beach rail, I decided to upgrade the base a little bit myself. I fancied you a pond and a computer room. I hope you don't mind. Maybe you can use it to book flights for your next vacay or something, once these 100 days are up. I don't think I'd stay at Acapulco ever again. They've been pitching me a timeshare ever since I got here, and I'm not a fan of those. Not when there's plenty more places to explore.
I feel you, Vinny. I'm a man of variety. I don't like staying in the same place over and over again, and in fact, I change into something new over and over again. Buying a timeshare would be pointless for me. Every 100 days, they'd have to prove I'm the same guy, just in a different body. Who knows? Maybe I'll spend my next 100 days as a regular old turtle. That'd be awesome.
Well, before you go all totally turtle on me, better pick up the pace on, whatever it is you're supposed to be doing right now.
Oh, yeah, I should probably go grab some iron ingots and upgrade these Stone Age tools of mine. And I did exactly that. I descended into a nearby cavern with my pickaxe, mining a bunch of iron ore. I was able to nab some ingots and smelt myself a new pair of tools, an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. On my way back to the bungalow, I ran into a gaggle of sheep who were seemingly looking for a place to stay. Lost room keys too, huh? Well, I've got the perfect spot for you. Come on now, sheep, come on, follow me back home. But they didn't follow. Oh, I get it. Come on now, Wooloos. That seemed to do the trick. From day 13 to day 15, I was in the computer room trying to order a bundle of water stones online in order to evolve further than my Wartortle form. I know I can beat the 3 Dougs if I'm fully evolved into my most turtlefying evolutionary stage yet. I was so engrossed in finding the best deals that I didn't notice Raichu enter the lab.
Hey, Zozo, what are you doing?
Getting some water stones so I can evolve like you.
What? I may have evolved from Pikachu with a Thunderstone, but Wartortle don't evolve with a Water Stone.
I don't?
No way, buddy. You gotta find yourself an EXP potion.
What does the EXP stand for?
Excellent Extreme Potion.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I did a quick search online to find out where they sold EXP potions and found out there was a convenience store in the Cherry Blossom Forest. I took a scenic walk out through the biome and soon found a ruined building that was partially on fire. I panicked when I realized what it used to be. Oh no, the convenience store has been destroyed. How inconvenient! I turned around and saw a smug-looking Charmeleon holding the exact kind of EXP potion that I had come here for.
If anybody asks, I burned the store down by accident. Also, it wasn't me.
Whatever. Can I just have that potion?
Finders keepers. Losers, you.
I'll show you a loser! I went to war, Tortle, with Charmeleon, and we pulled out iron swords to have an exhilarating saber duel over who got to keep the potion. It was a tense clash, as most sword fights to the death are, but I came out victorious. If anybody asks, this Charmeleon was never here. Also, yay, potion! I drank the spoils of war, Tortle, and began to evolve into an entirely new and mightier form. Blastoise! I had 32 turtle-rific hearts and a couple of mean-mounted shoulder cannons that I could use to fire my water blasts, but also my brand new ice blasts. From day 16 to day 19, I traversed into the sandy dunes looking for some vacay recreation and flexing my new form a bit. Anyone out here itching to play a round of beach volley? I just recently evolved, and I think my big strong Blastoise arms could totally crush in a game. I may have been big and strong, but my large feet got caught on something below me and I toppled to the ground. Youch! What gives? Sitting in the sand was a big hefty book. Curious of my find, I briefed through the pages, and what I found was upsetting to say the least. Purchase timeshare, purchase timeshare, purchase timeshare, all under the same name. Charizard! Why is this guy buying out almost every slot on the Acapulco Vacationers Market? Surely he'd rather spend his money staying somewhere else. The overworld is too big not to explore. As I was talking, Charmeleon appeared behind me.
Ugh, you're telling me I wanted to go to Pal World. Dad said that amusement park is a blatant ripoff of some other really popular game franchise. Anyways, thanks for finding his timeshare records book for me. I lost that out here a few days ago, and he's been bugging me to get it back.
Charmeleon? I thought I defeated you.
No, that was my younger brother. He was always the favorite, so I appreciate you bumping me up on Dad's list. But if I really want to be son number one, I'm gonna have to destroy you. So, do me another solid.
Well, I won't do you a solid, but I can definitely do you a liquid. Take this, you annoying little ember! I unleashed my rain of literal rain onto Charmeleon, blasting him with several water blasts before striking him with my ice powers and turning him into a proper Charmeleon pup. Now that's what I call Charslander. See, I told you I'd workshop my one-liners. From day 20 to day 22, I geared up with more iron to strengthen the defenses of my already hard shell. I made a new batch of iron ingots from raw iron ore and used them to forge a formidable iron chestplate. Now that I'm armored up and fully evolved, it's about time for my rematch with the three Dougs, because I can! Doug Trio was still waiting in his stony grotto, like some kind of boss in a video game. I jumped down into the pit in order to face the three Dougs with my big bad Blastoise body. Hi Doug, how are you doing Doug? I'm back for a real fight.
You must be that war turtle from before. Find any burn heal for that zinger we gave you the last time?
I won't need any burn heal this time, because I can just put you on ice. I fired my ice blast at Doug Trio, inflicting the freezing status condition to lock all three Dougs in place. Then I used my water blast to bring a quick end to the battle. Three Dougs fainted. I might have overleveled for this. I looked around and I managed to find Vinny Vulpix's hotel room key in the grotto. Then I felt the temperature rise like crazy as Charizard flew over me. I managed to duck into a small cave to hide, but I couldn't help but overhear him talking to one of his Charmeleon children.
But Dad, I want to go home.
How many times do I have to tell you? We're never leaving this beach. We're going to stay on vacation forever, and that's final.
But I have to go back to school soon.
Junior, don't you dare use the S word around me now. I want you to go back to the beach and build sandcastles and eat ice cream and think about fun.
I hate it here.
The fire-type father and Charchild wandered off, and suddenly it all clicked for me. Charizard wants his vacation to last forever, and everyone who isn't related to him to never get a chance to enjoy it. What a burning jerk! And he won't get away with it! From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my bungalow base, exhausted from battle, and with Vinny's key in hand. Here you go, Vin. I went through heck and high water to get this key back, so I hope your hotel room was worth it.
Oh, sure. It was worth it. In until those fiery little Char children utterly destroyed the whole thing.
What? What do you mean?
Charizard's kids turned the place into a flaming playground, Zozo. You can see the smoke all the way from here. At this point, that hotel is suited for no one other than
The fire-type family. They're trying to sink their claws into every corner of this beach, Vinny. I'm sure of it. I'm gonna go grab some more iron ore. As far as I know, cast iron is flame resistant. I hope it'll make me the same if I wear enough of it at once.
Great plans, though. You're a better thinker than me. I should have known renting room 782 would have led to disaster.
I headed down into the caverns to grab some more iron ore. Using my collected ingots, I constructed a new iron helmet and boots to pair with my already made chest plate. Who knew being a Blastoise would require this many extra shells? For an already evolved species, we really need to step it up and evolve some more built-in armor. Trekking back to my bungalow, I was met face to face with a high wall surrounding it on all sides. Hello, it's me, Zozo. Who built this perimeter wall?
I did.
Vinny, is that you?
Sure is. What's the magic word?
What do you mean?
I built this upgrade for you in order to keep out rogue little Charmeleon brats. You need a magic word to get in. What's the magic word?
Stop playing games, Vinny. I'm tired from all this adventuring and need to lay down. What, do I need a room key or something?
Room key. Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Now come on in, you big Blastoise. I knew you had a brain beneath that thick iron helmet of yours.
From day 27 to day 31, I took another walk out through the hot sandy dunes, dreaming of the sandcastles that I might be able to build if I can have any peace and quiet away from Charizard and the whole Char family. Fortunately, there wasn't a trace of any Charmeleons in the area. There was another water-type Pokemon, the Lapras, relaxing along the side of a dune, so I decided to go over and introduce myself. Hey, pretty cool dunes, huh? Did you see the movie with the dunes? I hear Timothy Chalamet is even better in the second one. I'm Zozo, by the way.
Nice to meet you. I'm Simon Marquis de Lapras, but you can just call me Lapras. I haven't seen the Dune movie yet, so no spoilers.
I won't give anything away. Are you enjoying your vacation, Lapras?
Somehow I am, since those rowdy, unsupervised Charmeleons aren't going feral in this biome anymore.
I had nothing to do with that, but also everything to do with that.
Well, thank you. I come to this place for vacation every year, and it's never been this bad before. That Charizard is just ruining it for everyone.
You know, I actually have a great spot at the beach. You should come over and hang out with my friends and I. We'll even rent the first Dune movie.
That sounds so good right about now.
Lapras and I went back to base and had a chill time with some interior decorating. I harvested some wool from the Wooloo in the farm in order to hang up some banners. This really is the best spot in the house. I was having a blast when Raichu ran up to me, looking spooked out of his mind.
Zozo, we need your water Pokemon power. The Charmeleons are back on the beach going nuts, and Charizard still isn't supervising them.
From day 32 to day 35, I hurriedly followed Raichu to the other side of the beach, where a flurry of Charmeleon children were harassing horseshoe crabs.
What a silly decision to name these crabs after shoes. Once you flip them over, they can't seem to get back on their feet again.
What are you doing? You can't just leave them there like that. They're gonna end up frying under the sun.
That's the plan? Duh. Dad went out for his daily vacay dinner, and we got impatient waiting for leftovers. What we're doing isn't any less ethical than boiling lobster alive.
I don't like that you have some form of moral compass, yet still choose to do bad things. A pre-fight one-liner. Come on, pre-fight one-liner. I can't think of a good one now, but you get the idea. Get Blastoised! As I Blastoised the jar out of the Manders, I ushered a ton of horseshoe crabs back into the sea, trying to save them from burning alive under the sun's sweltering heat. However, one horseshoe crab looked a bit different. Wait a minute, is that?
Squirtle's Zozo? You're all grown up. Are you a Blastoise now? Is that what I'm seeing? Sorry, the sun is in my eyes.
Weedle! What have those kids done to you? How did they mistake you for a horseshoe crab? You don't even look remotely like a horseshoe crab.
They knew what they were doing, Zozo, and now they have exactly what they want. My timeshare belongs to their father now, because you can't share time when your time is up.
Oh, Weedle, don't say that. You're going to survive survive this. You're going to...
Get my timeshare back, Zozo. Get everyone's vacation time back. I know it's a grand task, but being the powerful adventurer that you are, the effort should be...
Weedle. Weedle's vacation ended far too soon, and motivated by his final words, I knew I couldn't rest until everyone was given the chance to have fun in the sun again. From day 36 to day 39, I remembered that it was never a bad time to enjoy the sights of the cherry blossom forest. I'm surprised these cherry blossom trees are still in season. Feels like I've been on vacation for weeks now. Because I have been on vacation for weeks now. The bug-type Pokemon Caterpie was crawling along the ground, and I could tell he overheard me talking about the trees.
Don't know if you noticed, but this entire overworld region is climate locked into an eternal spring and summer. It's why Pokemon from all over come to vacation here.
I guess that makes sense. I usually don't do my research on the overworlds I drop into in advance. It makes each new discovery that much more fresh.
Well, one thing you might not know is that the bright sunlight here makes the fire-type Pokemon much stronger than normal. That's why I've been hiding out here in the shade of these trees. I had a book I wanted to read, but I was startled by a flying Pokemon and dropped it a ways back.
I can go get your book back for you, Caterpie. You were super helpful about the trees and stuff, and I want to make sure your vacation is good too. I tried to retrace the path that Caterpie had made through the woods and was ambushed by a Pharaoh, a very rude and aggressive bird Pokemon. It's a good thing ice is super effective against flying types. I knocked out Pharaoh with one of my powerful Blastoise Ice Blasts. Wait, a flying type? That must mean the book is around here somewhere. I soon found Caterpie's book on the ground. It was a copy of Frank Herbert's science fiction novel, Dune. Whoa, so this is what those movies were actually based on? I thought they were just about sand. I gave the book back to Caterpie, and he filled me in on a bit more information regarding Charizard.
Charizard is a mega-evolved Pokemon, and his powers distort space and time shares around him. The longer he stays here in the overworld, the more unbearable both the heat and his family will become.
From day 40 to day 43, I trotted back to my beach bungalow, met with some welcome home improvements by my best friend Raichu.
Hey, Zozo, just out of curiosity, what happened after you confronted those beach-destroying Charmeleons a few days back? Sorry for leaving you in the dust, or sand.
No hard feelings, but there was plenty of tough emotional processing to be had on the way back here. They ended up defeating Weedle.
Oh no, Zozo, I'm so sorry. Well, I've got just the Weedle thing to cheer you up.
Too soon.
I added some bookshelves and couches to the base. We trek in sand on our paws all the time, so I figured sitting up off the floor would help. Bookshelves are chock full of travel pamphlets, so when we're finished destroying the Char family, we can flee to an undisclosed location and avoid any legal repercussions.
Raichu, I became a lawyer in surviving 100 days in Pal World, which viewers should totally watch, by the way. So anything you do and say to me can easily be used against you in a court of law. We stood in awkward silence for a bit before Raichu's guests arrived.
Sweet, my dad's here. Initially, we were supposed to split a room at the Apacalpa Hotel, but since it's overrun with flaming heckfire children, I think their high energy would give him an electrifying heart attack.
No worries. Tell him to grab a seat. And as for myself, well, I think I'll take a break from all this adventuring myself. But my break didn't last long. Soon enough, Lapras arrived, and I went to meet him.
Zozo, my adventurous friend. Glad to catch you while you're not busy. We've got a bit of a problem. Dune 3, the Dune dudes, is supposed to start shooting today, but that lousy Charizard is rendering the biome uninhabitable to anyone but him. Please go chase him out of there. My favorite movie franchise depends on it.
From day 44 to day 49, I rushed out to the dunes per Lapras's request, hoping that lousy Charizard hadn't destroyed too much to remedy. According to IMDb, Dune is a mythic and emotionally charged hero's journey, which I suppose reflects my situation. Darn, I really should have invited Vulpix to film the fight. Maybe we could have made a movie better than Dune. But my thoughts on Dune were interrupted by the worst thing, Mega Charizard X himself.
With the way this biome is looking, any movie set would look better than Dune's.
Mega Charizard X? But why? Why are you destroying the dunes?
Dune's filming is gonna drive up vacationer attendance. I can't have my beaches flooded with annoying movie buffs. As of now, Acapulco rates 5 stars, and for me and my children, we won't settle for anything less, speaking of, here's one of those stars right now. Oh, Stormy, wipe off this annoying little water type, will ya?
MCX disappeared, leaving a vicious Starmie in his place. Oh no, a water type versus a water type? This has to be some kind of sick joke. But Starmie definitely wasn't joking. He thrust himself at me like a ninja star, and I had no choice but to engage in water-to-water combat. When Starmie kept on the offensive, I knew deliberation would be no use, and I had a sneaking suspicion I'd be fighting him for the next few days. From day 50 to day 53, I continued my battle with Starmie. Despite my bewildering waves, I was starting to feel washed up. You're a psychic type too, aren't you? Jeez, I can't tell if I have a headache from being dehydrated or because you're inflicting one on me.
Star-me, star-might, have this wish I wish tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might. Fill me with might so I can destroy this Squirtle.
You can't just make nursery rhymes and not rhyme. That's like crime against the whole concept of those. I tried to blast him with my ice powers, but from all this intensive battling, I was far too warm to keep cool. Starmie attempted to stick me with his spiky limbs, but I managed to dodge out of the way and deliver a few water blasts which, due to the dune's hot biome, came out as boiling water. Starmie was quickly defeated, and out from his boiled starfish body appeared some mystical diamonds. Hey, I saw these diamonds listed on Poke eBay when I was browsing for water stones all those days ago. They were far too overpriced, so I decided to give them the pass. Starmie was a water-type trader and a scalper? Man, why am I not surprised? I decided to pocket the mystical diamonds in my shell, hoping they'd come in handy later. I was really itching to craft myself the diamond sword, since the whole blue weapon thing would totally match my aquatic demeanor. From day 54 to day 57, I began my journey back home before I rudely interrupted a dune-dwelling Gyarados. Another water type in the desert? What on earth is going on? Actually, I'm one to talk. I'm also a water type in the desert. Worried he'd dry out in the dune's sweltering heat, I squirted him a few times with my water blast, but I guess I didn't know my own strength, and I ended up destroying him on accident. Well, there's always at least 2 casualties every 100 days. I eventually returned to my bungalow and met with Lapras, who was super enamored when I showed him the mystical diamonds Starmie dropped.
Wow, these are delightful.
No touchy! I want smudge-free diamonds for the sword I'm gonna craft.
Understandable. How's it Starmie's gone? I guess Charizard's Acapulco Beach just dropped down from 5 stars to 4, huh? Boy, that's got a sting.
You mean that's gotta burn? Lapras and I shared a good chuckle before I decided to crash out on the couch for a bit. But that bit only lasted for about 2 seconds before I realized I should get up and visit the mining caverns if I wanted to see that diamond sword come to fruition. Ocean blue tools, you're one step away. With you in my claws, it would make my day. And you can make my day too by subscribing to my channel, Zozo. That's Z-O-Z-O, Z as in Zubat, and O as in Oshawott. From day 58 to day 62, I dove down into the caverns like a deep-sea scuba diver, looking to mine some more crystal blue diamonds. I was lucky to strike a plentiful amount of ore not too far into my excursion. Quick to set up my crafting table, I made myself an ocean-colored diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. If only I could craft a diamond trident, Poseidon would be proud. When I returned to my base, Raichu scuttled up to me, his fur standing on end with impalpable electric excitement.
Squirtle Zo, check this out! While you were down mining in the depths, I decided to make the bungalow even better than before. I built a terrace for the Wooloos and made a pond.
Wow, our bungalow is turning into an even better place to stay than Acapulco Hotel. Thanks, Raichu, it's electric.
For sure, I can really feel the sparks between all of us friends living here. A vacation isn't a vacation without some close pals in your world, now is it?
Pal, world, why do those 2 words sound so familiar?
A ship has sailed, Zozo. No one wants to hear about that rip-off game anymore. We're at Acapulco Beach, not at Acapulco Breach. Now let's have a party galvanic style. What's shaking?
It's electric.
Just move it.
Like electric. From day 63 to day 66, Vulpix and I were admiring the photographs he took a long time ago.
This one's of my nephew's birthday birthday party. This massive Pokemon freeway. And this one is of me and my college friend.
Whoa, your college friend was a Butterfree?
Yeah, he was more like my best buddy free. I wonder what he's up to nowadays. The last time I saw him, he was working the graveyard shift at a gift shop. Never really pursued anything with his degree.
There's a gift shop right around the corner from Apaculpa Hotel. I've got some disposable income to drop. I'll take a stop by. If I see him, I'll tell him you said hello. I made my way to the hotel. The front desk was abandoned, so I just made my way through to the back, where I rode the hotel monorail to the Amaranth Jungle. Lucky not to run into any Char children on my way there, and later headed inside the Apaculpa gift shop, where I met face-to-face with the glum Butterfree.
They don't call this place the Amaranth Jungle for nothing. Stupid dead-end job. Oh, shoot, a customer. Welcome to Apaculpa Gifts, where the gifts are absolutely amazing.
Hey, you're Butterfree, right? The Butterfree? Friend of Vinny Vulpix?
Vinny, you were so close in college. He was practically my cousin. How's he doing these days?
Good. I told him I'd swing by and say hi.
Man, you just made my entire shift. Say, are you looking to purchase anything in particular? How may I help you?
Let's turn the tables a bit, because before I brought up Vinny, you seemed pretty down in the dumps. Butterfree, how may I help you?
Wow, no one's ever asked me that before. I mean, do have a bit of a problem in the stockroom I could use some assistance with. Follow me, I'll show you.
From day 67 to day 70, Butterfree showed me to the gift shop's back room, where a big, nasty Raticate lurked.
This oversized rat keeps gnawing on all the merchandise, and every time I try to shoo him away, he bites me. I'm not a cheese-free, you stinky animal. I'm a Butterfree. Those are two completely different dairy products.
Speaking of products, I'll be sure to recover your losses. Feel free to flutter out. I'm taking this rat head on. I lunged at the Raticate with my diamond sword. Being the size of a large cat, packed quite the punch, and managed to eat into some of my hearts too. I watered Raticate with my Ice Blast, then my Water Blast, then my Ice Blast again, back and forth, until the big rat was defeated. His ego now the size of a tiny mouse.
Great job, Zozo. Oh, thank you so much. Wait, why is all the merchandise half frozen and sopping wet? It's even more damaged than it was before.
I'll tell Vinny you said hi. From day 71 to day 74, I sped far away from the Apaculpa gift shop, desperate to avoid a potential property damage lawsuit. If they can't tie me to the crime, I won't do the time.
You won't be doing any time when I'm done with you, Squirtle Zo. Once you're out of the picture, your timeshare is as good as mine. Once I've acquired yours, every single hotel room, every single surf session, every spa day, and every grain of sand on Acapulco Beach will belong to me.
You can't hog up everyone's vacation time, Charizard. This isn't fair. You're just one guy.
One guy with a bajillion charmeleon children. Your share is the last I've yet to acquire, Zozo. In fact, I think best time to acquire it would be right about now.
Mega Charizard X unleashed a ferocious fury of fiery flames on me. I tried to battle him back with my bubbly Ocean Blue Blast, but both my strength and alliterative prowess were too weak in the face of his vigor.
I may be a middle-aged father, but constantly chasing after my trillion kids surely keeps me spry. Give it up, Zozo. You're no match for me.
I didn't want to admit it, but Charizard was right. He was the Charsar of battle. And with my health depleting quick, I decided it'd be in my best interest to run, like a meek little wet blanket.
That's right, Zozo. Run along and search for some courage, just like you viewers should search for more Zozo videos to watch. Z-O-Z-O. Z like Zigzagoon. O like Omastar. Wait, why did I just say that? What just possessed me to say that?
From day 75 to day 78, I was feeling really Houndour about my ghastly defeat by Charizard. I thought that maybe if I wasn't so drowsy and such a slowpoke, I might actually stand a chancey against the fearsome father. But maybe that was just wishcashful thinking. I was really feeling Pikachù, and that's not even a real Pokemon. Then Lapras showed up.
Hey, Zozo, I found the original Dune movie from like 40 years ago on Pokemon Netflix. I've heard it's a really terrible movie. Wanna watch it?
Thank you, Lapras, but I think I might still be too sad to watch a movie.
Okay, we can watch it another time. Do you instead want to see our brand new watchtower?
Lapras showed me the watchtower they built, which was perfect for seeing the gorgeous beach views. In higher spirits, I went to visit Raichu so I could tell him how nice of a base location we picked. Love this location.
That does sound lovely. Speaking of lovely, I mean lonely, I mean lucky. Zozo, I made this cactus sword for you. It's infused with desert power.
Thanks, Raichu! I took hold of the cactus sword, and it made me Dynamax into a really big Blastoise! The me that controls the cactus controls the universe! I learned the move Warden Blast and had a total heart count of 100 hearts! From day 79 to day 84, I stomped through the Amaranth jungle on a total rampage! Maybe if I do more property damage, it will cancel the earlier crimes out. I saw some mischievous-looking Flareons hanging about and starting fires, and decided it would be a good test of my new abilities as a Humongo Blastoise to put a stop to it. Am I a Blaziken, an Infernape, an Emperor, or a Cinderace? Because I'm about to be firefighting! I started blasting, shooting Water Blasts, Ice Blasts, and Flash Cannons until all the Flareons were flare-gone. My ranged attacks are so good that I almost don't even need the Cactus Sword. I began to leave the area before the authorities showed up and noticed that there was one more evolution still hanging around the Amaranth jungle, a Vaporeon who was a water type just like me.
You really cooled off my brothers and sisters with your water blasts. They all got fire stones to evolve from Eevee, but I'm the rebel of the family, so I chose a water stone.
You must like water a whole lot.
Who doesn't? Anyway, I've been holding on to this diamond helmet for a bit, and I think you should have it.
That's really nice of you. Thanks, Vaporeon.
Just don't tell anybody where you got it, and ignore the fact that the tag from the store is still on it. It's not stolen or anything, yeah.
I equipped the diamond helmet and thanked the very nice Vaporeon, who was totally not a thief. From day 85 to day 89, I arrived back at my base, looking pretty swanky with my new blue Too Cool helmet. Unfortunately, I wasn't the only one rocking the boat that day. A Charmeleon had gotten there before me, ready to make waves. And by making waves, I meant utterly eviscerating my bungalow in a heaping helping of Heckfire. Are you kidding me? This isn't preschool, you nasty little punk. No kids allowed.
Hey, I'm 20 years old. I can't help it that I'm the runt of the Charmeleon litter.
My slip-up only managed to make the Charmeleon angrier. He then set aflame my Wooloo pen, but unfortunately for him, wool is a naturally fire-resistant textile. You just tried to end my sheep.
And you're lucky I didn't try to end you. You wouldn't have stood a chance. Try and catch me now, you blubbering bubble baby.
For a 20-year-old, you're far more immature than your siblings. I ran the man-child Charmeleon down, but in the wake of our chase, I fell snout first into a weird, hairless cat thing.
Mew.
More like, ew, why are you so bald?
Hey, I can't help it that the hot summer sun burned all my fur off.
Well, I may not be able to get your fuzzy pelt back, but I can cool you off a bit. Here, Ice Blast ahoy! I spritzed the Mew with my ice powers, and although it seemed to take the heat off, he looked mildly unhappy by the end of it. What? What's wrong?
Just because I don't have any fur doesn't mean I'm not a cat anymore. I hate water, buddy.
Well, are you any cooler now at least?
Oh yeah, by a long shot.
Can I get a thank you then?
No.
Wow. Cats really aren't man's best friend. From day 90 to day 94, I had it up to here with these monster flaming Charmeleons in my monster flaming overworld. And by up to here, I mean wherever my Blastoise arms are in relation to the ground. I can't really move them that high, but I'm really tall, so that should show you how G's off I truly am. The Charmeleon scrambled into a huge vacation property in the Amaranth jungle.
I'm telling my dad.
This gigantic place must have been Charizard's Mojo Doja Casa house that he shared with his bazillion chillins. And may not be ready to take this place on yet. It's gotta be crawling with miniature Charbrats. That's when a bigger Charmeleon came bounding out of the house in a full fiery force.
Oi, picking on me, brothers. I'll give you a right smackaroo, I will, governor.
Huh? You don't sound like the rest of your family, Charmeleon.
That's 'cause I just got back from studying abroad in jolly old England. This is my summer holiday with my family, and you're out here being cheeky and making trouble. I'll fix her, you big turtle.
I couldn't understand a word he said, but this Charmeleon could fight. He attacked me with his metal claws that nearly broke through my diamond helmet. He even knew his father's fire spin move, which trapped me in a jet of fire. I broke free by rotating in place, but it made me super dizzy, and my aim for my blasts were off. You're really strong, Charmeleon. Did they teach you how to fight in London?
I'll kick your shell, you fish and chips, yellow-bellied, cannon-toting, rinky-dink, salt-blasted land crawler. I don't care how evolved you are.
From day 95 to day 97, Charmeleon's vicious onslaught continued as I mustered my defenses to withstand his barrage of brutal blows and Britishisms. I moved back and fired a couple ice cannons, which Charmeleon was able to tank without much trouble. I then fell back on using my water blast to hit Charmeleon with a super effective strike. He continued to try and take fight into melee range, so I let him, but not without countering with some slashes from my cactus sword. The fight raged on, challenging my skills at every turn, but no second stage fire type Pokemon was going to take me down. I would win the fight because I was bigger and stronger, and I was, so I did. Charmeleon poofed into dust, but I assumed he was in a better place. Suddenly, Charmeleon reappeared. I wasn't expecting it, so I was startled.
Oi, and one more thing. You gotta stop me old man from keeping the rest of me brothers on permanent holiday. They'll turn into little monsters if they don't go back to school and learn how to socialize proper. Cheers, Zozo.
He dusted again, which was very weird. My mission is clear now. I'm going to take down Charizard and put his rowdy Char offspring back into the public school system where they belong. On day 98, I walked around my bungalow one last time. I hoped it wouldn't be my last time, but it's always good to prepare for the worst.
I want you to have my only copy of Dune Awakening, Zozo. Being a survival-style game, I'm sure it'll teach you all the ins and outs on living through your battle with Charizard.
Thanks, Slappers, but for the past 98 days, we've already been playing a survival game. I used to be more hopeful, but at this point, I don't think I'll ever be granted the chance of living life in creative mode. Then Raichu came over and stared at me in silence for a moment.
I was going to give you a good luck high five, but after what happened to Horsey, I can't go through that again, man.
It's fine, Raichu. We can air hug. Let's air hug. Vinny was the last of my friends to bid me a hopefully not permanent farewell. Vinny, if I die, I have a question I want answered.
Lay it on me, pal.
Does your last name Vulpix have anything to do with your love for taking pics? You know, like as in pictures?
No, actually. I come from a long line of car salesmen.
Weird.
Hey, don't be rude. That's my family you're talking about. Anyways, say cheese.
Huh?
Oh man, you blinked. Let me try again. Oh, I'm out of film. Well, I guess that's the picture in charge of honoring your legacy. Good luck fighting Charizard, Zozo. I hope this picture is featured at your victory party rather than your funeral.
On day 99, I manifested all my best buddies' wishes into my big Blastoise brain, passing through the nostalgic Cherry Blossom Forest. I knew what I had to do. Take down Father Zard, return all the timeshares back to the vacationers of the beach, and send those Charmeleons back to school. So many Pokemon came to Acapulco to relax, but in my case, I had done anything but. I only hoped that by the end of all this, I'd at least be able to build that sandcastle. I finally reached Charizard's vacation house again, looming large in the forest. I could hear many Char children wreaking havoc inside, so I approached it with caution.
Hey, someone's at the door.
Not it.
I'll get it. Zozo?
Butterfree,
What are you doing here?
I'm here to fight Charizard. What are you doing here?
I got fired from the Acapulco thrift store after my boss saw what happened to the merchandise. I picked up babysitting as a side hustle, but if I had known adventuring was a possible career path, I would have done what you're doing instead. I'm telling you, Zozo, it's a nightmare in here.
Don't worry, Butterfree. They don't call these the Amaranth Jungle for nothing. I'll end this shift for you once and for all. But I need to get to Charizard first. Is he home?
Yeah, so why he hired a babysitter when he wasn't even going anywhere is beyond me. I think he's just tired of dealing with his kids himself. Anyways, I'll make sure they stay distracted. They've been playing Mario Kart for hours, and fighting over who gets the remote next has been keeping them occupied. Now go. Don't walk in front of the TV. You don't want to know what happens when you walk in front of the TV.
I snuck inside Charizard's vacation home and gingerly tracked past the kids, as quiet as my big Blastoise body would allow. It was only a matter of time before the final showdown would commence. On day 100, I walked into the desolate and apocalyptic wreckage of a backyard that hadn't been cleaned in at least 100 days. Charizard stood among the mess, a mad dragon resting on his hoard of trash.
Vacation is forever, Zozo. An always grinding busy Blastoise like you wouldn't understand. You don't even have one kid, let alone an uncountable horde of potential fire hazards.
Maybe not, but even I can get that being a parent is hard work. It seems like you want to make your kids everybody else's problem, instead of doing any of that work. What kind of Pokemon do you want them to be when they grow up? Because if you don't take the time to raise them, then you don't get to complain about it.
Oh, so is that why you've come here for our inevitable rematch? To teach me a lesson about good parenting?
No, Charizard. I've come to teach you a lesson about letting other people enjoy their time off and not hogging the beach. There are other people in the overworld who are working hard and actually want to spend time with their friends and family here. I fight for all of them.
Then fight, Zozo. We'll see if you can make me leave this place. Fire spin!
Charizard unleashed a fire attack, but I countered with a water blast. My Warden Cannon launched right after, dealing some damage to the bad dad. Charizard dive-bombed me from the air, but I had my cactus sword to strike him down. Of course, I knew that wouldn't be enough to stop a mega-evolved beast. I unleashed the Frosty Cold on Charizard, and it hit him so hard that he reverted back into a regular non-mega Charizard. Without his mega power, I was able to wash him away with a water blast. The beach was safe at last! Hoo boy! Now this sandy environment is safe from the evil family who wanted to take control of it. Just call me Paul Blastoise Trades. From Dune, I won! On day 1, I spawned into the alien fields as Pikachu, the world's most iconic Pokemon.
Pikachu!
Pikachu! Phew, sorry, allergies. At least I'm starting off with 10 hearts. That's pretty cool. I wonder if I have any powers. Suddenly, I activated my lightning attack and zapped a nearby tree. What a cool starting power. I have electricity powers, just like the real Pikachu. This is gonna be so much fun. But how come I'm the only Pikachu here? Are there any others? But instead of other Pikachu, I saw a big, scary Enderman wandering towards me.
Whoa, a real Pikachu. I thought Broden was just bluffing, but he really did manage to conjure us a Pikachu. How exciting!
Broden? What are you talking about? I'm Zozo. I just got here.
What? It can talk? Gross. That's weird. Broden isn't going to be happy with a defective Pikachu. I better destroy you.
I have no idea what's going on here, but I'm gonna get out as quickly as I can. So I did, turning and running away from the Enderman before he or his mysterious buddy Broden could destroy me. Alrighty, this doesn't seem like a nice place for a Pikachu to be. I took a second to rest when a skeleton came shambling towards me. Not today, Boney. With a zap of my lightning powers, the skeleton was gone. I found somewhere that seemed relatively calm and decided to lay down to rest. I know I'm not meant to be here, but I need to figure out why before I can escape. On day 2, I woke up and decided that I couldn't afford to just sit around and mope about being trapped in this weird world. I need to figure out a solution to my predicament, but first, I need to get myself some tools. With a lot of effort, I broke down a tree until I could make enough planks and sticks to make a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. From there, I mined into the ground and collected enough stone to craft myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. Okay, I can't deny that a little Pikachu holding a big stone sword looks really funny. I don't think I'm gonna be able to intimidate anyone like this. Still, with my new tools, I decided to search around until I found an iron golem standing at a campfire, chillin'. He saw me, but he didn't try to chase or attack me. That was a good sign. Excuse me, Mr. Iron Golem, could you explain what's going on around here?
Sure, but first, answer this question for me. Am I dreaming right now?
I don't think so.
So, I'm actually seeing a talking Pikachu right now. Huh, this has gotta be the work of Broden the Conjurer.
Broden, that weird Enderman told me about him. What's his deal?
He's kind of a weird dude. He's a really powerful conjurer, but he's super greedy and possessive. He just uses powers to summon stuff for himself, and if he's not happy with it, he or his goons destroy it.
Yikes, then I guess I gotta stop him before he has a chance to destroy me.
Right on, little dude.
I noticed I was hungry, and the Iron Golem gave me some nice apples to sate my hunger. It was relieving to know that there were still good people out here. On day 3, after leaving the spacey Iron Golem with his campfire, I went off searching for somewhere to live in the alien fields. I should probably start building my base, but man, that's gonna be so much work, especially for a teeny little Pikachu like me. But that's when I had a stroke of good luck. I found a broken down hut in a clearing. Wait, maybe I can clean this place up rather than making a whole base from scratch. That'll be perfect for me. I started cleaning up the mess and rebuilding the broken parts of the base. It felt like some bizarro Pokemon home reno show, but by the time I was done, things were coming along really well. I could see myself staying here. But suddenly, I was interrupted by a vicious killer rabbit running towards me. A creature that weird must have been created by that weird Broden guy, just like me. I zapped the nasty killer rabbit with my lightning powers, then finished it off with my new stone sword. What's down, Duck? It's you. You're down, cause I defeated you. I really need to work on my witty quips. Defeating the rabbit also gave me enough XP to level up. I evolved into a bigger, stronger Pikachu with 20 hearts. Awesome! I really am a Pikachu, and I'm feeling stronger already. With that victory under my belt, I spent the rest of my day watching my favorite show. What an eventful day. From day 4 to day 5, I ventured back into the depths of the alien fields to collect more materials for expanding my base. Electricity-based attacks may be what I'm known for, but it turns out I'm a master carpenter. Who knew? While collecting more stone and chopping down more wood, I heard a rustling and stopped. I turned and saw the same long, lanky Enderman who'd hassled me when I first spawned. Oh no, not you again!
Oh yeah, it's me. Bet you never thought you'd see me again.
I just hoped I'd never see you again. Why do you work for this Broden guy anyway? What does he actually want?
He wants everything, and he can get it too, cause he's a conjurer. Get it? He conjures stuff, and he also conjures things for his friends, like me.
Then why does he want to destroy me? If he can just make himself another Pikachu, can't he just let me go?
He's a perfectionist. If Broden can't have exactly what he wants, he'll destroy everything. That's why I need to destroy you now.
The time for talk was over. I fired a lightning strike at the Enderman, and he fought back. It was a tense battle, but this time I wasn't running. I defeated the Enderman and headed back to my base. This Broden guy sounds like no fun at all. From day 6 to day 8, I entered a cave, feeling confident enough to venture into the depths and get myself some cool new materials. After all, with a cool stone pickaxe, I can finally mine iron ore. This wasn't just some shallow cave though, it kept going and going and going. I had a feeling that I could get lost down here if I wasn't careful. It's so eerie to be alone here. But sadly, I wasn't alone. There was a big, scary wither waiting for me, and it blasted some wither skulls at me. I took a few hits, then returned fire, attacking relentlessly until the wither was no more. I definitely didn't want to run into another one of those. Instead, I went just a little deeper into the cave. There, I found some iron ore and quickly mined a bunch of it. I took it back to my base and smelted it, and created myself a brand new iron sword and iron pickaxe. This plucky Pikachu is armed and dangerous. From day 9 to day 10, I decided it was time for a change of scenery, so I traveled out to the Badlands, which were hot and dry compared to the alien fields. Still, what a view! However, I wasn't able to take in the view for long, as I was approached by a mysterious figure, an illager from faraway lands. As I approached, I felt a strange energy coming off of him, like he was oddly familiar. Hi there, I'm Zozo. Do I know you from somewhere? I'm getting the weirdest sense of deja vu right now.
You've probably heard of me. I'm the great Broden, impresario, part-time psychic, noted indie singer-songwriter, and conjurer extraordinaire.
Oh no, you're Broden?
Oh yes, I'm Broden, and you belong to me. Time to go, little Pikachu. You can never send an Enderman to do a conjurer's job.
I tried to zap him with my lightning, but it didn't seem to affect him. And with one hit from him, I was already on the ropes. All I could do was run off into the Badlands as fast as I could, until I didn't see Broden the Conjurer anywhere behind me. It was the most stressful day yet. I'm gonna need to become a lot stronger before I'm ready to fight this guy. After a day of aimless wandering, I ended up running into another weird creature, an iron chicken, and we seem to have something in common.
Broden the Conjurer created me too. He thought the idea of an iron chicken was funny, but then after a week, he got bored of me and tried to destroy me. I was lucky to escape with my life.
This guy is a monster. Say, wanna come back to my base with me? Us weird conjured creatures ought to stick together if we wanna survive. And as we get stronger, we can work towards defeating him together.
Sounds good to me, Zozo. Let's go.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with the Iron Chicken. He needed somewhere to stay, so I took the time to build him a new room. Thankfully, with him being a little Iron Chicken, it didn't need to be a very big room. When I was finished, he was eager to get some shut-eye in there.
Thanks, Zozo. This is so much nicer than just wandering around the Badlands.
But while the Iron Chicken slept, I realized I still had a major headache from where Broden the Conjurer hit me. I'm too small for regular armor, but I should probably at least create a helmet to protect my head. I ventured back into the same mining cave from before and descended in. It was just as dark and scary as before, but thankfully this time, there was no wither to bother me. I mined some iron ore to take back to my base and smelt, but on the way back, I was attacked by an angry Pigarus. None of my attacks were powerful enough to hurt him, so I was forced to retreat further back into the cave. I needed a way to defeat him, but I was scared of getting too close and being defeated myself. That's when I found just what I needed, laying around in the cave. A bow and some arrows? Perfect! I went back and used the bow to defeat the Pigarus at a safe distance before running back out of the cave with my hard-earned iron ore. I returned to my base and smelted the iron and used it to craft an iron helmet. This should come in handy the next time I take a knock to the noggin. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke more to the Iron Chicken about his experiences with Broden the Conjurer. Knowledge is power, and the more I knew about him, the more chance I'd have of finding a weakness. So, Iron Chicken, what was it like when he spawned you?
Well, just like you, I spawned in out of nowhere, and Broden was waiting for me. At first, he seemed so nice and kind and happy to see me. He was a little kooky, but honestly, I liked him. But little by little, over time, I could tell something was off. And one day, he attacked me and tried to destroy me, just because he was bored of me. He's incredibly powerful, so if I hadn't moved quickly like I did, I would have been doomed. He's kind when he wants you, and unimaginably cruel when he doesn't. I can only imagine some of the scary things he's conjured over the years.
After hearing the Iron Chicken's story, I felt a chill go down my Pokemon's spine. If he was really that powerful, how could I have any real chance of defeating him? Especially at my current strength level. I'm kind of beginning to wish I hadn't asked now. From day 16 to day 19, I woke up to some shocking news. The Iron Chicken had gone missing. Oh no, I need to find and save him. I wonder where he could be. Strangely, there was a terrible smell lingering. Maybe the Iron Chicken had been kidnapped by some kind of really stinky assailant? I followed the smell as it got stronger and stronger. A day later, I arrived in the bamboo jungle, where the smell was particularly strong. I'm so lucky that this mysterious kidnapper never showers. From there, it didn't take me very long to hunt down the stinky kidnapper. It was a huge, scary vile ogre. You're the one who kidnapped my friend. How dare you?
Oh, get over it. Kidnapping your foolish metal chicken friend is the best way to get leverage with Broden the Conjurer. If I return his chicken to him, maybe he'll give me whatever I want.
I'm never gonna let that happen. I fought hard against the stinky vile ogre, using my powers and my iron sword to defeat him. Soon enough, only I remained. This gave me enough XP to level up and evolve again, getting bigger, tougher, going up to 30 hearts. Every day, I'd get a little bigger and tougher. Then, the Iron Chicken ran out from behind the bamboo.
Zozo, that was amazing. I was watching you from behind the bamboo. Thanks for saving me from that stinky weirdo.
No problem, Icy. Head back to the base. We'll talk again later. I'm gonna keep exploring the bamboo jungle. The Iron Chicken left, and I continued looking around. It was a nice, calming place. Bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants. That's something to aspire to. Over the course of the journey, I ran into a pair of aggressive skeletons. Without any hesitation, I used my lightning to take out the two bony fiends. And shortly after those two were gone, a genie floated out towards me.
Good work defeating those skeletons, Zozo. They were really spoiling the view.
Wait, how do you know my name?
I know many things. I also know of your quest to defeat Broden the Conjurer. I may have some information that will help you along the way if you'll hear me out, little Pokemon.
Of course, please, tell me more.
A special food item. One that will give you the power you need to surpass the Conjurer. The Dynamax Candy.
Dynamax Candy? But where can I find it?
I'm afraid I've said too much already. Good luck, Zozo. May we meet again someday.
And with that, the genie left, and I was left alone again. I need to find that Dynamax Candy somehow. From day 20 to day 22, I returned to my base to find some skeletons waiting for me. They must have been angry at me for taking out their skeleton buddies back in the bamboo jungles. The skeletons attacked, but now I was strong enough to pretty easily defeat them all. I returned to my room to relax. Iron Chicken came in to talk to me.
You wanted to see me, Zozo?
Yeah, I've had an idea for a statue, something we can build to help inspire us. I know just the thing. Iron Chicken was so eager to get started that he went off to begin while I was still resting. By the time I left my room to take a look, he'd already made some amazing progress. This looks incredible, Iron Chicken.
Thank you, Zozo. I just thought you had such a great idea. I felt completely inspired.
Take a load off now. I'll add a little myself. After the Iron Chicken left to rest, I added a little extra to the statue before calling it a day. Still, Iron Chicken and I had made some pretty amazing progress. Can you tell what it's gonna be yet? Let me know down in the comments. And if you want more Zozo adventures, sub and hit that bell to never miss another one. From day 23 to day 26, a wild Enderman approached me as I was taking in the scenery of my base.
Pikachu, I'll get you!
I've got plenty of Thundershocks, so come and get it! The Enderman attacked, and I was able to fight back effectively by using my electrical attacks. After I destroyed the Enderman with a lightning strike, it dropped a whole bunch of Shark-Tooth arrows. Way cool! I always thought I'd have to be a surfing Pikachu to get a hold of this many shark teeth. Afterwards, I headed out through the Badlands to give the Shark-Tooth arrows a shot. The next Enderman I find will be no match for a Pikachu with arrows. I was shooting some weak skeletons to test the weapon when I came across a wandering trader carrying an inventory full of goods. Good afternoon, wandering trader.
Actually, my name is Wally. I am in fact a wandering trader. I've been wandering through these dangerous Badlands and looking for a nice safe base to peddle my wares. Do you know anywhere like that?
I do. I happen to be the owner of a prime secret base located in the alien fields.
That sounds promising, as long as it's safe.
You won't be disappointed. I'm Zozo, by the way. I brought Wally to the base and built a small storefront where he could sell his items. I wanted to make extra special sure that it was as safe as he wanted it to be. It turns out that Wally had the same idea. By the time I was done constructing his store, the wandering trader had built a perimeter wall around the entire base.
Better safe than sorry, you know.
You got that right. From day 27 to day 31, I talked a bit more with Wally the Wandering Trader. I figured someone as well-traveled as him would probably know many things about the world that my Pikachu self wouldn't.
Ask me anything you wish, Zozo. Information is free of charge.
Have you ever heard of a special food item called the Dynamax Candy?
The Dynamax Candy? I've certainly heard stories about it. They say that whoever eats it gains the ability to grow into a gigantic version of themselves with unbelievable power.
That sounds like exactly what I would need to turn the tables on Barodin the Conjurer. Can you tell me where I can find it?
I don't know exactly where it is, but there is a pixie in the bamboo jungle to the east who I heard the stories of the Dynamax Candy from. If you can find her, maybe she knows more.
A bamboo jungle, huh? I've been there before. I gathered all my best gear and went back towards the bamboo jungle, just like Wally the Wandering Trader suggested. It was a far journey for a Pikachu, but I was a little bigger and stronger than I was at the start of my Pokemon journey. But just because I was a higher level didn't mean the challenges wouldn't get tougher as well. The Vindicator standing in my way was proof of that.
Not so fast there, Pikachu. You may be one of the world's most famous mice, but you're not getting past me.
I guess you're not a Poke fan. Oh well, if you're gonna fight me, then I'm gonna win. Thunderbolt! I used my lightning strike to make a first impression, then hit the Vindicator several times with my iron sword. He tried to fight back, but my attacks were much faster.
Ouch! Why does Pikachu always get what Pikachu wants?
The Vindicator ran away to fight another day. I wondered if we'll end up crossing paths again. From day 32 to day 35, I continued my journey through the bamboo jungle until I was able to meet up with the pixie that Wally the Wandering Trader had mentioned. Hey there, I heard you might know about the Dynamax Candy.
Oh, wow, you're a Pikachu. I'm a huge fan. I never thought I'd meet you in person. Well, in Dixie.
Thank you, that's very nice. But I was hoping you could tell me about the Dynamax candy.
Yeah, I know all about it. Can I have your autograph first?
I feel like this conversation is going in circles. While I was trying to get more specifics out of the Pixie, we were interrupted by the sudden appearance of Broden the Conjurer.
That's my Pikachu. Go make your own. Besides, it's a defective Pikachu anyway. I'm here to destroy it so I can make a better one.
Both of us ran for cover to hide from him. Once I was hidden, I noticed that the Pixie was also in my hiding spot. It's too dangerous. You should get away from here while I distract him.
No way. He just said he wanted to destroy you. That's a really rude thing to do to anyone, especially a Pikachu.
I'll be fine. I've gotten away from him before. You should go to my base. We'll talk about the Dynamax candy there.
I get to go to Pikachu's base? Woohoo! If you make it back there, I'll tell you everything I know about the Dynamax candy.
Pixie flew away, leaving the area of the battle. Without having to worry about her safety, I could escape Broden the Conjurer on my own.
Come out, Zozo. I'm going to destroy you.
You'll have to catch me first. I fired a few lightning strikes at him to confuse him and ran for another hiding spot. Broden began to follow me, so I used a lightning strike on a different block of bamboo jungle to confuse him.
Where are you hiding?
Once he didn't know about my hiding spot, I used my Pikachu speed to flee from battle. From day 36 to day 39, I was back at my base, building a small nest for my new Pixie friend to live.
Thanks for letting me stay at your base. As promised, I'll tell you everything about the Dynamax candy.
I've been looking forward to hearing you say that.
The Dynamax candy has been hidden for a very long time because its power could be devastating in the wrong hands. But the old spellcaster who hid it away wrote down its true location in his book of secrets. That way, if it ever needed to be used to defeat a great evil, there would be a way to retrieve it.
That's exactly what I need it for. Where did this old spellcaster used to live?
In the Blue Giant Taiga. His book of secrets should still be there. But be warned, no one who has gone to the Blue Giant Taiga has ever returned.
I'm not just anyone. I'm a Pikachu. It should be no problem for me.
By the way, I saw you were working on a statue, and I made some additions to it.
I went and looked at the statue to see what they had added, and was very impressed by what I saw. That's some excellent building there, Pixie.
I wanted to do what I could to make this the best Pikachu base ever.
From day 40 to day 43, I went to visit the storefront of Wally the Wandering Trader that I built into my base. What's happening, Wally?
Zozo, good to see you. I've actually heard of an intriguing rumor about a nearby cave. It is said to contain a small fortune in diamonds.
Whoa, diamonds! Having some of those would go a long way towards better gear. I better go check this out.
Yes, but be careful. It is said that a HYDRA has made its lair in the cave and is eating everyone who tries to take the diamonds.
I went to the cave that Wally the Wandering Trader had mentioned, and just like he said, there were plenty of diamonds ripe for mining. Didn't he also say there was a... I heard the many heads of a HYDRA roar as the monster showed itself. A HYDRA! That's what Wally warned me about. At first, I tried using my sword, but then I remembered that HYDRAs can easily regenerate their heads. So I dodged back and tried my lightning strike. It was a tough fight, and I had to keep avoiding the HYDRA's attacks, but I took the beast down and was able to claim the treasure inside the cave. I mined the diamonds and decided to give both my sword and pickaxe a long-awaited upgrade. Now I had a diamond sword and a diamond pickaxe. From day 44 to day 49, I arrived in the Blue Giant Taiga, the dangerous biome from which nobody was said to return. There's a first time for everything, though. I journeyed through the terrain until I encountered a dread scuttler. My speed was much higher, so I kept my distance and pelted it with shark-tooth arrows. Once the dread scuttler was weak enough, I used a lightning strike to finish it off. The mobs here are definitely tough. I'd better stay on guard.
Oh, skeletons! No, have mercy!
The voice was coming from a fiery hippogriff who was being chased by a band of evil-looking skeletons. I decided that I should help him out. Back off, you nasty skeletons! I'm a Pikachu with a diamond sword, and I'm not afraid to use it! It was no easy feat to defeat them all, but when I managed to win, the fiery hippogriff was really impressed with my strength in battle.
Wow, I've never seen a Pikachu fight like that. I've actually never seen a Pikachu either.
I'm Zozo. I was actually conjured here by the evil Broden, and I'm looking for a book of secrets here in the Blue Giant Taiga.
Oh, I've heard of that. I was actually the old spellcaster's prized fiery hippogriff. We were as close as a trader and a Pokemon.
Oh, that's awesome! Can you take me to the book?
Sadly, it's been a long time since the old spellcaster was alive.
and I've been chased around by the tundra's monsters ever since. I bet we can get closer to the book if we retrace my steps, though.
From day 50 to day 53, I followed the fiery hippogriff as he led me deeper into the blue giant taiga in the hopes that we could find any of his old master's belongings that could lead us to the book.
Hey, Zozo, if this goes well, do you think you could introduce me to Charizard? I've always wanted to meet him.
I actually don't know any other Pokemon, even though I'm a Pikachu. But let's not worry about that now. I'm sure Charizard would be proud to know you.
Oh, shucks. I sure hope so.
A little later, the fiery hippogriff and I split up to cover more ground, and I ran into the Vindicator, who gave me some trouble at the bamboo forest. How many times do I need to teach you a lesson, Vindicator?
There won't be a lesson. I'll be vindicated in the end, because I am a Vindicator.
The only thing you are is going down! We battled, and I easily took him out using my diamond sword. I decided to continue searching the area of the blue giant taiga I was in. But with so much ground to cover, it felt like I was getting nowhere. If only the old spellcaster was here himself to tell me how to find his old stuff.
Actually, I am!
A ghost!
Yes, I may be a ghost, but before that, I was the old spellcaster who hid the Dynamax candy.
But you could just tell me directly where the Dynamax candy is hidden away.
Oh, yeah. Well, the truth is, I kind of forgot where it was.
Guess I'll have to keep looking for your book then.
I guess so, but know this, young Pikachu. Strength does not come from your size. It comes from the size of your strength.
From day 54 to day 57, I returned to my base and found that all my friends had been expanding it with new sections since I was away. Wally had created a marketplace so that other merchants could sell things here in the future. Excellent market, Wally. You might start bringing in some trainers as customers.
Thanks, Zozo. Consider yourself the company mascot.
Never heard that one before. Next, I visited the Pixie, who had built a Pikachu fan club where all of my biggest fans could hang out.
And I'm the club president.
Afterwards, the Iron Chicken approached me with some not-so-good news.
A Dreadghoul came by and did some damage to the base before we made our expansions, and he ran off with the diamond helmet that I crafted for you.
I went out into the alien fields to hunt down that Dreadghoul and reclaim the diamond helmet that was stolen from my base. It wasn't that long until I found the mob, and with my lightning strikes I was able to destroy it without getting too close. When it went down, it dropped Iron Chicken's diamond helmet. It was a gift for me after all. I'm sure he'll let me keep it. From day 58 to day 62, I was woken up from a nap by Iron Chicken, who wanted to show me how the construction on the statue was progressing.
Since we're not conjurers, everything we make takes hard work.
And hard work pays off. The statue is looking fantastic so far. I walked around the statue to get a closer look and noticed to my shock that an Enderman was standing right there. What are you doing here?
What else? I'm here to bring down this Pikachu base for our boss, Broden the Conjurer, and I'm gonna destroy you too.
Just try it, Enderman. I zapped the Enderman with my lightning strikes, frying him up like a toasty puffin. Who is next? I heard the other Enderman wreaking havoc across the alien fields, so I quickly rushed out of my base to deal with the Enderman menace. I defeated all the Endermen that had been attacking around the base very quickly by using my lightning strikes, and quickly searched inside the base to see if every one of my friends were still alive. Unfortunately, the Endermen had done their worst, and I saw Wally destroyed by an Enderman. The Enderman ran away, and I vowed revenge. From day 63 to day 66, I went back to the blue giant taiga in order to find the Book of Secrets. The sooner I can eat that Dynamax candy, the sooner I can defeat Broden and save everyone from his cruelty. After a lot more searching, I found the book pinned to a tree. I picked the book up and read what was inside. The Dynamax candy must be kept out of the clutches of evil because it could grant any being that eats it the ability to grow gigantic. Therefore, I am leaving it in the trusted care of my spellcasting apprentice, Broden the Conjurer. No, the Dynamax candy is with Broden. That's the worst place it could be. An Enderman ran up behind me, ready to fight. Somehow I knew it was the same one that had destroyed Wally the Wandering Trader. I got ready for a fight.
So, you found the book. Too bad it won't do you any good.
I learned plenty, Enderman, and I'm not scared of you or your boss.
How adorable. Now suffer like your friend did.
The Enderman attacked me with his long arms, so I countered with my diamond sword. I knew agility would be the key to winning this fight, so I circled around him and landed hit after hit. This is for Wally! Now that I had gotten revenge, it was time to pay the spot I was conjured into a visit. From day 67 to day 70, I went to the alien fields and found the enemy base in the form of a magical mansion. It was guarded by an Enderman, so I just knew that it had to be where Broden had been entrusted to guard the Dynamax candy. There was no sign of the Conjurer himself, so I snuck in and began to search through the entire base. Because I was quick and nimble, I easily avoided all of the Enderman guards until I ran into a mutant Enderman who spotted me immediately.
You can't hide from me, you defective Pikachu. I'm going to do what the others couldn't and destroy you once and for all.
The mutant Enderman's attack were much stronger than the ordinary kind. If I didn't have my diamond helmet, I would have already been down for the count. I was losing hearts fast, and my electric attacks were barely doing anything to him. This is what my shark tooth arrows are for. I switched to my bow and hit the mutant Enderman with a bunch of arrows. Then I attacked with my diamond sword.
Now I see why Broden has been having so much trouble with you.
Don't take me lightly just because I'm a Pikachu. I began to use my lightning strikes again, and this time they seemed to be having an effect. I didn't let up on my sword either, and made sure this mutant Enderman felt the sting of every one of my attacks.
You may have beaten me this time, but I'll end you next time.
The mutant Enderman retreated. I guess just because he was bigger and more mutated than the others didn't mean he was anything to be scared of. From day 71 to day 74, I proceeded to the treasure room of the enemy base, now that the mutant Enderman was out of my way. I expected that the Dynamax candy would be there, but it wasn't there. Of course, Broden must have given up on his responsibilities a long time ago. The old spellcaster trusted him, and he turned totally evil. Not cool at all. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the base, Broden was laughing about the fact that I couldn't find the Dynamax candy.
That foolish Pikachu thought I'd keep the Dynamax candy. I threw that thing out years ago. Who needs to guard the item that can defeat evil when you are evil?
From day 75 to day 78, I made a swift return to my base and found that the Pixie and the Iron Chicken had done some more work on the base. Pixie had refurbished the shop where Wally the Wandering Trader had once sold his items and had made it into a Pokemon-themed gift store.
Isn't this great? Now everybody who comes to visit the base will be able to have their own Pikachu merchandise.
That's a really good idea. Wally would have wanted us to keep using his store. Iron Chicken's improvement was another form of defense. He reinforced the walls of the base to make them even more fortified.
No Enderman is gonna get through this, Zozo.
Actually, I think there is one who could get through. I better make sure he doesn't try anything funny. It turns out, I was right to suspect that mutant Enderman would try to break through our walls.
We have unfinished business, and I intend to finish that business.
Not if I finish it first. I let loose a barrage of shark tooth arrows on the mutant Enderman, which did a lot of damage. You should have run while you had the chance. Pikachu! I used my lightning attack to weaken the mutant Enderman, then used my sword to deliver the final strike. I did it! My victory in the battle made me into an even higher level Pikachu with greater electrical power and speed. I could now perform a mega jump move that would get me free of any enemy's range of attack. And I've got 50 hearts now too! I also noticed that the mutant Enderman dropped a hint when he was defeated, a page that was ripped out of the Book of Secrets. The only place to dispose of the Dynamax candy is in the fires of the Badlands. From day 79 to day 84, I went to the Badlands to follow the hint from the torn page. This place was where I first encountered Broden the Conjurer. Maybe the reason why he was here was to throw away the Dynamax candy so it could never be used against him. I didn't see anything that looked like the Dynamax candy, but I did notice a siren who was also scouting the area. Hey, are you looking for the Dynamax candy too?
So, you figured me out. I heard something about Broden throwing away a powerful weapon here, and I want to grab it so I can get revenge on him.
Don't tell me, you're another conjured being like me?
You got that right. Broden wanted to have me to himself until he didn't. I'm sure you must know the same pain, Pikachu?
I do! Maybe if we team up, we can take him down together!
Sorry, but there's only one candy, and I've got a sweet tooth.
The siren fired laser beams at me, and I knew that I had to fight back. I mega jumped up and used the lightning strikes to weaken the foe before attacking with my diamond sword and winning. I didn't want to defeat you, Siren. You and I were the same.
No, we're not. You're stronger. And because of that, I'm going to tell you that Broden probably took the Dynamax candy back back to its rightful place.
Why would he do that after he tried to destroy it?
At first, I didn't know. I was just as confused as you were when I couldn't find it here. Back then, I saw how strong you were. You were the only thing Broden had conjured that might actually threaten him. So I'm sure he got the candy back in case he needs to use it on you.
From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the blue giant taiga and began to make my preparations to go face Broden the Conjurer at his base. I knew he'd be stronger than any of his minions, so I enlisted the help of the fiery hippogriff to get more information about Broden. Your former master used to train Broden in spellcasting. Is there anything you can tell me about why he might have gone evil?
From what I can remember, the old spellcaster used to say that magic is for solving problems, not for making them. And I think Broden disagreed.
So even though he conjured everything he wanted, he was really just making problems for himself?
Pretty much. He always had second thoughts after he conjured something because nothing he made could ever be good enough. This was especially true when he made the Dynamax candy.
Broden made the Dynamax candy?
Yeah, I think he did. And it was the one thing he made that he couldn't destroy.
But he won't use it either. So if I can eat it, I'll be able to crush him. Thanks for your help, Fiery.
Good luck. Do what the old spellcaster couldn't and teach Broden a lesson.
From day 90 to day 94, I went into the same cave where I found the diamonds so I could gather materials for my strongest gear yet. In the darkest depths of the cave, I found a chest that contained a netherite ingot. These will do the trick. I used a nearby smithing table and combined the netherite with my diamond sword to upgrade it to a netherite sword. This weapon will be the one I'll use to break through Broden's base defenses and take the Dynamax candy for myself. From day 95 to day 97, I visited my friends at the base to tell them that it was almost time for me to leave. First, I visited Pixie, who had been looking at the statue and thinking about how to upgrade it.
Hey, Zozo! The statue is almost done, but it needs a Pikachu's touch to be complete.
I've got you covered, Pixie. I went to the statue and did the remaining work that was needed. The full version was a statue of Ash Ketchum, Pikachu's trainer from the very beginning. When I looked at the statue, there was only one thought that echoed through my mind. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
You already are the best in my eyes.
Thanks, Pixie. I said goodbye to her, then went to go see how Iron Chicken was doing.
Is it almost time to face off against Broden?
You know it, buddy. On day 98, I was still talking with Iron Chicken about the upcoming battle with Broden the Conjurer. It felt like we had been through so much in this crazy world ever since we were conjured into it, and soon our troubles would be coming to an end. You're like a brother to me, Iron Chicken. I hope you know that.
The same to you, Zozo. I say that we end this battle together as brothers. When you go to face Broden, I want to be there right by your side.
Of course, you'll always be welcome on my adventures. And so will you when you watch me out there. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can check out my other adventures. Don't forget to leave a comment about what I should do next. On day 99, Iron Chicken and I left the base and crossed the alien fields to arrive at Broden the Conjurer's magical lair. Are you ready for this, Iron Chicken?
Let's do this, my brother in conjuration. I can't wait to defeat Broden once and for all.
Yeah, we may have been brought into this world by a mean guy who didn't even want us, but we gotta meet each other, and now we're a family. We entered the enemy compound and fought off some weak skeletons, which were effortlessly ground into bones by my netherite sword. No bones about it. Even Iron Chicken was able to take down a bunch of skeletons by himself.
Zozo, I'm tough as iron, but I think you should continue on alone.
All right, I'll make sure to end this, once and for all. On day 100, the last couple Endermen that Broden the Conjurer had left tried to stand in the way.
Curse you, darn Pikachu! You've sent us blasting off again and again, but not this time!
By now, my electrical attacks were very capable of roasting the Endermen without much difficulty, so I cleared a path for myself to keep moving. Before long, I had reached the room where the Dynamax candy was stored. There it was, sweet as candy. I had to have it. Time to Pikachu on this candy. I love puns. I gobbled up the candy and grew to gigantic size. I had become my mightiest form of all, Gigantamax Pikachu. I had 80 hearts and felt like my lightning was stronger than ever. Shortly after I ate the Dynamax candy, Broden entered the room.
No! What have you done? You've gained the power of the Dynamax candy!
I sure have. What now, Broden?
How about this?
He rushed towards me and dealt a heavy blow, but I was adamant to defeat him. So I countered with lightning strikes and brought my netherite sword into the fight with a vengeance.
I conjured you into this world, and I can unconjure you!
No, you don't, Broden. This Pikachu is a free Pokemon. I hit him with my sword and then delivered the final strike of Max Lightning, taking him out for good. Guess it's all Pika now. On day 1, I spawned into the Badlands as a slippery, fiery fire eel. I'm one spicy unagi, but I wouldn't be very filling. I'm only a baby eel, but I'm sure I could still pack a fiery punch. I breathed a jet of fire, one of my awesome fire eel starter powers. I was feeling super confident about what the next 100 days could hold. But my confidence didn't last for long, because a huge dread beast came running across the Badlands towards me. There was no way he was up to anything good. Still, I tried my best to be polite. Hey there, dread beast. I'm Zozo. It's nice to meet you. What a lovely day we're having, right?
Yes, a lovely day. Even lovelier now that I've found you, a delicious fire eel.
Wait, what? What do you mean delicious?
I am the all-devouring dread beast, Zozo. All that matters to me is finding and eating tasty things, because I'm always hungry.
Oh no.
And don't even think about slithering away, little eel. I love fast food.
But I slithered away anyway, going as fast as I could. There was no way I was going to be devoured by a dread beast on my very first day in the overworld. But I don't think that nasty dread beast is gonna quit either. I need to get strong enough to beat that monster, or I worry I'm gonna spend 100 days preparing to become its lunch. On day 2, I kept slithering until I finally found a place in the Badlands to stop and catch my breath. It's not exactly the most hospitable place to spawn. Then again, given that I'm a fire eel, it's probably better than spawning somewhere cold. And hey, at least I have 10 hearts. I realized that all that talk about eating me had, weirdly, made me kind of hungry. These will make for a perfect snack. I busted down the tree and started eating those delicious crunchy apples, feeling my hunger bar replenish. That's when I felt something that a fire eel should never want to feel, the cold. I turned and saw that it was because a ghost was floating right behind me.
Give in, Zozo. To be devoured by the mighty dread beast is your destiny.
What? You don't even have anything to do with that. You're just some random ghost. Why would you want the dread beast to eat me?
You're so foolish, Zozo. I have everything to do with it. I was a villager once, and then the dread beast ate me. I came back as a ghost, forever enslaved to his will.
That's terrifying. I'm sorry, Mr. Ghost, but there's no way I'm letting that happen to me. I turned and ran for my life in the opposite direction. That spooky ghost and his master/eater had already freaked me out enough for one day. When I came to a stop, alone in the middle of the Badlands, I was exhausted and honestly felt like crying. That's when I was approached by a surprisingly friendly Gorgon.
Hey, little buddy, you look sad. I'm Grace. Grace the Gorgon. Why don't you come with me? I can help you out.
That sounds nice. Thank you. I've had a really hard day.
Oh, don't I know it? Come with me. I'll take you to a friend of mine's place. You'll be safe there.
On day 3, Grace the Gorgon and I traveled through the Badlands until we found a small shack with a troll waiting outside. But rather than posting mean comments on the internet, he seemed happy to see us. Grace the Gorgon hung back while I approached to get acquainted with the cheerful troll.
The name's Terry. Terry the troll. You look like you seen a ghost, fella.
I have seen a ghost, actually. And it was the ghost of one of the past victims of a giant monster that wants to eat me.
Whoa, that's heavy, man. A monster wants to eat ya. That sounds like something the dread beast would do.
Yes, the dread beast. That's the one. Is there anything I could do to stop that awful monster from eating me?
Isn't it obvious? You're gonna need to slay it. Get it before it gets you. You get me?
Slay the dread beast? That doesn't sound like it's gonna be easy.
Sure, it won't be easy, but is anything worth doing ever easy? Get out there, make a base, get some allies who will work with you. It'll be tough, and it'll take time, but the way I see it, little fire eel, it's the only way you're gonna get out of this.
Well, an eel's gotta do what an eel's gotta do. Thanks for the advice, Terry. I'm gonna try my best to get strong enough and make enough allies to defeat the dread beast. From day 4 to day 5, Grace the Gorgon and I went deeper into the Badlands until we found an area that looked like it'd be perfect for building a base.
But you're gonna need some tools first, Zozo. Maybe start out by gathering some wood.
Good idea, Grace. I used what little baby eel strength I had to break down a tree and collect the wood for building a wooden pickaxe. It's mining time! And then I mined into the ground, collecting enough stone to build myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. But I didn't stop there. I continued gathering stone until I had enough to build myself a basic base with 2 rooms. One for me and one for Grace the Gorgon.
These rooms both look awesome, Zozo.
Thank you. It wasn't easy to build them, but I'm glad I did. Out of curiosity, Grace, why did you choose to stay with me?
Because I hate bullies, and I wasn't going to leave you out there, vulnerable to the Dread Beast. We'll stick together and win this thing.
Oh, you're the best, Grace! And that moment was so heartwarming, my hearts grew twice as big. Literally, I was bigger, stronger, had 20 hearts, and I gained an awesome new ability, shooting flaming wither skulls. Ah, yeah, that's more like it! From day 6 to day 8, I ventured out to a new location, the Basalt Barrera. It's nice to take a load off and see new places. It takes my mind off the fact that a terrifying monster wants to eat me alive. Oh no, now I'm thinking about it again! But I didn't have any more time to stand around feeling anxious because the same ghost that was hassling me earlier emerged out of the trees.
Zozo, I found you.
I really wish you'd unfind me.
You still have your sense of humor. Good. You'll need that when you're a ghost. The days are dark and the nights are long. It will never end.
Actually, it's gonna end for you right now. I was sick of being chased away by monsters, so I unleashed my fire breath onto the ghost, weakening him and making him physical before finishing him off with my stone sword. Nobody's eating me. I won't allow it. My battle with the ghost must have caught the attention of a Cyclops who was wandering through the Basalt Barrera. He immediately approached me with an offer.
Name's Sid the Cyclops. I may not have great depth perception, but I can see a real strength in ya. Think you can do a job for me? I got a local freaky customer who needs attending to.
Sure, I'll give it the old fire eel try. From day 9 to day 10, I went out to a remote part of the Basalt Barrera with Sid the Cyclops following close behind. Who exactly do you want me to fight here, Sid?
Believe me, when you see him, you'll know.
And Sid was right. The second I saw him, I did know. It was a huge, frightening Dread Knight. I could see why Sid didn't want to take him on himself. Well, here goes nothing. I ran in and faced the Dread Knight alone.
Doth thou wish to challenge me, knave?
Oh yeah, consider yourself challenged.
'Tis a battle then.
I fought the Dread Knight, but none of my attacks seemed to do any damage. The fight seemed hopeless, and in the end, all I could do was turn and run. I met back up with Sid the Cyclops, not far from the site of the battle. I'm not strong enough to take on this Dread Knight yet, Sid, but until I am, how about you come and hang out at my base?
Just sounds like a gas. Let's go.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Sid the Cyclops. I got to work on building him a new room right alongside the rooms I'd built for myself and Grace. By the time I was done, Sid looked delighted.
I've always wanted a second home. This is a big deal for me. I feel like a celebrity or something.
I'm glad you like it, Sid. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home.
Well, it's not quite as humble now. Go take a look at some upgrades I created while you were building my bedroom.
I took a look at the upgrades, and I was extremely impressed. He'd built a furnace, which would allow me to smelt ores into ingots for building weapons and armor. And he'd also built a storage room where I could store more weapons and resources. Speaking of resources, I'm hungry. I should probably find a way to keep my food supply sustainable. To that end, I started herding some chickens from the surrounding badlands and created a small farm with some coops to keep them for eggs and chicken. And now, it's time to put that furnace to good use. I searched until I found a deep cave, and inside, it didn't take me long to find a nice vein of iron ore. I mined it with my stone pickaxe until I had enough to take back. I returned to my base and smelted the ore into iron ingots. With the help of a few leftover sticks, I made myself an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. This will give me something to put in the storage room too. From day 13 to day 15, I started feeling antsy, thinking about the fact that the Dread Beast was out there, biding its time, waiting for the right moment to strike. I realized that I needed to get stronger, so I returned to Grace the Gorgon for some advice on what I should do next.
One of the biggest sources of the Dread Beast's power is the legion of ghosts created from his former meals. The more of them you can free from their bounds on the overworld, the weaker he'll be. I actually think there's another one near here at the Basalt Barrera.
Because Grace always seemed to be right, I ventured out to the Basalt Barrera, and exactly as she'd predicted, there was one of the Dreadbeast's ghostly servants waiting for me. Looks like I have my work cut out for me here. Through a mix of my fire attacks and the work of my strong new iron sword, I was able to defeat the ghost. It even dropped a potion of strength on the ground, which I picked up and drank. Wait, I can feel something happening. Suddenly, I started to grow, getting bigger and feeling my number of hearts grow to 30. I also experienced additional damage on every single one of my attacks. Grace was right, I'm much stronger already. This really was the trip out here. From day 16 to day 19, I went out to the bayou as a test of my courage. It was dangerous to wander around there with so much water everywhere. Still, what's life without a little risk here and there? I can't be a truly powerful fire eel if I'm not brave. But this journey was more valuable than just building up my confidence. While I was slithering along, I discovered a strange old book of fairy tales and decided to give it a read. Man's hunger for wealth and power once unlocked darker and deeper hungers. Greedy miners who wanted diamonds and gold dug deeper than they should and uncovered the monstrous Dreadbeast, a creature with a hunger to devour the whole world. Wow, so that's where the Dreadbeast came from. I wonder what I can do with this information. But I didn't have time to ponder on this for too long because I looked up and saw another eerie ghost floating toward me out of the darkness of the bayou.
You can't escape, Zozo. I thought I could escape. I was so silly. He ate me like he ate all the others. He'll eat you too, Zozo. He'll eat you too.
I vaporized the ghost with a wither skull and then ran out of there. I didn't feel like spending any more time in the bayou that day. From day 20 to day 22, I went back into the mining cave to collect a little more iron ore before returning to my base and smelting it into iron ingots. I've got some cool weapons and tools. Now it's time to get myself some awesome armor. I made an iron chestplate, which, admittedly, you couldn't actually see on my fire eel body, but would provide me some valuable defensive abilities anyway. I'm stronger than I've ever been, but now it's time to use that strength for good. There's an old score I have to settle. I returned again to the Basalt Barrera with one thing on my mind, finally defeating the Dread Knight. When I found him again, I pulled out my sword and squared up to him.
Dost thou return to fight me, you sad little fire eel? You cannot destroy that which has already been destroyed.
What does that even mean?
Once upon a time, I was a knight, a brave and powerful knight. I battled many a monster and believed that I could also slay the Dreadbeast. But I was wrong, terribly, terribly wrong. The Dreadbeast devoured me, and now my soul is bound to his. I'm a shade of my former self.
Then let me free you from this terrible state, Dread Knight. I fired a wither skull at the Dread Knight, then ran in to battle him directly. With my new skills and my iron sword, I was able to hold my own against the Dread Knight and eventually destroy him. Rest well, tragic knight. I'll avenge you and all the others.
Oh, will you now?
I turned with horror to see the Dreadbeast itself standing close behind me. Even with my new strength, he still looked just as frightening.
Tasty, tasty little eel. It's almost time, Zozo. I'm getting so hungry I can barely control myself.
I didn't want to stick around and see if the Dreadbeast could keep a leash on his appetite. Instead, I just turned and ran away as quickly as I could. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my base to tell Sid the Cyclops that I had managed to defeat the Dread Knight and free him from his torment in the process.
Zozo, how did the go, my guy?
The Dread Knight won't be bothering you anymore. I don't feel much like celebrating about it though. He was just as much a victim of the Dreadbeast as me. He's really, really evil.
Evil is as evil does, I guess. What can we do about it?
We can help each other. We can fight back.
I like where your head's at, kid. But where do we start?
I should probably upgrade my gear. If I want to do that, I'd better get mining. I headed down into the mining cave to see what I could find. I managed to gather some iron ingots, and I took them back to my base and smelted them, making an iron helmet. I feel tougher already. Then Grace the Gorgon approached me.
I heard what you did for the Dread Knight. That was an amazing start. As a thank you for your hard work, I've added an improvement to the base that I believe you'll approve of. It's a security bunker, a safe place to retreat to in the event of an ambush by the Dread Beast or one of his ghostly army.
Awesome, thank you! From day 27 to day 31, I went back out to the bayou, equipped with my new helmet and a renewed sense of purpose. I was a little worried I would run into another ghost, but instead, a big friendly panda came ambling up to me.
I heard you're the guy who got rid of that ghost who was terrorizing us out in these parts. Thank you kindly for that.
Of course! Are there any more ghosts out here?
None that I've seen, but if you're offering help, I sure could use a place to stay. See, that nasty ghost critter tore my house right up. Any chance you've got a spare room? And that room is panda-sized?
Sure! Well, I don't have a room for you yet, but I can build one. Let's go back to my base and we'll get you settled in.
Thanks. By the way, my name's Patrick.
I'm Zozo.
You sure are impressive for an eel, Zozo.
Well, that's kind of reductive, but thanks anyway. Come on! Patrick the panda followed me back to my base, and I got to work on building him a room where he could stay. When I was finished, Grace the Gorgon came to talk to me.
Zozo, Terry the troll needs help. There's a ghost attacking his home, but I can't fight it alone. Will you come with me and help?
Of course, poor Terry. Let's head on over there right now. From day 32 to day 35, Grace the Gorgon and I traveled to the Badlands to help Terry the troll. When we got there, Terry's shack was a mess. And I don't mean he forgot to pick up his dirty socks. I mean the whole thing had been knocked down. And Terry was nowhere to be seen. Instead, there was just a creepy ghost hovering out front.
You're too late, Zozo. Your friend has already left this life behind. Pity he died this way and not in the jaws of the mighty Dread Beast. He was not as lucky as you will be.
What do you mean? That can't be true!
But it is. One way or another, you will join us. I have heard that the Dread Beast is craving eel pie, and his hunger will soon be sated.
No, it won't! You may have taken my friend, but I'll never let you beat me! I shot a wither skull at the ghost and vaporized it. It felt good, but I was still heartbroken about Terry.
We can't let Terry's death be in vain, Zozo.
I may only be a little fire eel, but as long as I have fire breath in my body, I won't let the Dread Beast do this to anyone ever again! From day 36 to day 39, I returned to the Basalt Barrera. Now that I got rid of the Dread Knight, this place is pretty peaceful. I'd love to kick back and relax out here. Well, not kick, I don't have feet, but you get the idea. I was just about to try and squeeze in a little relaxation between quests when another ogre approached me.
Oi, your name's Zozo, isn't it? I've got a right awful bloke in me house. He just won't leave. I tried to chase him out, and he said he'd burn me to a crisp, he did.
Wow, people from the Nether sure have a funny way of talking. But I get what you mean, friend. Show me the way, and I'll do my best to help. He took me to his house, where, sure enough, a great big fire ogre was getting ready to burn the place down. Luckily, I threw a wither skull and stopped him before he could torch the Nether ogre's house. Here you go. Still just as not burnt down as it was before.
Well, Bob's your uncle. Say, you're that bloke what's looking to get rid of the Dread Beast?
I am.
Well, he's only out there in the swamplands, he is.
That's good to know. I just won't go there until I'm strong enough to fight and win. From day 40 to day 43, I traveled back home to my base. When I got there, I was surprised to find Sid the Cyclops waiting for me.
Hey there, Zozo! While you were out, I built some additional rooms.
Oh, that's amazing! I need a room for my friend here. But what made you think of that?
Well, I was hoping we could invite more guests to come stay. I know a few guys.
It turns out that very guy was Patrick the Panda, who I'd already met. The more the merrier. Here's your new room, Patrick.
Golly, it's perfect, Zozo. Say, could you do me one more favor? Could you go to the bayou and get my favorite book? I left it out there, and I've got a hankering for reading.
Sure, I'll head over there now. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled to the bayou to look for Patrick the Panda's favorite book. I probably should have asked him what it looked like, or what it was called. Oh well, I'm here now. But I wasn't the only one here. The terrifying Dread Beast popped out right in front of me.
Indeed you are, Zozo. Tasty eel, it's almost my supper time. Once it is, I will feast. And the prophecy foretells that once I eat a fire eel, I will reach my ultimate power and devour all that I see.
I'll never let you eat me, especially not after you said all that scary stuff.
When the time comes, you will not be able to escape.
With that, he disappeared, but I didn't get a chance to wonder where he went. In his place, he left behind a huge, mean-looking blue manticore.
Look upon your future, Zozo. If I could not defeat the Dread Beast, then surely a tiny, insignificant fire eel will not be able to. You will be devoured like the rest.
Why still work for him after what he did to you?
Fool, there is no choice. Once the Dread Beast has eaten you, there is no freedom.
That's terrible. I could tell he was the toughest opponent I'd faced so far, but if I wanted to save myself and free the blue manticore from the Dread Beast's grip, I was going to have to win! From day 50 to day 53, I continued my fight against the blue manticore. He was even stronger than he looked. I was pretty worried that I might not make it out of this one.
Just accept your fate.
Never! No one deserves that! I used all of the strength I had and fought as hard as I could. And with the help of my trusty Wither Skull, I finally managed to defeat him. But by the time I did, the Dread Beast was long gone. I was hoping to find out where exactly his base is. I know it's in a swamp, but where? Just then, I noticed something on the ground. The manticore must have dropped it. I took a closer look, and it was a map with Dread Beast Clubhouse written on it. This must be where his base is. Once I'm strong enough, I'm going straight there. From day 54 to day 57, I continued my search for Patrick the Panda's book. Finally, I came across a book lying on the ground. I went over to pick it up, but a hell ostrich leapt at me and started attacking. Hey, that's my friend's book. I need it back. The hell ostrich didn't say anything. It just kept attacking me. Okay, we don't have to chat about it, but you just have to let me take the book. With a few well-timed attacks, I was able to defeat the hell ostrich and grab the book. Sure enough, it said Panda's book on it. It also dropped something else, netherite ingots. Maybe I can use these later. I hurried back to my base to find Patrick the Panda. Patrick, I got your book.
Thank you, Zozo. I reckon I'll never know how to repay you.
You can pay me back with your friendship and by enjoying that book.
I also happen to have heard tell of a magic apple, one that gives anyone who eats it a massive boost of strength. Might be just what you need.
I'll keep an eye out for a magic apple then. From day 58 to day 62, I took a look around my base. This place is pretty great, but it could be even better. I wandered over to the chicken farm and had an idea. That's it. I'll expand this area so we can have even more chickens. With all of these new people staying at the base, we'll need lots of eggs. After that, I headed back into the mining cave to look for anything I could use to upgrade my gear. It took a long time, but I managed to find some diamonds. I took them back to my base and used them to craft a set of diamond armor, a diamond pickaxe, and a diamond sword. Wait until the Dread Beast gets a look at this. Good luck eating all these diamonds. Grace the Gorgon then approached with some more good news.
Zozo, come and see what I've done. I've added to the base. This is the party room, where we can all celebrate when you've bested the beast. I know you can do it.
Thanks for believing in me, Grace. From day 63 to day 66, I was hanging out at my base, practicing my dance moves in the party room when Sid the Cyclops came to see me.
Zozo, I heard that there might be some helpful materials in Birch Forest.
Where'd you hear that?
Got a tip from my materials guy.
It's good enough for your guy, it's good enough for me. I traveled to the Birch Forest and got to work looking for anything useful. As I searched, I spotted a maned wolf stalking her way toward me. Please don't attack me, I'm busy.
I wasn't gonna attack you. I was gonna say hi and ask you for a favor if that's okay. I'm Mallory.
Nice to meet you, I'm Zozo. What kind of favor?
My baby was kidnapped by a silver skeleton. Please help me get it back.
Of course, where did you last see him? Let's go. From day 67 to day 70, I followed the maned wolf to another part of the Birch Forest. There, I could see a silver skeleton. Where are you hiding the baby maned wolf?
I'll never tell. She's definitely not locked in that building over there.
Huh, I tricked you. Time to fight. I didn't give the silver skeleton any more time. I shot a wither skull at the skeleton. He attacked me in return, but my armor kept me from taking too much damage. Then it was time to test out my new diamond sword. I was able to defeat the silver skeleton with only 2 swipes. Then I opened the door to the nearby totally not suspicious building, and there was the baby wolf.
Thank you so much. I'll change her name to Zozo after you.
That's really nice, but please don't do that. A thanks is enough. From day 71 to day 74, I decided to follow the map to the cold swamplands and try to sneak a look at that dreadbeast hideout. While I was following the map's path, I started thinking about how much had already happened. I've had some amazing adventures so far. To find even more of my awesome antics, make sure to search ZOZO. That's my name. Finally, I reached the cold swamplands. Jeez, they call it cold for a reason. This is definitely no place for a fire eel. Then, in swooped the dreadbeast.
You will have plenty of time to get used to it after I've had my meal and your spirit is trapped here forever.
The dreadbeast found me before I found him. Time to see if I'm ready to fight this guy. I shot a wither skull at him, but he tanked it with complete ease. I'll try the sword. I attacked with my sword, but he barely seemed to feel it.
Like a mere paper cut.
Uh-oh, he hit me back, and my new armor protected me from getting completely knocked down, but I knew I wouldn't last too much longer. I'm not ready to take him on. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base. I wish I could fight him now, but if I do that before I get stronger, I'll lose for sure. I decided to lie down in my room for a while. I want to be a hero, but I'm starting to think that, sadly, I'm only an eel. Grace the Gorgon knocked on my door, interrupting my sad thoughts.
Hey Zozo, I know you're disappointed, but I wanted to show you an addition I've made to our home here. Come and look.
I followed her all the way to a new watchtower. Oh, this is pretty cool. Thank you, Grace. I feel better. While Grace and I were admiring the watchtower and all the watching we'd be able to do up there, Patrick joined me.
Take a look at what I found.
He handed me a magic apple. Hey, this is like the one you told me about.
Not just like it, it's the same one. Try it.
I ate the apple, and I felt myself growing bigger and more powerful. My hearts increased to 60, and I gained a new attack. I could shoot a fireball. I'll show that dreadbeast what being a fire eel is all about. From day 79 to day 84, I traveled back to the cold swamplands. This time, if the dreadbeast ambushes me again, I'll be ready. I didn't spot him anywhere, but I was able to test out my new strength and my fireball on an undead scorpion that tried to sting me. Nice try, but I'm not a little fire eel that people can pick on anymore. I'm a big, strong eel that plays by my own rules. That awesome act of firepower attracted the attention of a friendly polar bear.
You sure are. I know what that's like. Well, not the being an eel part. As you can see, I'm a polar bear.
Hi. I decided to sit with the polar bear for a little while, and when I finally got up to go, he stopped me for a second.
Thanks for the company. Hey, is that netherite? Attach it to your sword, like this.
Then he crafted a netherite sword for me. Thank you, this is great! From day 85 to day 89, I said goodbye to the nice polar bear and took my new netherite sword back to my base. When I got there, I saw that someone had destroyed my new watchtower. Hey, Grace worked really hard on that. I looked around for the culprit, and I saw a ghost floating away into the Badlands. Oh, no you don't. I chased after the ghost as fast as I could. As I did, a painted kitty stopped me.
Excuse me? Could you point the way to the birch forest? I'm terribly lost.
I quickly pointed her in the right direction, then kept running after the ghost. Looks like he's running toward the cold swamplands. From day 90 to day 94, I finally managed to catch up with the ghost. He ran into the dreadbeast's hideout. I stopped just outside. I'm not ready to go in there yet, but I can wait out here and see what happens. The ghost came back out of the hideout like he was looking for me. I got a better look at him and saw that he wasn't just a ghost. He was a huge, tough-looking dread ghoul.
My. Look who took the bait. It's the main course for the coming feast.
I'm so sick of you all saying stuff like that.
Then try and stop me, if you dare.
I shot a fireball at the dread ghoul, and it barely even fazed him. Uh-oh, he's the toughest minion I've fought yet. From day 95 to day 97, I continued my battle against the dread ghoul. I really need to do my best if I'm gonna win this one. With the help of my new netherite sword, I was finally able to knock the dread ghoul down for good. His helmet fell to the floor, and I grabbed it. It was netherite. This goes great with my sword. Hey, what's this? I spotted a note on the ground. It says the dreadbeast is getting worried about me. He thinks I might be able to destroy him before he can eat me and fulfill the prophecy. This is great news. It means I'm definitely on the right track. I can't back down. I've got to get everything I possibly need before I enter the final battle. On day 98, I returned to my base. Grace the Gorgon and the rest were waiting for me. I'm really starting to think I can do this. I wasn't so sure before, but now I know everything will work out.
It will. And look, I fixed the watchtower. The dread beast and his ilk can't keep us down.
Yeah! Next, I spoke to Patrick the Panda.
Zozo, before you head on out of here to fight that big boss, take this. It's a potion of strength. It'll power you up good.
Thank you, this is just what I need. And finally, Sid the Cyclops.
I don't have any potions or any repairs done. Just this. I may only have one eye, but I can see a bright future ahead of you, and the rest of us too. Because you're gonna do it, kid.
Thank you. Well, no more waiting around. I've got to go see a dread beast about a battle. On day 99, I traveled back to the cold swamplands and the dread beast's hideout. When I got there, I started to get pretty worried because the whole place was crawling with ghosts. Well, they were floating, but they were everywhere. But the maned wolf from before came bounding up to me.
I can handle these ghosts. You get inside while I keep them busy.
While the maned wolf took care of the ghost, I finally entered the dread beast's clubhouse. On day 100, I entered the dread beast's base and found him waiting there for me.
Yes, I knew you'd be here soon. My stomach has been growling. Time to feast.
Why do you have to eat all these innocent victims? Why can't you just have some pie or a sandwich like everybody else?
Because no sandwich in this world tastes sweeter than absolute power.
What about pie? Pie's pretty sweet.
Enough talk. I'm much too hungry and I'm craving fire eel.
He lunged at me and attacked, but I was ready. I dodged him and shot back a fireball in return. It hit him, but he kept going. He rushed at me again, and this time he knocked me back. But I wasn't done yet. I used my netherite sword to get the upper hand.
Zozo, imagine it. If you join my ghostly army, then you will share in my infinite power. The world will be ours.
No thanks. I'm not taking that deal. I drank the strength potion and finally got the better of him. And with one more swipe of my sword, I destroyed the mighty, terrible dread beast. I did it! I saved the day! I'll say it, this eel is on fire! On day 1, I spawned as a golden hydra. Whoa, this is amazing! I looked around and noticed that I was in some sort of cave. I ventured out and immediately saw some scary dread knights.
There he is. Catch him.
No thanks! I scurried away, the men following after me.
You come back here.
They started shooting darts at me. Ah! One dart hit me, and I lost some hearts. Wait, I only have 5 hearts? This is insane! I hurried and tried to get away, but the men were too fast. They surrounded me as I felt my eyes start to close.
Perfect. Everything is coming together.
And with that, I passed out. On day 2, I woke up in a cage. Oh, where am I? I looked around and noticed that there were more cages around me, but most of them were empty. I almost didn't notice the frog sitting in the cage nearby. He blended in with the floor really well.
I was waiting for you to wake up. Come on, we gotta get out of here.
But how? Even if we can get out of the cages, I don't know how to get out of the prison.
I know a way out, but you need to be the one to unlock the door.
I looked closer and examined the gate. I began to hit it with my heads, but that started to make me feel dizzy. The frog laughed at me.
Oh, no, use your fire spit.
Fire spit? I did what the frog said, and I spit at the lock. But it wasn't fire, it was golden little orbs. I left the cage and started firing away at the frog's cage until it opened too.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. I'm Zozo, by the way.
I'm Freddy.
Freddy and I made our way over to the exit and broke through the door, up the stairs. We were home free. On day 3, Freddy and I hurried as fast as we could away from the underground prison. While we were running, I spotted some pigs and chickens and hurried to gather their meat before they could scamper away. I gathered up their meat and shared some with Freddy. We both chowed down.
Thanks, Zozo. And I gotta say, that prison break was amazing. I didn't know you could spit gold.
Neither did I. In fact, I didn't know much about anything, except that some evil guys were after me. Freddy and I agreed to go our separate ways. I went further into the forest to explore. Maybe I would find some other hydras.
Little Hydra.
I turned and saw an old troll walking slowly up behind me. He looked hurt.
Would you mind helping me? I was attacked and need to get back home before it gets dark.
Of course! We slowly made our way to his home, a little cottage next to a river.
Thank you, little Hydra. Please come inside so that you are safe. There are all kinds of monsters outside.
The guy seemed nice enough, so I stayed with him for the night. On days 4 to 5, I woke up in the troll's house. He had cooked some stew for both of us. Thank you. What did you say your name was?
I'm Horace, just a poor old troll trying to make his way in the world.
Horace seemed better than yesterday, but still very tired. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Actually, I'm more concerned for your safety. You are the Golden Hydra after all.
The Golden Hydra?
A prophecy was given many years ago by a great seer. She said that a Golden Hydra would be born, and it would be his destiny to either save or destroy the land.
Is that me?
I believe it is.
What should I do?
Build yourself a safe house, gather materials, strengthen yourself as much as you can. You need to be at your best.
Horace gave me some stone tools and a full stack of oak planks.
Use these to start. I hope to hear from you, little Hydra. Be careful who you trust.
I left Horace's house to find a good place to start a base. I found a nearby lake on the plains with some nice level ground. I used my stone tools to gather additional material and started working on a modest Japanese-style gold Hydra base. It may have only been one building for me so far, but there was plenty of room on the plains for this base to expand with more buildings and features. It was all coming together when I heard some men yelling.
There's the Hydra! Get him!
It was more of those evil Dread Knights! Not today, you goons! I spit my orbs at them, and they all turned to gold! Oh, wow! That is not what I expected! Just then, I felt power rush through me, and I grew into a larger Hydra! Now I have 11 hearts! Nice! I'll beat whoever controls those Dread Knights in no time! On days 6 to 8, I ventured from my base to gather more information. Also, I wanted to see if I could find more creatures that needed shelter from the mysterious villain and his men. I came across some tortoises who immediately tried to run away. Hey, I'm a friend! They looked at me warily.
You aren't working with the sorcerer?
No, a sorcerer? Is that who's commanding all the Dread Knights? I have nothing to do with him.
Look, kid, it would just be better if you left this land. It's not safe for you.
The tortoises slipped away, leaving me confused. I decided to go back to Horace's house to ask him about it.
A great sorcerer has purged this land and intends to use your power for his purposes. He will stop at nothing to get you.
That's awful! What should I do?
There is a cave nearby that has some armor and tools that we could use. I was on my way there the other day when I was attacked. That's a good place to start.
Sounds like a plan. On days 9 to 10, I hurried to the cave that Horace mentioned and went to explore. Sure enough, there was a chest hidden behind some rocks. Just as I was about to open it, a great hairy spider came rushing out. Ugh, gross! He attacked me, and I was too slow to spit my golden orbs. I took quite a bit of damage. Ouch! I hurried and slithered from the cave. This is too hard. I can't defeat him by myself.
Hey, are you trying to get rid of that spider too?
A wolf came out from behind a tree. Yeah, I am. Why do you want him gone?
He took some of my armor. I'm trying to keep myself safe from the sorcerer's goons.
Me too. Maybe we can work together. We came up with a plan and went back down to the spider's lair. The wolf distracted him, and I shot my golden orbs at him. He turned immediately into a gold statue.
Wow!
We gathered the materials in the chest, and I gave the wolf the reptile armor.
Be careful out there.
Zozo.
Zozo. I'm Lex.
Thanks, Lex. Take care of yourself. On days 11 to 12, I returned to Horace. At first, he was happy, but when I told him that I'd given Lex the armor from the chest, he got really mad.
The other animals don't matter, little Hydra. What matters is that you're strong.
He was acting really weird, but I couldn't blame him. He was probably scared of the sorcerer and just wanted us to be safe.
You've done well, but this isn't enough. Now you must travel to the Black Forest and gather more strength potions left there by wizards of yore. This is important, little Hydra. Don't trust anyone besides me. Defeat anyone who stands in your way.
I left the house, wondering why Horace didn't want me to trust anyone else. He was probably just paranoid. As I made my way to the Black Forest, I saw some more of the sorcerer's goons traveling along the river. I tried to be quiet and slither away, but they spotted me.
It's the HYDRA! Grab him!
I dodged some of their darts and shot my golden orbs at them. They tried to escape, but after a few shots, they were all statues. Nice! I soon reached the depths of the Black Forest, hoping to gather the potions Horace wanted. On days 13 to 15, I plucked up the courage to enter the sinister Black Forest. At first, there didn't seem to be anyone there, but I kept looking, wanting to find those potions. After just a few moments, I saw a family of hoglins gathered around a campfire, harmlessly warming themselves. Why does Horace want me to defeat these hoglins? They seem really nice. I slithered in, and the hoglins were taken aback. I don't mean you any harm, I'm just curious if you have any armor. The hoglins were cautious, but one answered me.
Are you going to try to steal it from us like the others?
Others? What others?
A sorcerer's men. They have tried to steal it before. They want all the armor taken away from the creatures in the land, so they can't fight the sorcerer.
What? That didn't seem right. I needed to talk to Horace about this. On days 16 to 19, I traveled back to Horace's house. I arrived, and he seemed happy to see me. But when I told him I couldn't get the strength potions from the Black Forest, he immediately turned angry.
Don't you know what's at stake? You needed to get those potions. You need to get stronger.
Why is it so important that I'm stronger?
You are not fulfilling my expectations. I need to think this through.
He told me to leave. I did, more confused than before. When I arrived back at my base, Freddy Frog was there. Hey, buddy, it's been a while.
Zozo, I'm so glad you're okay. I heard that you met the sorcerer. How did you survive?
What do you mean? I haven't met him.
All the creatures have seen him hiding out in the woods. He's disguised as a simple old troll.
Wait, was he talking about Horace?
I heard he's planning an attack with his goons today. He's going to the village in the plains.
I had to see for myself if this was true. It couldn't be Horace, could it? I went with Freddy to the village in the plains like he said. When we got there, I saw the goons being led by a very recognizable troll. I looked closer and realized it was Horace. You manipulated me. Horace turned toward me.
Oh, Zozo, you gullible little HYDRA. You are too quick to trust, but you've been a hindrance. Time for a change of plans.
You had no right to do that to me, and you have no right to steal from innocent creatures and people. I charged at him, spewing golden orbs. He easily outmaneuvered them, and with his powerful swing, threw me back into a building. Before I knew it, I blacked out. On days 20 to 22, I woke up with Freddy looking down at me.
Oh, good. You're awake. You need to help the villagers.
I got up and followed Freddy to the village. Some of the buildings were on fire. Everyone, move away from the buildings! I hurried and spewed my orbs at them, extinguishing the fires. It was definitely not what the villagers were expecting.
Whoa, this is amazing! How can we repay you?
It might not be safe here anymore. You can all live at my base with me. I have lots of room. The villagers talked amongst themselves for a little while, then readily agreed. We made our way to my base and then gathered some needed supplies for the new houses. It was hard work, but in no time, everyone had a house of their own.
Thank you, Zozo. These look amazing.
On days 23 to 26, I went back to the cave where I originally spawned. It must have been important, so I figured that I should investigate. I entered the cave and it seemed very normal. I was hoping to find some sort of clue as to who my parents were. It had been a crazy couple of days, and even though I had friends, I wondered if I had family. All of a sudden, I heard a noise coming from deeper in the cave. I explored further and saw another HYDRA, but she was being attacked by a group of skeletons. Get away from her! I slithered down and started shooting the skeletons. Within just a few moments, those bags of bones were gone. I turned to the HYDRA, but then I felt a power surge through me. I grew, and then I leveled up into an adult HYDRA. I now have 18 hearts. I let out a large breath of golden fire.
Zozo?
The HYDRA looked scared of me. No need to be scared. Who are you?
I'm your mother.
My mother? I'm so glad I found you. Where did you go?
I laid an egg and went to find some food, but when I came back, you were gone. I was so worried about you.
How about you come live with me? I have a base and it'll be much safer than this cave. She happily agreed, and we made our way in that direction. On days 27 to 31, as my mother and I left the cave, we happened upon Freddy again.
Hey, Zozo, do you think you could help my family?
He directed me toward a small alcove nearby that had been broken apart. What happened?
The sorcerer's goons tried to break our alcove after we refused to leave. We managed to escape before anyone was hurt, but we don't have a home now.
The frogs looked very sad, so I offered to build them a new home on my base.
Really? That would be great. Thank you so much.
With the frogs and my mother in tow, we continued on our way to my base. Once we arrived, we got straight to work, building a pond for the frogs and placing down a bed for my mother. I also noticed that the villagers had planted crops and gathered some animals. They even made a nice path connecting all the buildings. Thanks, guys. You've done some great work here. It was all starting to come together.
I will get that golden HYDRA if it's the last thing I do. He is the key to all of my plans.
What would you like me to do, Master?
I want you to follow him. Make sure he is met with challenges. He needs to reach maximum strength by the full moon. It's vital that you do this.
Yes, Master.
On days 32 to 35, I wanted to return to the underground prison where Freddy and I were held. If Horace wanted to befriend me, why did he capture me in the first place?
That's a good question. Maybe there are some answers at the prison.
I asked Freddy if he wanted to come with me, and he readily agreed. We made our way down the tower where we had escaped, and noticed that there were iron golems standing around this time. That's new, and they don't look like they work for Horace.
I wasn't expecting you to come back here.
I flipped around to see one of the iron golems standing right behind me. Are you one of the guards?
Not exactly. I bartered with some of Horace's goons that are corrupt. They agreed to give you to me as a bargaining chip. We weren't expecting you to escape so quickly, however.
So you're not my enemy. You just want to sabotage him.
Basically.
So...
perhaps we can make an arrangement to stop him.
What do you have in mind?
I'll be in touch. I have some research to do. Just look out for a message from Puck the Honorable.
Honorable? You captured my friend Freddy.
Sorry, what can I say? I like frog legs.
I heard Freddy gulp behind me.
Don't worry, I won't eat your friend, but we'll be in touch, Zozo.
And just like that, he left, without even saying goodbye. Not very polite, but okay. On days 36 to 39, I went venturing into a nearby cave to find some iron ore that could help buff out my equipment. After I found enough, I built a furnace, smelted some iron ingots, and finally made myself an iron sword, iron pickaxe, and some armor. Cool, looking good. I went digging deeper and even managed to find some diamonds. Yes, jackpot! This will be great for some upgrades. Before I could start crafting, I heard a noise and something hit me. I turned and saw a skeleton moving around, trying to shoot me again. I spewed my golden fire breath at him. Nice. The skeleton froze, but not before dropping his bow. I picked it up and realized it was enchanted. Infinite arrows. Sweet. I returned to my base with the supplies and the bow, hoping to upgrade some of my items and the houses. One of the villagers approached me.
Zozo, do you think you could help me with something?
Sure, what is it?
Bradley, and it's about our home. I thought I had gathered everything when we came here, but I left something important there. Would you come with me? I don't feel safe going by myself.
Of course, let's go! On days 40 to 43, Bradley and I ventured back to the village on the plains. We hurried to the house to grab his item. What is it you needed so badly? He rummaged around his room under his bed and then whooped in victory.
Got it!
Is that a paintbrush?
Yeah, it's my lucky paintbrush.
Are you serious?
It's important to me.
I shook my head. What a weird kid. But hey, at least he has it now. All of a sudden, I heard a noise outside. Shh, I think there's someone here. I looked out the window, and sure enough, there was some of Horace's goons rummaging around. But they weren't alone. They were being led by a terrifying yak this time. We tried to sneak out quietly, but Bradley made a noise and they spotted us. Smooth move, Bradley! The goons charged at us and I started to spew golden fire. Within just a few moments, we had nearly taken out all of the goons. The henchman just stood, watching us. Then after a moment, he ran off with the remaining men.
Coward!
We looked around and noticed the goons had dropped a few healing potions before I had frozen them into gold. Nice! Now we have a little bit bigger of a potion stash, just in case.
Sheesh, that was awesome!
Was the paintbrush worth it, Bradley?
Absolutely.
On days 44 to 49, Bradley and I traveled back to the base. Once we arrived, I found a note on my door. Puck the Honorable sent me a message to meet outside my base near the river. It didn't take me long to find him.
I've been doing some research about Horus and his plans. I think that if you are able to create a certain item, you can overpower Horus.
Great! What is it?
An amethyst sword. It's the one thing that will harm Horus, even if he reaches the full extent of his magical powers, and it may just save your life.
What do I need to do?
You'll need to gather 2 amethyst crystals and a stick. That's all you'll need to make it, though I can't promise those crystals won't be guarded by an incredibly dangerous mobs.
Great. Sounds like a walk in the park.
What? You expected saving the world to be easy?
No, I just wish I hadn't been duped by Horus in the first place.
Don't beat yourself up, kid. You'll get the hang of it.
Huck handed me a paper with some instructions on it.
This should help you.
And just like that, he left. Again. I need to tell him it's polite to say your goodbyes. On days 50 to 53, I followed the instructions Puck gave me to find the crystals. It said to go to a cave and consult with the ancient being. I realized that it had led me back to the cave where I had fought the giant spider. As I entered, I noticed that the spider was still there, frozen in gold. He must be the ancient being. I wonder if there's a way I can reverse it. I went up to the spider and tried to shoot an orb at him. Nothing. A fire breath, and also nothing. Then I tried to punch him. Suddenly, he turned back into his normal self. He looked down at me angrily.
How dare you freeze me?
I'm sorry. I was manipulated by the sorcerer to steal your items. But you did steal some of them from the wolf. He softened a little.
I did. I was desperate and needed extra protection. Clearly, it did not work. What do you want?
I was told that you have information about amethyst crystals.
Yes, I was once a guardian of a great multitude of crystals, but I was forced to leave when the cavern was ambushed by an evil warden. It has been a great many years since then.
Can you show me where it is?
I cannot. When I desired to go back, it was no longer there. Some sort of shifting due to magic.
I thanked the spider and left the cave. It was just another dead end. On my way back to the base, I noticed more of Horus's goons fighting a wolf. Hey, that's Lex. Maybe he'll want to help me. I approached as he finished the goons off. Hey, remember me?
Zozo, you're alive!
Yeah, I am, and I'm trying to defeat the sorcerer. I could really use your skills. Would you want to help me?
I don't think I can, Zozo. I'm good at fighting his goons, but he's too powerful. I think you'd be better off on your own.
Before I could even argue, he ran off into the distance. Well, that was underwhelming. Maybe he'll change his mind. On days 54 to 57, I went exploring a little more. I found myself close to where I had found Horus that first time. I wondered if he was still at his house. I decided to investigate. When I got closer, I heard voices.
The master needs some items taken to him. Make sure they get there safely.
It was the henchman I had seen earlier, the yak! He had a few goons, and he was dragging some chests of things. It seemed like a good opportunity to attack. Hey, coward! The henchman turned toward me.
You just can't get enough, can you?
He sent the goons forward to attack. I maneuvered around them easily, and within a few moments, most of them were gold statues. The henchman got mad. Before I knew it, he attacked me. Ouch! How is he so fast? I felt my heart's dwindling. He slashed at me again, faster than any other human I had encountered. I tried to breathe my golden fire at him, but it was in vain. I need to get out of here. I hurried and slithered away, retreating into the bushes.
Look who's the coward now.
The henchman ran off. I didn't dare follow him. I was too weak and needed to go back home. If I can't defeat just one henchman, how am I supposed to defeat a sorcerer?
He managed to take out a few of your men, Master, but he could not withstand my blows. He is not even close to being ready. Yes, he is weak, but he will get stronger. Just keep attacking. Send out as many men as possible. They're disposable. Will do, Master.
On days 58 to 62, I made it back to my base. I was met with a much-needed surprise.
Zozo, we made you something, sweetie.
My mom led me to the edge of the base. Whoa, is this a statue of Me? It was a HYDRA, but it wasn't completely gold. It was more of an orange color.
Actually, it's a statue of your father.
My father?
I wanted to tell you earlier, but I didn't know if you were ready. He died right before you were born. He was trying to protect us. He couldn't wait to meet you, Zozo.
I looked up at the statue. It's amazing.
It's not done yet. We still need some more quartz for the teeth. Would you like to help us?
Of course. I headed to the desert where I had previously seen some ruins made out of quartz and collected those materials for the statue. After giving the quartz to Mom, she quickly added the teeth to the statue, and now it truly looked magnificent. On days 63 to 66, I woke up to someone calling my name. I went outside. It was Lex. Hey, Lex, what's up?
I went back to that cave with the spider, and to my surprise, he wasn't a gold statue anymore.
Oh yeah, I should have warned you.
No harm done. He actually told me that you were looking for a cavern with amethyst crystals in it. I think I might actually know where that is.
Really? Show me. Lex led the way to a small desert. We finally arrived at what looked like a rock formation with a door. Great, let's just push open the door and head inside. We tried to push, pull, and roll, but the stone didn't budge. I even tried my golden fire on it. No luck.
Maybe there's a special combination or code word?
Maybe, but I have no idea what it might be. It was disappointing, but now I knew where it was. At least I could come back to it later. Let's head back. How about you stay with us? You don't have to be alone, Lex. He sighed.
I know, I was wrong and scared, but I know you're our best chance at stopping the sorcerer. Thanks for not giving up on me.
Of course, that's what friends do. Lex smiled and we headed home. On days 67 to 70, Bradley approached me again.
Hey, Zozo, do you think you could help me with something else?
Is it another paintbrush, Bradley?
No, actually. I wanted to practice shooting with the bow I have. Do you think you could help me with some target practice?
Of course. Where did you have in mind?
There's actually an archery area near my old house. Maybe we can even bring some of the stuff back to the base.
That sounds like a great idea. We headed back toward Bradley's old home. When we got there, we noticed some movement outside the houses. Hey, those are the tortoises I met earlier. They told me to take a hike.
Maybe we should go.
Then I noticed the tortoises were fighting each other over some food. I approached carefully. Hey, friends, remember me?
Ugh, you again. We don't need your help, HYDRA. You're just making things worse for us. The sorcerer and his goons have driven us out of our homes, and now we hardly have food.
The leader came toward me and snapped his teeth. I don't want to hurt you. He snapped at me again, and I had no choice but to spew golden fire at him. After he turned into a statue, I punched him. He quickly came back to life, looking surprised.
Why did you do that?
Like I said, I'm not here to hurt you. In fact, we would love for you to stay at our base. It's safe, and there's plenty of food. There's no need to fight each other.
Thank you, HYDRA. We are in your debt.
On days 71 to 74, we made it back to the base. This time, we were met with an unwanted surprise. My mom rushed out to us.
Zozo, they're attacking the base. We need your help.
I slithered over and saw the yak and his dread knights waiting for me. Hey, you don't belong here. The henchman looked at me and just like before, attacked in a flash. I still wasn't strong enough, but I knew I needed to protect my friends. Using all of my strength, I let out the largest burst of golden fire I could muster.
Not bad, HYDRA, but not good enough. Come and find me when you are ready. I'll be waiting with your precious friend.
And before I knew it, the henchman left. I had managed to statuefy his goons, but he escaped again. Wait, what did he say about a friend? I slithered inside as fast as I could and realized that my mother was nowhere to be found. Mom? Mom! He took her, and I had no idea where she went. I retreated to my house, blind with rage. And then I started to cry. This was all too much. How was I ever supposed to defeat anyone like this? I stayed in my house for a while, not letting anyone in. Finally, after a long time, I heard a knock at the door.
Zozo, it's Lex. We have something to show you.
I reluctantly left the house, not wanting anyone to see me like this. But they needed someone, and I needed to be strong for them. Lex showed me that they had fixed up the crops, bred the animals, and improved the security by building some walls. Great! Thanks, Lex.
That's not all.
He turned me toward the statue of my dad, and I realized there was a smaller version next to it. It was of my mom.
You'll get her back, Zozo. We believe in you.
I didn't know what to say. I just nodded.
And you are sure he is getting stronger? Yes, Master. He is almost to his full form. Excellent! Then the plan is working. The mother will eventually bring him to us. Good work. Thank you, Master.
On days 75 to 78, Puck the Honorable left me another note. I met him at our customary spot next to the river.
Hello again, Zozo.
What do you want, Puck?
Someone's in a hurry. I have important information and a gift for you. I hear you are having some trouble with Horace's henchman. I have some important information. His whereabouts. He actually lives very close to Horace. It's a bit hush-hush, but I have my ways.
He handed me a map, and I went to grab it.
Be careful, Zozo. You don't know what you'll find there.
Give me the paper, Puck.
Do not lose yourself along the way. Remember what you are fighting for.
I know what I'm fighting for, Puck. My mom has been taken by those creeps, and I intend on saving her. Then I'm going to put the henchman and Horace in their rightful place. Puck handed me the paper.
Good boy. Now go get your mother back.
On days 79 to 84, I raced to the henchman's house. If there was a chance he had my mom, I was going to find her and defeat him once and for all. I followed the directions and found myself outside of a large wall. Inside, it was a modest-looking house. This is where the henchman stays? Quite a cozy home he made for himself. I snuck around to see if he was inside, but I didn't see anything. Suddenly, I felt a gust of wind. The yak was standing right behind me.
Come to retrieve your mommy?
Coming after me was one thing, but involving my mom was a step too far.
Your mother gave you everything, and you still can't save her.
I'm going to beat you, Yak, for her! I felt a power grow within me, and I leveled up into a fully grown Hydra with 50 hearts. I got bigger, stronger, and even gained the Claw Strike ability.
No, this isn't what was supposed to happen. Horace promised me I wouldn't be defeated by you.
Be careful who you trust, henchman. And with a swipe of my claws, I defeated him. He burst into golden sparks and was gone.
Zozo!
I looked and saw my mother coming toward me. She'd managed to escape. Mom, did he hurt you?
I'm fine. I'm so proud of you. Look at how strong you are. You look so much like your father did. I'm so glad you're okay.
Come on, Mom. Let's get you back home.
Oh, and before we go, I found this while I was imprisoned. I figured you might want it.
It was a golden key. On days 85 to 89, my mom and I arrived back at the base. Everyone was so happy to see my mom, and they ushered us over to the statues.
We almost finished it while you were gone, but we wanted you to put on the finishing touch.
Freddy handed me a few glowstone blocks, which I added to my dad's statue, completing his fire breath. It was perfect. And I have more amazing news, Freddy! The golden key my mom found at the henchman's base. I think it's literally the key to getting into the Amethyst Crystal Cave. The henchman and Horace must have known that the Amethyst Sword could foil his grand plan. That's why he had the key to unlock the cavern. I've got to get over there now! I rushed out of the base toward the desert. As I arrived at the door, I felt my heart leap. This is it. It's finally coming together. I used the golden key to open the door. Here I go. I made my way down the dark tunnel, which eventually opened up into a cave system. Inside were hundreds of glowing amethyst crystals, all being watched over by a warden. This isn't going to be easy. I got right behind it, and before it knew what was happening, I let out a large burst of golden fire. He let out a terrible scream, but he didn't turn into a statue. I took a swipe at him with my claws instead. This time, he screamed in agony. I kept swiping, avoiding his blows as best as I could. My hearts were dwindling, but after just a few more moments, the warden was gone. Yes! I hurried and collected as many amethyst crystals as I could hold before hurrying out of the cavern. Time to end this, Horace. On days 90 to 94, I exited the cavern, blinking in the sunlight.
Nice to see you again, little Hydra.
I looked and saw Horace standing right in front of me. I was about to swipe him into oblivion when his magic froze me in place.
Please, none of that. I just want to talk.
I stared at him. What could you possibly want to talk to me about? You've gone out of your way to torture me.
Don't you see, Hydra? I have strengthened you. You have become the golden Hydra of the prophecy. All thanks to me.
You had nothing to do with it.
Oh, don't even think for a minute that you would have accomplished anything without me. I made sure that you had difficulties so that you could learn. I made sure that you would eventually get the potion that would bring you to full power.
You sabotaged your own henchman?
He was disposable at best. But think of what we can do together, little Hydra. We can rule this land together. Of course, it'll need to be destroyed before it can be built back up. But we can accomplish that if you follow me.
Never.
This is your last chance. Watch the world burn around you before I possess your mind or willingly serve me.
I hissed at him.
Very well.
Somehow, Horus made all my amethysts that I'd worked hard and suffered to collect all disappear.
Be sure to be at your best by the full moon, little Hydra. In the meantime, enjoy my wrath.
I heard Horus laughing, and then it all went dark. On days 95 to 97, I woke up to pitch black. Where am I? Horus must have buried me underground. I looked at what I assumed was up and started to dig. It wasn't too deep, but by the time I saw sunlight, I was exhausted. I'm getting really tired of him. I tried to catch my breath, but then I noticed a note on the ground next to me. It read,
"Say goodbye to your honorable friend."
My blood turned cold as I raced toward Puck's dungeon. No, please don't let me be too late. When I got there, the whole place was demolished. I looked around, hoping to find anything, and I heard a groan from beneath some rocks. Puck! I moved the rubble and saw him on the ground. He was in really bad shape.
I guess Horus figured out who my sources were.
You're going to be okay, Puck. Let me help you up. Puck coughed.
Don't worry about me, Zozo. Go, protect your mom and your friends. He's heading to your base next.
And with one last breath, Puck the Honorable passed. I let out a giant roar as I mourned my friend, but I had to get to my base. I needed to stop Horus before he caused any more destruction. On day 98, I arrived too late. What was once my base was now in ruins. I ran around frantically. Mom, Lex, Bradley, Freddy! I didn't hear anyone answer. I slumped down and was about to give up when I heard a small voice.
Zozo?
I looked up and saw my mom limping towards me. Freddy limped alongside her. Mom! Freddy! Where is everyone else?
A lot of them didn't make it out, Zozo. Bradley and Lex managed to run and hide with me, but nobody else was fast enough.
We're lucky to be alive.
I let out another loud roar in agony. Puck was gone. All the villagers and tortoises were gone. I had tried so hard to protect everyone, and I had failed. I felt my whole body slump.
Hey, everything is going to be fine. Do you know why?
Why?
You are the Golden Hydra, and you are going to put a stop to Horus and his destruction.
Mom slipped me something. It was a key.
Horus dropped this before he left. It must be to his base.
I looked at the key in shock.
You are going to get back your amethyst crystals, finish the amethyst sword, and you will put a stop to all of this. Promise?
Promise. On day 99, I headed to Horus's base. It had massive black walls, and inside there was a huge tower raising high into the sky. I carefully entered the front wall gate. To my surprise, the courtyard was completely empty. I explored a bit and located a back door, probably for the goons, and I used the key to get inside. Freddy, you're the best. I snuck up the passageway and went to open the door to the main chamber. A Dread Knight spotted me immediately. It's the Golden Hydra. I quickly took him out. So much for being stealthy. I was a Hydra after all, a golden one at that. It was hard to keep a low profile. I opened the chamber, and to my surprise, only Horus stood inside, smiling at me.
Did you really think it would be that easy, Hydra? But at last, you're a day early. What exactly was your plan here?
Give me back the amethyst crystals, and nobody has to get hurt, Horus.
No.
I was prepared this time. I smacked him back with my claws and grabbed for the crystals. Before he knew it, I was down the passageway.
Stop that, Hydra!
I made it back to my base and hurriedly crafted the amethyst sword out of the 2 amethyst crystals and a stick. It was time to defeat Horus once and for all. On day 100, I made my way back to Horace's base. Perfect, a dramatic ending, just like I wanted. Horace was waiting for me outside. Are you ready for your reign of terror to finally end, Horace?
You're exactly where I want you, Zozo. When this battle is over, I'll take control of your body and use you as just another tool to take over this world.
Not if me and the Amethyst Sword have anything to say about it. This time, I wasn't playing around. He fired a magical energy blast at me, but I was so strong now, I tanked it and ran right in.
Oh, no, I may have made an error here.
But that time for talk was over. I ran in and hit him with the Amethyst Sword again and again, weakening him a little more each time. He unleashed his guards on me, but they were taken care of quickly. Many sword swings later, when Horace was on the edge of defeat, I stopped attacking and stepped back for a moment.
You can't win! I am an all-powerful sorcerer!
Silence is golden, Horace! With one blast of my golden spit, Horace was turned into a harmless golden statue forevermore. At long last, the creatures of the overworld can breathe easy again.
On day 1, I spawned in as a stray cat. I've only got a few hearts, but look how quick I am. I noticed that I was starting to feel hungry, so I immediately started looking for food. As I explored, I soon saw a small village up ahead. I checked one of the houses and noticed that there was some meat on the table. Oh, perfect, just what I need. I hopped up on the table and grabbed it.
Hey, get out of my house!
The human clearly didn't want me here. I wasn't ready for a fight, so all I could do was run. I kept running until I was back in the woods from before. Why was he so mean to me? This is going to be a hard 100 days if no one wants to be my friend. I kept exploring the woods when I saw a group of cats up ahead. More cats! Hi, guys!
Oh hey, you must be new around here. We were just trying to figure out how we were going to get some dinner.
You're telling me. I just took some meat from one guy's house and he chased me all around. But here, I'll share it with you guys. The cats were really thankful and excited about the meat. They must have been really hungry. I was glad to have met them. We were going to have all kinds of great adventures together. Before we had realized it, night had fallen. That was when we were suddenly attacked by a zombie.
Quick, into the trees!
My new cat friends had all climbed into the trees, but I wasn't fast enough. I had no choice but to fight. Luckily, the zombie wasn't very strong, and I was able to fight him off. But that was just one, and a whole group of skeletons were suddenly on me. I've got to get away! I ran off and soon saw a thick tree. I hurried and punched a hole in it where I was able to crawl inside, away from the skeletons. That was way too risky. I'll have to stay in here for the night. On day 2, I woke up to one of my new cat friends punching a hole in the tree.
Come on, Zozo, we've got to start looking for food.
What do you mean? I thought cats got to lay around and be lazy all day.
That's just house cats. Strays like us have to work hard all day to survive. Come on.
I hopped out of the tree and got to work punching some trees and collecting wood. With the wood I collected, I made a crafting table, then used the crafting table to make a wood pickaxe, shovel, axe, and sword. I'm gonna have to get even more wood if I'm gonna make myself a proper base. Using my new wood axe, I got to work chopping down some more wood. That's when I heard the sound of a spider and was suddenly attacked. Back off, you creepy crawler. The claws were still stronger than a wooden sword, so I swung them and managed to take the spider out. Not too much later, even more spiders attacked. I was really quick and nimble, so I had no problem taking them out too. Alright, that's enough spider fighting. I need to get working on that base. I climbed up a nearby tree and started working on a treehouse. It was hard enough that we would have to scrounge for food. We didn't need to be constantly fighting off mobs too. Speaking of food though, I saw a small bird had landed on the other side of my treehouse. Ooh, that bird looks delicious. I positioned myself, then sprang forward, missing the platform. There was a loud crunch as I hit the ground. I landed on my feet, but falling from a big height still hurt. To my surprise though, my health started going up. That's when a counter appeared, showing that my 9 lives were now down to 8. Just then, my cat friend came running over.
Oh, thank goodness. I heard you fall and was worried it might have been your last life.
Nope, I've still got 8 to go.
Oh, well, you're lucky. The rest of us have been strays for a while, and we're all down to our last one. Hopefully you're never in our position.
There was no time to talk though, as suddenly a pack of wolves came out of nowhere and attacked.
Zozo, run!
We all split up and ran off in different directions. Why were these wolves chasing us?
Come here, you little snack.
Oh, because they wanted to eat us. Of course. I managed to jump into my tree and climb up to the top. Thankfully, the wolves were too big to fit in my tree.
You got away this time, but we'll be back. You can't get away from our boss.
I didn't like the sound of that, but at least for now, they were leaving me alone. As long as I can climb trees, I'm sure I'll be safe. Later, my cat friends climbed up with me, and together we all watched the sunset. At least we all had each other. On day 3, I woke up to a terrifying sound, the sound of wolf howls. It was scary, but we were still safe in the trees. But that's when I saw him. What is that? A giant wolf monster was headed our way. This must be the
other wolf's boss.
You can't hide from me.
The monster wolf climbed up the side of the tree, up onto our platform. Watch out, guys, run! We all ran off in different directions, but it was too late. The wolves managed to get all of my friends, knocking them out one by one. No, my friends! There was nothing more I could do. Somehow I was the lucky one, and they didn't notice me up in the tree. As the wolves left, all I could think about was how alone I felt. Those wolves are gonna pay for what they've done. Mark my words. On days 4 to 5, I woke up in my unfinished base. It's not safe here in the forest. I'll have to find a new place to live. I left the forest and headed off. I had heard once that cats were originally desert animals, so I decided I would find a desert far from here to live in. I'm sure wolves won't like the desert heat too. A desert will be twice as safe. As I entered the desert, I decided that I was going to build the greatest cat tower the world had ever seen. Plus, it would be really safe to live in. Triple safety. If I'm gonna do this, I've gotta get stone, and lots of it. I found myself a nice cave and snuck down into it, mining up as much stone as I could. While I was down there, I also made sure to grab some coal that could be used to power my furnace later. Let's get crafting. Using a crafting table, I used my new stone to make myself a stone pickaxe. I also made myself a stone shovel, sword, and axe. Next up, wood. I needed tons of wood, so much that I cleared out an entire area of trees. With my inventory now full of all the building supplies I needed, I started to build the first level of my cat tower that would also double as my starter base. Once I had finished the outside, I got to work filling up the inside. I put up some pictures as well as all the tables I was going to need. Soon, the first level was complete. All right, I think this is going to be a very safe place for me to live. Just as I was saying that, there was an explosion that blew a hole in my wall. What was that? I took a closer look and saw that the base was under attack by creepers. Luckily, there was only one more, so I tried to fight it off. It exploded too, but at least it didn't cause any additional damage to the base. Looks like I better put some torches out. I got right to work, surrounding the base with as many torches as I could. I didn't even want to risk having more creepers blowing me up in the night. Once all the torches were out, I was feeling a little hungry. That's when I saw some desert rabbits hopping around nearby. Dinner! I ran around after the rabbits until I finally managed to take one down. I cooked the meat back at the base, then chowed down. That sure was tasty, but I'm gonna have to find out an easier way to eat if I'm going to live here much longer. On day 6 to 8, I got up and headed out the door. It was enough delay. I needed to start getting ready to fight back against the wolves. It wasn't too long and I found myself heading down into a cave. Time to find some iron. Just inside the cave were several iron veins, so I got right to work mining them all out. After a while, I had gotten plenty of iron, and I heard a growl behind me. Who's there?
What are you doing in my cave? Leave now or I'll be forced to take you down.
Please, I just wanted to collect some iron. These evil wolves destroyed all of my friends, and now I have nowhere to call home.
I know your pain. My family was taken from me when I was young too. Not by wolves, but by poachers at a nearby village. I've been all alone ever since.
Why don't you take revenge on those poachers? Have you seen yourself? You're a big, powerful lion.
I never really thought about it. I guess I didn't realize just how big I've gotten.
Yeah, let's do it. Although first I've got to drop this stuff off at my base. You can come along if you'd like. The lion and I ran back over to my base. When we arrived, the lion was impressed.
Wow, this is quite the place you've got here. Much better than my cold cave.
Thanks. Give me a bit here to get ready to go. I tossed the iron I had collected into the furnace and smelted it all down. When it was done, I got crafting and made myself a full set of iron armor. I even made myself a full set of iron equipment, which the lion was really impressed by. Turned out he was actually really nice. Oh, and his name was Lenny. On days 9 to 10, Lenny and I traveled to the village where the poachers were living. As soon as we got there, we could see the poachers. There were tons of small animals in cages, and they even had the lion's family's heads mounted on the wall. These guys were sick. Lenny wasted no time and attacked. I tried to jump in too so that I could help as much as possible. Lenny was so strong and managed to take most of them out. Suddenly, a couple of poachers surrounded him, and it wasn't looking good. Heads up! I jumped down from above and managed to take out the poachers. There were a few more left, but together we were able to take them all out. Nice job, Lenny. I know it can't replace your family, but at least justice has been served.
Thank you for encouraging me, Zozo. I feel much better than I did before. I also feel hungry. These little birds look delicious.
Oh, hang on. I know we like to eat meat, but these guys don't deserve the same fate as your family. Let's let them go. Lenny was disappointed but agreed, so we let them all out of their cages. I'm pretty sure some of them got away from Lenny just a little faster than they normally would have. We then headed over to the nearby farm and gathered up as many seeds as we could. If we really wanted to help animals, it looked like we might have to get used to a little more grain in our diets. Except when it comes to chickens. I took out a few chickens to eat later. I was still a carnivore after all. With all that out of the way, I asked Lenny if he wanted to live at my base with me, to which he happily agreed. Back at the base, I got right to work making Lenny his own bedroom. I felt bad he had been living in a cold cave alone all this time, so I did my best to make it really nice. On days 11 to 12, I went to find Lenny to ask him some questions. I asked him if he knew anything about the huge wolf that had taken out his family, but he said he wasn't sure. There was, however, a wise elephant that I could ask. I made my way to a nearby savanna to find the elephant. I tried asking all the animals I passed, but none of them seemed to know who I was talking about. As I was looking, I was suddenly attacked by a pack of hyenas. Leave me alone, you giggle freaks! I managed to hurt some of the hyenas. There were way too many of them. I was still just a little cat and had to get out of there. I managed to make it out of there, which is when I saw a baby elephant. Oh, I bet they know something. I ran over to them. Hey, I'm looking for a wise old elephant. Do you know where I can find them?
I do. Come with me. I can show you.
As we traveled, I noticed she seemed kind of sad. I soon found out why. We arrived in an elephant graveyard, and she brought me to a grave.
This is the elephant you are looking for. She was my grandmother and raised me after my parents died. I'm sorry to say, but she passed recently.
I'm sorry to hear that. I heard she was able to help a lot of people.
She was. In fact, she taught me how to help people the way she did. She would look into the water and could see things.
Do you think you'd be able to help me? A wolf has been destroying all of my friends and their families. I need to find him and stop him.
I would, but I'm too scared to try it by myself.
Before I could say another word, though, the hyenas from earlier attacked. But this time I couldn't run away. I had to protect my new friend. As I was fighting the hyenas, the baby elephant ran away. It was a hard fight. These guys were strong and there were a lot of them. But I couldn't fail now. I mustered up the courage and destroyed them all. On days 13 to 15, I went off to search for the baby elephant. That fight must have really spooked her. I've got to let her know everything is okay. As I ran across the land, I soon saw her at the stream. She was really scared. Hey, I'm sorry about that back there, but everything is okay now.
You fought off all of those hyenas? That was really brave of you.
Thank you, but can I let you in on a little secret?
What's that?
I was actually really scared. They had attacked me before, and the first time, I ran away.
Really? Why didn't you run away this time?
I thought about it, but I knew you needed my help, so I did my best to be brave. The elephant thought about it for a bit.
Okay, I will try using my abilities. You want to see where the wolf lives? I'll see what I can do.
We looked into the stream, and she started to explain what she saw.
It looks like he built himself an ice fortress in the Great Tundra. He'll often lead his wolf pack out to attack other animals, like cats. But he isn't doing it for food. He's doing it for fun. This doesn't look good.
Thank you for doing that. I know it wasn't easy, but you were great. I have to defeat him, but I know I'm not strong enough yet. Say, what's your name?
Oh, it's Delilah.
Delightful. Would you want to come live at my base with me? It might feel safer there.
Well, thank you, but I feel like I'm not ready to leave the land of my grandma yet. But please, come see me anytime.
I thanked her and took off. As I was crossing the stream, though, I was suddenly attacked by a crocodile. I already hated water enough. Now there were things attacking me. Come on, you little snapper, leave me alone. I tried to run away, but he was too quick. It looked like my only option was to fight. It wasn't too long, and he managed to take me out. That's when I saw my life counter change from 8 lives to 7. Oh no, that's not good. Problem was, I still couldn't run. The croc was vicious and wouldn't leave me alone. Suddenly, I had lost another life. Oh, I can't take much more of this. Luckily for me though, I had been getting hits in, and even though he had taken 2 of my lives, I was able to finally take his. And he only had 1. And stay down. I decided to explore the bank a little more, and soon saw the nook where the crocodile must have been hiding. I looked inside and there was a chest. Oh, look at all these fish! My favorite food. And in the middle, there was a mystical fruit salad. I don't really like fruit, but I'll give it a go. I scarfed it down and it turns out, it was delicious. Just then, I felt some power surge through me and I got bigger with more hearts. Wow, maybe there's something to this eating fruit thing. On days 16 to 19, I arrived back at the base. I met up with Lenny and he told me that he was feeling really hungry. Hey, you can have some of this fish I just got. He was pretty happy about that. Then I decided I should start planting seeds, as we would need to have a good food source. I decided to build the farm into the tower, and thought that worked really well. This farm looks great. I was thinking about the fight with the crocodile, and how I had lost so many lives. I was going to have to be more careful. So to do that, I decided to craft myself a bow. That way I won't have to be so close to danger all the time. But first, I'm gonna need some string. I took off in the direction of a nearby cave, and soon found some spiders. The spiders weren't nearly as happy to see me as I was to see them, and in no time, I had gotten myself enough string to make my bow. Now that I had everything I needed, I was able to quickly put together a bow for myself. It was just in time, too, because a black bear had walked up behind me. I hope this thing works. I started firing the bow, landing hits with my arrows. The bear was angry with me, but I was feeling way better with my ranged weapon. Soon enough, I had taken him out. On days 20 to 22, I had the urge to build. It was statue time. But in order to do that, I was gonna need some wool. I went and talked to Lenny about it, and he told me there was a herd of sheep nearby he was thinking of hunting. No, you can't hunt these guys. We'll need their wool. Lenny was disappointed, but agreed. He wasn't taking to a plant-based diet as easily as I was. I headed off in the direction Lenny had mentioned and soon saw the sheep. I took out my wheat and led them back toward my base. When we arrived, I quickly put together a pen, then locked them all inside. That's when Lenny came around the corner.
Okay, dinner.
Lenny, wait! You promised you weren't going to eat them, remember? They're for wool, not food.
Ah, shoot. Fine.
Next up, I needed to get some dye to turn the sheep into the proper colors. I went to the plains biome and found some cornflowers. Using the flowers, I was able to make some blue dye and dye the sheep blue. Now it was time to get started. Using the wool, I started on the first part. I feel like this one is going to turn out even better than anything I've built so far, but you'll have to be the judge of that. Soon, the first part was complete. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, otherwise you'll miss out on all my future adventures. On days 23 to 26, I felt like it was time to learn more about this wolf monster and travel to the Arctic where he lived. As I got closer, I heard some wolf howls and hurried up into a tree to hide. I'm not letting them catch me off guard this time. Just then, I saw the wolves come by, and as they got closer, I saw that I had a good shot with my bow. If only there weren't so many of them. I decided it wasn't worth the risk, especially with the wolf monster there. But now I knew for sure that he lived here. As I watched them, I saw them go toward a snowy village. They attacked some of the villagers and took out their livestock. These guys were horrible. They continued through the village, taking everything out. When there was nothing left, they left the village. Why would they do something like this? Now that they were gone, I went to investigate the village. There were some crops here, and it didn't look like the villagers were going to be needing them anytime soon, so I picked up as much as I could. As I was going through the village, I suddenly ran into a baby wolf. What are you doing here?
Hey you, leave me alone or else. I'm super mean because I'm a wolf.
Look, buddy, you're not fooling anyone. All the other wolves are gone. Fight me if you want, but we know how it's gonna end.
Ah, shucks, you're right. If the other guys knew I was gonna get shown up by a cat, they'd bully me so bad, even worse than they already do. Why do you think I'm here? They're always leaving me behind and being so mean.
I couldn't help but feel bad for this little guy. Look, it's okay. I remember what it was like being a little cat. Why do you say you come join me instead? These guys don't sound like they really care about you.
You can say that again. You know what? I'm out of here. Just because we're all wolves doesn't mean I have to put up with them.
He was pretty fired up, but I was glad I could help him out. We took off, back to the base. On days 27 to 31, we arrived back at the base. The baby wolf, whose name was Willie, immediately tried to eat the sheep. Hang on, those are our friends, not food. Here, let me get you something. I tossed him some fish, which he was happy to have. That's when Lenny came walking up to us. It turned out he had really been starting to enjoy the veggie life and wanted to share some with us. We headed up to the garden and Lenny tossed some new food out for us. I took a bite. Oh wow, these are really good. You weren't joking. Just then, I grew a little bigger and gained more hearts. Well, would you look at that? Eating veggies is actually good for you. You get more hearts and stay healthy. Nice. I then realized that Willie had nowhere to stay, so I got busy building him his own section of the base. It wasn't big, but it would be perfect for him. Since Lenny was so interested in farming now, I decided I would put a barn together for him too. This way he could put all his farming tools in one place and hopefully continue to not eat the sheep. Soon, the build was complete. I was starting to run low on wood, so I headed over to the nearby birch forest to stock up. I collected all the wood I needed, then decided to head back. On my way back, I was suddenly attacked by a giant cockroach. How gross! If I would have known there were bugs like this here, I wouldn't have chosen to live here. I had managed to make my way into a tree where I was able to pick them off with a bow. But suddenly, Willie came running into the fight. Willie, no, stay back! Willie ignored me and kept fighting. But it turned out, he was actually a really good fighter. Soon, we had taken them out. Whoa, nice moves. Those other wolves better watch out. You'd be able to kick their butts. Willie told me I was being too nice, and we headed back to the base. Later on, I had gone into the mines where I found some iron. I figured Willie could use some armor, so I collected as much as I could. Back at the base, I smelted down the iron, then used the iron ingots to make him his very own set of iron armor. I went and gave it to him, which he was very excited about. On days 32 to 35, I woke up to the sound of meowing. Could that be more cats? I went to take a look and it turned out there were a bunch of cats out there. Oh, hey guys, how did you find me?
There's a giant cat tower in the middle of the desert. How could we miss it?
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. They asked if they could live here, and I of course agreed. That did leave me with a problem though. I couldn't fit all of them in my room. So I got right to work making them their own rooms at the top of the tower. I couldn't believe more cats were around. I would have to keep an eye out for some more of them. Once I had finished building their houses, I went to work on the statue with Willie. I had to get the next part done. If my cat tower was drawing people in, I'm sure a big statue would bring them in too. Soon, we finished the second part. Back at the base, I decided to check in with the cats. They had settled in nicely. Hey, do you guys know of any other cats? I'd love to help as many as I can.
Well, there is this one woman we had heard of who takes in cats and cares for them. We were actually on our way there when we found your base.
You could try checking there. They explained to me where I needed to go. I wanted to make as many cat friends as I could. We would be stronger together. On days 36 to 39, I arrived in the desert the cats had mentioned, but I didn't see a house anywhere. Let me see if someone can help me. I talked to every animal I ran into, hoping they could point me in the right direction. But everyone I talked to said they hadn't heard of her. That's when I suddenly stumbled upon a huge desert pyramid. Well, it's not the house I'm looking for, but maybe there's something useful in here. I headed into the pyramid, which is when I saw a horde of zombies at the bottom. Luckily, I still had my bow, so I used that to hurry and take most of them out. Then I jumped down and finished the rest of them off with my sword. As I explored, I came across more zombies, but I was able to fight them off. Just then, I saw a button with a sign next to it. Just a normal button, trust me. Okay, I hit the button and another button rose up out of the ground. I shrugged and hit that button. I heard a noise in the other room and ran over to see a hole had opened up in the ground. Oh, what could be down here? I went down in the hole and found another button. This is getting a little ridiculous. I hit the button, which revealed a hidden room full of gold. Wait, seriously? I thought for sure this must have been a trap. I entered the room and started picking up all of the loot. This was some good stuff. I checked the chest and saw there was an enchanting book for Punch 2. Oh, now my bow is really gonna be able to knock people back. I was feeling pretty good about things, so I headed back out of the pyramid, off to try and find the woman's house. On days 40 to 43, I was running through some hills when I saw a group of llamas. Hey, do you guys know where I could find a cat lady's house? To my luck, they knew exactly who I was talking about. Turns out the house was just over the hill. They told me to be careful though. The lady was pretty weird. I ran in the direction they had pointed and soon saw the house in the distance. I ran up to the house when a woman came running out.
Oh, it's another kitty! Here, kitty kitty! Here, kitty kitty!
Oh wow, you're super friendly. I heard you had a bunch of cats here and I'd love to meet them.
Oh yes, I love cats! They're the best! Maybe you can even stay here with me!
Oh, well, maybe. I've kind of got my own thing going, but I'd love to say hi to everyone.
Well, please come in. Let me show you around.
The woman led me into her house and showed me around to the different rooms. I could hear some cats, but none of the rooms we went into seemed to have any cats. Something seemed off, but maybe it was just how much she seemed to love cats.
And this final room is my favorite. It's where all the cats live.
Finally! I stepped into the room, but all of the cats were in cages. What was going on?
You can be my newest friend!
Suddenly, I was hit with a potion and went to sleep. On days 44 to 49, I woke up inside of one of the cages on the wall. The crazy cat lady had captured me. I tried my best to break out, but she had taken all of my tools. Is there anyone out there?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. Just give up. There's no way to get out of this place.
What do you mean? How did you guys end up here?
We all thought this was going to be a good place for us strays to live, but she keeps us locked up in cages. She likes cats, but she likes them so much, she never wants us to leave, even for a second.
The cat lady had come into the room and was going around feeding the other cats. This might be my moment to escape. As she came to my cage and opened it, I pounced. Out of my way, lady! I saw a chest nearby. My stuff must be in there. Inside, I could see I was right and tried to grab as much of it as I could, but it was no use as I was hit by another one of her potions, which put me back to sleep. I woke up again, back in the cage. Tried punching the walls again, but it was no use.
I told you, it's better just to give up. This is our life now.
How long have you been in here anyway?
Oh, I don't even remember anymore. It's been years.
Years? I can't be here for years. What's going to happen to all my friends without me? On days 50 to 53, I awoke in my cage to the sound of panting. It was Willy. Willy, what are you doing here?
Something about this cat lady seemed fishy to me, so I followed you, just in case.
Boy, am I glad you did. Willy opened the cage and I hopped out. I was free. I ran over to the chest and grabbed all my stuff. Just then, the cat lady came in.
Is that a wolf? I hate dogs and especially wolves! I'll take care of you!
The cat lady drank down a potion and turned into a witch. All right, Willy, we can take this lady. We all jumped into battle. She might have been crazy, but she was also crazy strong. Even with our combined power, we couldn't defeat her. Suddenly, I lost one of my lives. Oh shoot, now I'm down to 5. I can't let her beat me. I focused all of my energy and took her out. Just then, there was a surge of energy, and Willy leveled up. Whoa, Willy, look at you! You're even stronger than before! Willy was super excited. Next, we decided to take a look around the house and managed to find an enchanted diamond helmet. Oh, nice! I'm going to be even more protected than before. Maybe I can hold on to my remaining 5 lives now. I then met up with the other cats and invited them to come live at my base with me. They happily agreed, and we set off. On days 54 to 57, I made it back to the base and got right to work making additions to the base. With all the new cats, we were going to need some serious upgrades. They had spent so long in cages, I wanted to make sure they had a nice place to live. Soon, their room was complete. Later on, I was chatting with the cats when they told me how hungry they were. I was pretty much out of fish, and I couldn't ask them to stick to a plant-based diet. Although to be fair, life Lenny had really gotten into it. Hang on, guys, I've got an idea. I headed back down to the base and went over to the water. Using my shovel, I dug out the land until I was able to connect the small pond near our base to the river. Now the water would run right by our front door and fish could swim right up. I felt like it still needed something though, so I got to work building a fishing dock. We could store our fish and relax here, while the cats could cast a line into the water. Once the dock was complete, I led all the cats over to check it out. What do you guys think? We should be swimming in fish in no time. They were all happy as they threw their lines into the water. They'd never have to be hungry again. On days 58 to 62, I collected some wool off the sheep, then headed back over to the statue. I got to work on the next part. I'm sure it's pretty clear what I'm building at this point, but what do you think? Was this what you were expecting me to build? Once I had finished my work on the statue, I remembered I had gotten some enchanting books. Using my new book, I was able to add the punch enchantment to the bow. This will certainly pack a punch now. My bow was great, but I was going to need armor to match, so I left the base to go to a nearby mine. At the bottom of the mine, I could see a bunch of monsters, so I decided to take the new bow for a spin. It was working great, and I managed to take out a ton of them. Some of them got really close to me, but I still managed to take them out, one by one. Whew, hopefully there's not any more of them down here. I kept exploring and soon came across another group of creepers. Oh no, not more of these guys. I tried to take them out, but couldn't stop them all from exploding. Ouch! But what's that? I noticed the explosion had revealed an unnatural block and could hear skeletons on the other side. I broke a block, which revealed the entrance to a dungeon. On days 63 to 66, I knocked out the rest of the blocks and was immediately rushed by some skeletons. Oh, get out of here, you psychos! These skeletons were fast. It's a good thing I came prepared. They tried their best to take one more of my lives, but I managed to fight them all off. Alright, let's see what's going on back here. I entered the dungeon and could see more skeletons. Using my bow, I quickly fired at them and took them out. That's when I noticed a button in the middle of the room. What does this do? Unfortunately, it was a trap. More skeleton archers rose up from the ground. I was surrounded. They fired their arrows as I jumped to get out of the way. Luckily, I could take some cover, but even as I jumped out to hit them, it was still too hard. Oh, wait a second, they're stuck. I can just leave. I headed into the hallway. I guess whoever laid that trap didn't think it all the way through. I went and explored the hallways. I wasn't sure where to go next. Then I came across a sign that said treasure room. Oh, that sounds great to me. I ran into the hallway, falling into a hole. It was another trap. Oh man, I should have known that would happen. I landed in a stone room where there was no way out. Suddenly, the wall across from me started moving. I was going to get crushed. There's gotta be a way out. I noticed some different looking blocks and started mining. At the last second, I burst through and fell down another hole. This time though, I landed in a pool of water. Oh, this place is crazy. I've gotta watch my step. Up ahead, I hit a button to open the door and walked through as lava fell from the ceiling. Luckily, I made it through the door quick enough before it could hurt me. The next room was full of lava with platforms I had to jump to. That would have been easy, except the place was full of skeleton archers. I tried to cross, but they knocked me into the lava. Ooh, hot, hot! I managed to crawl out before the lava burnt me to a crisp. I started shooting arrows at the skeleton, taking a couple of them out. That's when I noticed there was a chest and some diamonds up ahead. Oh, I've got to get to that. To reach it though, there was one more archer. I took careful aim and fired, taking him out. The treasure is all mine. I hopped the rest of the way up and opened the chest. Inside there was a diamond block as well as a bunch of diamonds. This is exactly what I was searching for. With everything out of the chest, I then mined out all of the diamonds in the wall. My pockets were now overflowing with goodies. Now how do I get out of here? I hopped across the room and saw a door, which I barely managed to get through after grabbing onto some vines. I swam up a waterfall and followed the hallways until I saw another room with a chest. Okay, there's gotta be a trap in here. I stepped forward slowly and set off a trap. That arrow nearly took my head off. I think there's only one way through. I took off at a sprint as the arrows flew by. Inside the chest was more diamonds, as well as some XP potions. I ran back through the traps, then loaded up on the XP. I went back through the hallways and soon saw another path through. I guess this must be the way out. I stepped forward when suddenly a bunch of lava came falling from the ceiling, trapping me inside the room. That was way too close. As I looked into the room though, I saw it was full of skeletons, including a big buff skeleton. There was no time to lose. I immediately started shooting my bow, taking out as many of them as I could. I got some hits in, but it was getting dicey. I didn't notice the buff skeleton had me in his sights, and after a good hit, he knocked out one of my lives. Oh no, now I only have 4 left. Over half of them are gone. I didn't have any other choice though. I had to keep fighting. I had managed to hit him a bunch, so he couldn't have had much health left. I hid behind a pole, then struck him with my claws, taking him out. Yeah, who's the tough guy now? And we'll just pretend that you didn't take one of my lives. That's when I noticed that I had actually picked up his head. Ooh, creepy. I wonder what else is in here. I ran around the room and saw a chest, which had an infinity enchantment in it, as well as some gold. In another chest, I also found a brand new bow. I knew just what to do next. At a nearby anvil, I added the infinity enchantment to my new bow, which gave me endless arrows. By now my pockets were filled with goodies, so I used some cobblestone to block the lava and left the dungeon. Back at the base, I stuck my mutant skeleton head above my door. Now everyone knows that this house belongs to one tough kitty. Now that I had a bunch of diamonds, I went over to the crafting table and got right to work, crafting myself an entire set of diamond armor. I was going to be super protected now. With the armor done, I also made myself a full set of diamond tools. It was just about time, as the iron tools just weren't going to cut it anymore. With all of the tools finished, I grabbed Willy and we got to work on the next part of the statue. It was time to add some details in, and I was excited to see how it was going to look. It didn't take too long, and we soon finished the next part. Back at the base, I was feeling like I was almost ready to take on the wolf monster, but asked Willy if he had any ideas of what I could do to power up.
Well, there's a special set of claws I've heard about. They're strong enough to rip through wolf hide.
That sounds like just what I need. Where do I find them?
There's a fort pretty far away from here that they are rumored to be in, but it's got some tough mobs defending it. I can show you the way.
That would be awesome. But first, let me go check with Lenny to see if he has any new veggies for me to take on the journey. I went up to the garden with Lenny, and he gathered me a fresh set of food. Thanks, buddy. You've gotten good at this. On days 71 to 74, Willy and I had reached a snowy taiga biome when suddenly we were attacked by a polar bear. I had just upgraded all of my gear, so the polar bear didn't really stand a chance against me. Together, we defeated him easily. Yeah, that was so easy. Suddenly, a bunch of polar bears came running out. Oh, this is not easy. The polar bears were really mad at us, and we were taking a lot of hits. This situation was all too familiar, and I suddenly lost another one of my lives. Oh no, only 3 left now. I had lost another life, but we had made good progress, and together, we were able to take out the last of the polar bears. It helped that Willy was now a full-grown wolf. We soon found a cave and settled in out of the cold. Thanks for coming along with me, Willy. I thought all wolves were bad, but you've shown me that's not the truth. Willy didn't say anything and started walking around in circles. It was kind of strange, but maybe he just wasn't comfortable expressing his feelings. It was getting pretty cold when Willy set out a campfire. Oh, just in time. We both settled in for the night. On days 75 to 78, Willy and I reached the snowy fortress deep in the taiga. This must be where the claws are. We entered the fort, but as we walked through, I couldn't help but notice the place seemed empty. There might have been a battle here long ago, but there was definitely no one here now. As we entered another section, the doors closed behind us. Oh no, it must be a trap. Get ready, Willy. That's when I realized it wasn't an enemy who set the trap. It was Willy.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but I can't resist my natural instincts. I tried, but cats are just too delicious.
What are you saying? Come on, we're friends.
I have a lot of respect for you. I didn't know a cat could be this strong. But I have to do this. And once you're gone, I'm going to lead the pack to all the other cats in the base.
Willy, get a hold of yourself. This isn't the right way.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but it's the end.
And just like that, we began to fight. Willy had gotten really strong, and his blows really hurt. I couldn't believe his instincts were this powerful. Please, Willy, it doesn't have to be like this. But it was too late. He was done talking, and I could see his wolf instincts had completely taken over. He kept swinging at me and managed to take another one of my lives. Ugh, only 2 left. I hurried and climbed up some trees, making my way to the top of the ruins. From there, I started firing arrows, landing some blows. Willy ran around, trying to avoid my arrows. It was making him really mad. I wasn't going to be able to finish it this way, though. I had to land a blow up close. I hurried and climbed higher into the ruins, firing arrows as I went.
Get back down here!
I climbed out the side of the ruins as Willy continued to look up where I was before. I snuck up behind him and delivered a sneak attack. It was just a few hits more, and he was finally defeated. Willy, why? I'm sorry it had to come to this. I ran outside and picked a flower. I carried it back inside and laid it where Willy had disappeared. I'll see you in the next life, my friend. On days 79 to 84, I was feeling really sad about the loss of Willy. I couldn't help but think though, Willy was super strong, and he was just a regular wolf. What chance did I have against the wolf monster? That's when I remembered Delilah the elephant could help. I traveled back to the savannah, and just in time too. Up ahead, I could see Delilah had been captured by poachers. You thugs, get away from my friend! I charged in as the poachers turned to fight. I had no time for these punks, and I had to save my friend. There was no way I was going to lose 2 friends in such a short amount of time. I was way stronger than the last time we had fought poachers, and so at long last, I took them all out.
Oh, Zozo, you showed up just in time. I don't know where I'd be without you. Or well, I guess I do. I'd be dead.
You mustn't talk like that. But I was hoping you could help me with something.
Oh sure, anything.
I need to defeat the wolf monster still, but I'm wondering if there are any special items out there that could help me. Could you take a look? Delilah agreed and took a look into some nearby water.
Okay, I can see the nether. There's a huge fortress there. And inside, oh, there's some claws. They look like they're strong enough to rip through wolf skin.
So those claws are real. Do you know how I can get there?
It's showing me a path to the nether portal. It's actually not that far from your base.
Wow, that's great news. I'll have to go get them. But before I do, are you sure you still don't want to live at my base? There's so many poachers out here.
Oh, I've definitely changed my mind. I would love to live there.
Delilah and I headed back toward my base. As we got closer, she caught sight of my statue.
An elephant. I love it. It reminds me of my grandma.
I miss her so much.
I wish I could have met her. I'm almost finished with that statue too. Just one more part to go, but I think you'll think it's pretty cool. From there, I got right to work building Delilah her own room at the base. The poor girl kept getting attacked, so I was glad she decided to come and live at the base with us. Her room was going to be at the top, so she was definitely going to be safe. Soon, her room was complete. Here you go. I really hope you like it here. Delilah assured me she would, and she especially loved the view out of her window. On days 85 to 89, I headed straight for the nether portal. I had to get those claws. Oh no, it looks totally destroyed. Hopefully there's some more obsidian in this chest. I opened the chest and luckily, there was everything I needed. Someone must have been here before. Just then, a snapping turtle came walking right over the chest and attacked. Ah, you're so slow and creepy. He wasn't very strong and I took him out quickly. Then another animal attacked me out of nowhere. This guy wasn't strong either and I took him out too. Alright, enough. Let's do this. I quickly fixed up the portal, replacing all the missing obsidian blocks. I stepped into the portal and was teleported to the nether. I stepped out into a soul sand valley and could see a few endermen roaming around. As long as I don't look at them, I should be good. But as I got closer, they turned and started to attack me. I guess they just really wanted me to stay away. Once I had taken them out, I took a look at my surroundings. That's when I noticed some ancient debris in the wall. Oh yeah, I can make some netherite gear with this. I mined out the debris and stored it away for later. It was time to explore. I took off into the nether, traveling across dangerous terrain and fighting off endermen. I found some more ancient debris too. There were also some ghasts that showed up, but I was able to take care of them with my bow. Soon, I saw it in the distance, the fortress from Delilah's vision. There it is! I just need to get across this lava, and the claws will be mine. I started jumping across the broken path, being sure not to fall into the lava. As I entered the fortress, I was suddenly attacked by a hellhound and a couple wither skeletons. I should have known something would be waiting for me. I tried to climb up some platforms as quickly as I could and started taking them out with my bow. The wither skeletons were getting too close for comfort, but luckily I was able to take them down. Now it's your turn. I jumped down and started swinging my sword, showing the hellhound who was boss. Even the dogs in a different dimension are mean. I kept swinging my sword and finally took the hellhound out. That was a tough fight. He destroyed most of my armor. But the important thing was that I had won. I went over to the chest and took a look inside. There was tons of loot, and most important, the claws were inside. I can't believe it, I got them! I took out the claws and equipped them. That's when I felt the energy surge through me, and I grew into a huge, super buff cat. Whoa, I'm extremely ripped, and I have way more hearts. It was time to take the fight to the wolf. On days 90 to 94, I returned to the base to see all of my new friends. It was quite the sight to see everyone so happy. We had all been affected by the wolf monster in one way or another, and it was great to see that despite it all, we had all found a place to call home. I was too big to fit in the door now, so I knocked out a space and grabbed some supplies out of a chest. Then I made myself a fancy new moving door. Ah yes, this will work perfectly. Now that I had a functioning door, I took the ancient debris I had collected and smelted it into some netherite scraps. Then I took some of the diamonds I had collected and made an entire set of diamond armor. Now I'll need a smithing table. I got the smithing table put together and then combined the netherite scraps with some gold bars to make some netherite ingots. Using the new ingots, I was able to then convert all my diamond gear into netherite. Now let's finish the statue. I headed outside and finished putting all of the details on the elephant. I thought it looked really nice and I was glad that it reminded Delilah of her grandma. Well, what do you think? Is this your favorite build I've done so far, or did you like another one more? With the statue complete, it was time to say goodbye. I met with all of my friends outside. Thanks for all of your support, guys. I'm going to go fight the wolf, but I'm still not sure how I'm going to beat him.
I was thinking about it, and didn't you say that crazy cat lady threw a potion at you that knocked you out? Maybe she had other potions that could come in handy for your fight.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'll have to go stop by there and see what I can find.
Good luck, Zozo. I know you'll make us all proud.
The rest of the animals chimed in. I never could have done it without all of their support. Time to get that wolf. On days 95 to 97, I arrived back at the cat lady's house. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. I ran up to the house to get inside. As I tried to take a look around, I realized I was too big for the doors, so I knocked out the walls to make myself some space. Something tells me she's not gonna mind. As I checked around the house, I eventually opened up her bedside table and found a bunch of blindness potions. No wonder she always had these on her. The lady literally slept next to them, but these will help in a fight. With the potions in my pockets, I headed off toward the wolf monster's base. I soon reached a snowy area and could hear the howling of wolves in the distance. But this time, I wasn't running. This time, I was heading straight for them.
Hey, you boys, check out this cat. He thinks he's real tough walking into our land like this.
Your pride will be the end of you. I'm gonna take down your entire pack.
Oh, cry me a hairball, fuzzbag. Bring it on.
We lunged at each other and started swinging. These guys thought I was weak because I was a cat, but they quickly found out I was super strong. I could tell they were scared, and soon, only one of them was left.
You're no cat, you're a freak. Just wait until the boss hears about this.
The last wolf ran off to tell his boss. Yeah, not even a warning is going to save him from me. The wolf wasn't very smart though. He was leading me right to their base. Soon enough, I saw a large fortress in the distance. This must be it. I walked up and started to explore. I could feel something behind me. I turned around and saw there was a huge sub behind me. Quick, subscribe to the channel. We must win this fight. On day 98, I charged into the base and was immediately attacked by some wolves. Out of the way, you mangy mutts. I swung my massive arms and knocked the wolves out. With my strength, these guys were a breeze. Soon, the room had been cleared. That's when I noticed something horrible. Is that what I think it is? On the stairs, there was a mounted animal head. These guys were a bunch of sickos. They had to be stopped. In the next room, there were even more wolves. Get a load of this, chumps. I smacked the wolves as they crumpled beneath my blows. They were able to get some hits in, but they were no match. No one was going to stop me from reaching my goal. Once they were all destroyed, I noticed what was on the table. More animal heads. I won't let them add any more. As I left the room, I noticed a button on a nearby wall. I hit it and a wall opened, revealing a storage room. Oh, nice. I bet there's something good in here. I started opening up chests and found a lot of gold, including some golden apples. Then I saw something out of the ordinary. There's warnings on this chest. Must be something good in here. I opened the chest and saw it had several potions of leaping. That would surely give me an advantage in the fight. Now I just had to find the monster. On day 99, I wandered through the halls and eventually walked into the Great Hall. The wolf monster was seated on a golden throne.
Oh, what is this? A cat walking right into my house? Who do you think you are?
You know who I am. You destroyed my entire group of friends.
Yeah, you'll have to be more specific. I do it all the time. It's literally all I do.
I'm Zozo.
Oh, Zozo. Yeah, I still don't know who you are.
It doesn't matter. Today is the day I take my revenge.
Yeah, get this cat out of my sight.
Suddenly, the wolves around the table charged. He might not know who I am, but he was about to find out. I knocked out his wolves in no time.
I always knew I was surrounded by a bunch of weaklings. I'll do this myself.
The wolf monster charged at me. The fight had begun. This was ending today. He was still strong and was really knocking me down. I ran away to try to get some space, eating some food to heal.
Get over here, you little cat.
I tried fighting him as I went, getting hits in here and there. I soon made it up a set of stairs, turning in time to start firing down arrows at the wolf monster.
Oh, knock it off!
I kept firing arrows until he had reached me. He kept hitting me, and eventually I saw my life counter appear again. I only had 1 life left. I had to make it count. I kept running through the castle, trying to play it safe. Every now and then he would catch up, and I would swing my claws to knock him back. Some of his wolves even tried to jump into the fight, but I was able to knock them away. My health was starting to get really low though. Alright, let's see what he thinks of this. I took out one of my blinding potions and managed to hit him.
Oh, I can't see. What did you do?
The wolf ran off as I hurried and ducked for cover. I was safe for a moment, so I hurried and ate a golden apple. I had been getting hits in, but it didn't seem to be enough. It was time to try something new. I could hear the wolf in the hallway up ahead, so I snuck up behind him and smacked him. Surprise!
Oh, you sneaky little cat.
We exchanged some more blows, and I ran off, making more space. I was really starting to hurt him now. Just then, we ran into a room with a couple of his wolf cronies.
Get this guy off my back!
I thought wolves didn't run away from anything. As I went back out to fight, I saw the wolf had disappeared. Where did he go? I kept searching around the place until I ran into a strange sign. Place sacrificial heads. Oh, I don't love that, but maybe it could help me. I ran around the palace and gathered up a few of the animal heads. Then I placed them on the altar. Suddenly, a hidden door opened, and the wolf monster was hiding on the other side. There he is! I ran up to face him. Give it up, man, you can't beat me! The wolf shook his head. He wasn't gonna go down easily. We charged as his sidekicks attacked. It was an epic battle, but they were no match for me. I even tried using the leaping potions, which helped me to get to higher ground and use my bow. This is for everyone you've hurt! I swung my claws, hitting him again and again. He wasn't even sorry for what he had done. At long last, I swung my claws, destroying him for good. Goodbye! The wolf was finally gone. Now we could all live our lives in peace. On day 100, I made it back to the base. All of my friends were there to greet me, and I couldn't believe the fight was done. We were finally free from danger. The world was once again a place of peace. On day 1, I spawned in as a kangaroo. Hoo-ha, I'm a tiny little kangaroo. Look how bouncy I am. I was so busy bouncing, I barely noticed the little Tasmanian devil that started to attack me. Back away! I swung my fist and punched that little baby right out of here. Hot dang, I'm tiny, but I can pack a punch. I took a look around for some trees to start my adventures when a much bigger Tasmanian devil came out. Uh-oh, looks like I made the dad angry. I gotta hop on out of here. I ran away as the Tasmanian devil looked angrily on. If I could find my kangaroo family, I knew I would be safe. As I hopped around, I could see I was all alone, so I
I made myself a simple shelter to spend the night. Maybe tomorrow I can find my family. On day 2, I headed back over to where I spawned in and saw the Tasmanian devil was nowhere to be seen. Looks like the coast is clear. Let's get that wood. I started punching the trees and had soon gathered a good amount of wood. Using the wood, I managed to make myself some wood tools that would come in handy later. Turned out that later was now, as a snake came out of nowhere and attacked. Where did you come from? I swung at the snake, hitting him right in the face. It didn't take long, and I was able to take him out. Not bad, my guy. I looked over and saw an emu was watching. Why don't you come over here and let me get a sample of that power? You wanna fight me? Just box. Let's go. I didn't see the harm in a little training, so I started swinging. The emu was a good fighter and had clearly been well trained. After a bit of sparring, he stopped. Yeah, you've got some real talent, but you've got lots to learn. Let me introduce you to my trainer. He'll have you becoming a real fighter in no time. I agreed and followed him. As we walked, he introduced himself as Ernie. We soon arrived at an old rundown gym. As we entered inside, I soon saw who his trainer was. It was an old turtle. Master Balboa. I ran into this kangaroo, and I think he's got some real promise. The old turtle looked me up and down. I don't see much here. I won't train him. Oh, come on. Maybe he can help with the silence? Okay, he can stay here. Be ready for training at sunrise. I don't know why this Master Balboa was so hard on me, but I agreed to be trained and went to bed in the gym. On day 3, I was woken up by Master Balboa. Already sleeping in, I see. Beggars can't be choosers. Up. You will start by cleaning this place. I took a look around the gym and saw that there was a lot of work to be done. There was a lot of stuff that needed to be cleared out, and there was a lot of room for improvement. I wonder how long it had been since someone had cleaned this place up. Once I had done a fair bit of cleaning, I decided that I didn't want to be sleeping on the floor anymore, so I made myself a small room for me to sleep in. It wasn't anything fancy, just a place to rest. After I had finished, Master Balboa came up to me. Too good to sleep on the floor, are you? Every student sleeps on the floor and earns his dues. I don't know why you think you are different. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I just thought it might be a little more comfortable. One can never do the uncomfortable from a place of comfort. You do well to remember that strength is forged in the trials of fire. Man, this guy was always speaking in weird sayings. Just then, a mountain tortoise appeared. Uh-oh, this guy looks like he wants to hurt me. Let's get out of here. No, Zozo, this is your fire. Fight him and forge the strength you need to win. Okay, I'll give it a shot. The tortoise was tough. He was really hitting hard and I wasn't feeling confident I could win. That's when I could hear Master Balboa shouting at me. A tortoise's strength doesn't come from the hardness of his shell, but from the will of his heart. What? Don't hit the shell, hit his soft spots. Oh, right. I focused on the tortoise's neck and started landing some good hits. In no time, he was taken out. After he had disappeared, I felt some adrenaline coursing through me and I leveled up into an even stronger kangaroo. I have even more hearts now too. Ernie was really impressed and shouted his encouragement to me. I thought I even saw Master Balboa crack a smile. Just maybe. On days 4 to 5, I found myself facing off with Ernie. My skills had improved, but my emu friend really knew how to fight. As we fought, I asked him some questions. So have you seen any other kangaroos around? I can't be the only one. Ernie didn't say anything, but I could tell he had something to say. Master Balboa spoke up instead. There are many animals who have trained here. One of these animals was a legendary kangaroo. He was one of the greatest fighters to pass through this gym. Even he, among many others, was unable to defeat the buff bear. All have failed. I hate that buff bear. I've seen too many of my friends fall to him. Nothing will stop me from destroying him. Patience, Ernie. Rage is a cancer that can blind even the clearest of vision. Ernie calmed down, but I could still sense his frustration beneath the surface. I felt his anger though. That buff bear was going to pay. On days 6 to 8, I woke up with an idea. If we're really going to take down this buff bear, we're gonna need better training facilities. I think I can help with that. After I had gathered some stone, I was suddenly attacked by the Tasmanian devil for my first day. Joke was on him though. I was even stronger now. Let's see how you like this. I swung my fist and really let him have it. I don't think he was expecting me to be so strong, and I was able to knock him out in no time. Someone bit off more than they could chew. I grabbed a little more sand, then headed back to the base. Now that I had a bunch of materials, I used them to start improvements to the gym. I felt like I had a strong purpose and a clear mind. Master Balboa would be proud of that. After a lot of sweat and hard work, all the improvements were complete, at least for now. On days 9 to 10, Ernie and I were out for a jog. The problem was, Ernie was so much faster than me, he had to keep waiting for me to catch up. He didn't seem to mind though.
What a slowpoke.
I looked over and saw a monkey was watching us. Hey, that's not a very nice thing to say.
You're right. I'm not very nice. I'm nicer than that dump you call a gym, though.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Why do you care? You're not gonna be around much longer anyway.
What do you mean?
My Master Buff Bear is gonna wipe you and all your little friends out soon enough. You're all just a bunch of weaklings.
Buff Bear? You think Buff Bear can beat us? Ernie jumped to the monkey and they started to fight. Yeah, get him, Ernie! The monkey and Ernie were pretty evenly matched, but I believed in Ernie. Just then, someone else came running into the fight. It was the Buff Bear! Ernie, watch out! Ernie was outnumbered. I had to help. Heh.
More Balboa students for me to destroy. You guys are pathetic. We were holding on. Buff Bear was strong. I was starting to get worried about Ernie. Stop this at once! Master Balboa had arrived. He seemed to catch us all off guard as everyone stopped fighting. Balboa crawled out of your shell to train some more weaklings, I see. Bear, your strength is your weakness. Are you two really listening to this old fool? Don't insult him. You're a real jerk. I challenge you to a fight. Ernie? No. Yeah, I'll fight you, little guy. Looks like you better go with your babysitter. You know where to find me. Master Balboa then pulled us away as Buff Bear and his monkey henchmen left. Ernie, I told you your anger could be your downfall. Master Balboa, I've been training so hard. I know I can beat him. Master Balboa didn't seem so sure, but didn't say anything else. If you're gonna go through with this, you'll need all the help you can get. I'll do what I can to help you prepare. On days 11 to 12, I decided to continue doing some upgrades to the gym. Ernie was going to need every advantage, so I made sure to give the gym the improvements it needed to give him the edge. It's going to take more than a nice gym to win this fight, so we better get some upgraded gear. I took off and soon found myself in a forest. I headed into a nearby cave and quickly found some iron. Just what I was looking for. I had collected the iron I needed when suddenly I was attacked by a sunbird. What the? Where did you come from? I tried to hit him, but he was too tough. My health was starting to drain though, so I had to get out of there. I ran off. How could I beat him? Then I had an idea. I climbed up to get higher than the sunbird, then jumped off. Heads up! By doing this, I was able to land the final blow. That's when I saw he had dropped some items. Oh, nice! These will be perfect for the base.
You saved me!
Confused, I turned and saw Platypus was talking to me.
That sunbird wouldn't leave me alone.
Well, he'll leave you alone now, but it is pretty dangerous out here. Do you have a safe place to stay?
No, not really. I'm all alone out here.
Well, why don't you come live at my training gym with me?
Oh, I've always wanted to be stronger. That sounds great.
We headed off for the gym. We soon arrived, and I had a chat with Master Balboa.
Zozo, I'm not running a charity here. You can't just invite anyone you meet to live here.
But he was all alone. I can build him his own place. He won't be a bother. I'm sure of it.
Well, these are dangerous times.
Very well. I quickly got to work putting together a room for the platypus, whose name was Perry. I wasn't sure how much training Master Balboa was going to let him do, but in any case, he would have a place to stay. I also took some time to build myself a crafting area. Once my crafting area was set up, I smelted all the iron I had gathered. With all the iron smelted, I then took all of the iron ingots and used them to make myself a fancy new set of iron tools. I also used them to make myself some iron armor. The iron armor is still a little big for me though, so I'll save it for later. On days 13 to 15, I woke up to a strange noise. We were being attacked by a gang of monkeys. Buff Bear's cronies. We've got to stop them. I jumped into the battle, hitting as many monkeys as I could. I couldn't believe Buff Bear would send a hit squad like this. I was taking some of them out, but they just kept coming. Suddenly, Buff Bear entered, and the fight was really on. Ernie and Master Balboa tried to fight him off, but it looked like they were in real trouble. Then, out of nowhere, I was trapped in a cage. All I could do was watch as Buff Bear attacked my friends. Master Balboa took a hard hit. Ernie was now in danger. This looked like the end for him. No! Oh, wait, it was just a dream. Thank goodness. I was still feeling nervous about it though, so I went to talk to Ernie. I told him about my dream and that I didn't think it'd be a good idea for him to go through with the fight. Ernie just laughed it off, saying I was being paranoid. He was sure he could win the fight. I hope so, but keep an eye out for any funny business. On days 16 to 19, I woke up and saw that Master Balboa and Ernie were already hard at work training. Whoops, Master Balboa isn't going to like that I slept in again. I was still feeling a little nervous about Ernie's fight though, so I went to talk to him about it. He told me that I needed to stop worrying. That's when Master Balboa started to talk to me.
Zozo, enough jibber jabber. You already slept too late. It's time to train.
Yeah, sorry. I had a pretty bad dream. What's on the schedule for today? Master Balboa led us over to a corner of the gym.
There's a spider infestation down there that I don't want to deal with. The two of you can get down there and clean it up. There's more equipment on the way, and we need space for it.
Oh man. Alright, we're on it. Ernie and I broke all the boards, as well as the spider webs. Master Balboa was right. It was a mess down here. We got right to work destroying all of the spiders in our way. I wondered how long they had been down here. I really hope Master Balboa knows what he's doing. This is nasty. Soon enough, the spiders were all cleared out. We then got to work patching up all of the broken sections. This place was in rough shape, but we were sure we could get it looking nice in no time. As we finished, Master Balboa came down to meet us.
Zozo, there's a delivery waiting for us. Go ahead and bring everything down.
I ran upstairs and greeted the delivery man. He handed me the boxes of equipment and I took everything downstairs. Inside of the boxes was a bunch of exercise equipment.
Well boys, hop to it.
Ernie and I unloaded all of the equipment and got everything set up. There were a lot of good areas to train in now. Just in time too, because Master Balboa was ready for us.
Time to hit the equipment.
Ernie and I ran around the gym following Master Balboa's instructions. It was a lot of hard work, but Ernie had a big fight ahead and we really needed to push him to be his best. The new equipment was great too. I was definitely going to be sore tomorrow. As we finished our workout, I could really feel my heart pumping. Suddenly, I grew into an even bigger kangaroo and gained more hearts. Whoa, I feel great! As we all celebrated my new strength, Perry came down the stairs.
Wow, you've grown.
I wanted to find you guys as I know something that might help. There's some powerful boxing gloves at a far-off land that makes the user punch even harder than normal.
It's just what we could use. Perry explained where we needed to go. I told Ernie to keep training, and I would go find the gloves. On days 20 to 22, I headed out to go find the special gloves. Perry told me where to go, but mentioned it was very dangerous. As I got closer, I could see why. This outpost is crawling with desert raiders. This isn't going to be easy. I snuck my way up to the front door as a patrol of raiders walked by. Maybe I could sneak in. I moved further into the base, trying to hide behind things. I'd gotten much bigger though, and that was harder to do. They soon spotted me and attacked. Looks like I'm gonna have to fight my way through this one. There were a lot of raiders, but with my new strength, it wasn't too much of a challenge to knock them out of the way. I had to be careful though, because if I got too cocky, they could easily overrun me with their numbers and take me down. Soon I had fought my way to the top of the base. As I moved to take the power gloves, I heard a noise. A buff raider was looking at me and charged. Bring it on! This guy was no ordinary raider. He was stronger than the others and had a different weapon. As he hit me, I even caught on fire. Whoa, tone it down, big guy. The fire hurt, but I had to keep fighting. I couldn't let Ernie down. I kept on punching and hitting until finally I landed the final blow. The power gloves are all mine now. I walked up to the gloves and picked them up. They fit like a glove. As I left the base, another raider tried to attack me, but I punched him so hard he went flying. The other guy simply turned and tried to run away. I've got the power now. As I arrived back at the base, I could see Ernie outside training. I could tell he was feeling a bit nervous. Hey Ernie, are you feeling nervous? I'm here to support you no matter what. There's no shame in calling it off. No, I can't call it off. I've been waiting for this my whole life. All right, if you say so. In any case, I have some good news. I got the power gloves. These should give you a serious leg up. I tossed the gloves over to him, and he was super excited about it. I could tell this really raised his spirits. I was still nervous about him doing the fight, but there was no way I was going to change his mind. On days 23 to 26, it was time for the big fight. We all made our way to the arena and soon arrived. Ernie was in high spirits, and we were feeling pretty good. Maybe he could win this thing after all. As we approached, the monkey from before stopped us.
Hi, you chumps. Buff Bear wants to make this fight a little more interesting.
Oh boy, what's that?
This fight won't be to the death, just until someone gives up. If the emu here wins, which he won't, Master Bear will let any of the captured birds go. But if he loses, he'll be Master Bear's servant for life.
There's something fishy about this, Ernie. I don't think it's a good idea.
Tell your boss I'll take it, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the birds go free.
The monkey chuckled and went to tell his boss. Later, Ernie had stepped into the ring, and we could hear something up above us. Buff Bear had hung cages all around the arena, cages that were filled with all of Ernie's friends. This guy was a sicko. An announcer stepped into the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Rumble Fantastical! In the red corner, we have the powerful, the mighty, the undefeated Buff Bear!
The crowd went absolutely nuts with cheering. He was definitely going to have the home field advantage.
And in the blue corner is an emu.
The announcer walked off. You got this, Ernie.
Make us proud, son.
There was a ding, and the fight was on. Ernie and Buff Bear jumped at each other. They were both landing some heavy hits. Come on, Ernie, show him who's boss. Ernie was swinging his hardest, and it looked like he was actually winning. I bet Buff Bear wasn't expecting those power gloves.
What's wrong, Bear? Scared you finally met your end?
Ew, I guess I'll start trying now.
Buff Bear started hitting even harder than before. He wasn't bluffing. He had just been toying with Ernie. Ernie, watch out! Buff Bear was really landing blows now. All Ernie could do was try to defend, but it was no use. This fight wasn't going to last much longer.
Okay, I yield. You win. I'll be your servant.
Please, I have enough servants. You think I'm not going to give my friends a good show?
No, you made a deal.
Oops, guess I lied.
Ernie, watch out! Buff Bear swung his claws and destroyed Ernie for good.
No!
The crowd went wild as Buff Bear celebrated with them. Oh, let's get him!
No, Zozo, I can't lose you too. Quick, grab the gloves and let's get out of here.
I jumped into the arena and collected the power gloves. Master Balboa and I got out of there as fast as we could. On days 27 to 31, we had made it back to the gym. I couldn't believe Ernie was gone. We'd only known each other for a short time, but it felt like we had become brothers. I went outside and saw Master Balboa looking off into the distance. We'll get our revenge on Buff Bear. I know it. Master Balboa sighed.
Zozo, it is impossible. I can't keep letting this cycle repeat itself. Ernie said the same thing to me when our last student was defeated, and that student said the same thing when we lost the one before. I am a failure as a teacher. I should just close up the gym and be done.
No, you can't do that. I've learned so much from you, and I know I have much more to learn. If you're gone, it will be like I've lost everyone. Master Balboa thought about it for a moment.
Fine, we can continue, but you must promise you won't challenge that bear. Training is for the strengthening of the self, not the domination of others.
I smiled. He was back to himself. I promised to train for my own betterment, not for the destruction of others. I meant what I said, but there was something inside of me that was telling me I needed to avenge Ernie. I didn't feel like I needed to mention that to Master Balboa though, so I changed the subject. I think we should do something to honor Ernie, and I know just what to do. Using some of the supplies from the gym, I got to work building a statue. I had a special idea in mind, and I think you'll like it when I'm done. It wasn't too much longer, and the first part of the statue was complete. On days 32 to 35, I went to have a chat with Perry. Even if we weren't going to challenge the Buff Bear and his monkeys, we needed to be strong enough to defend ourselves. Perry said he was ready to begin training, and I decided it would be good to go and try to recruit more animals. I headed out into the land, and soon came across an abandoned farm. I didn't see anyone, so I decided to go ahead and grab some of the nearby crops. As I was finishing up, I heard a cry in the distance. What was that? The sound got closer. That's when I saw a baby pig was under attack by a group of cougars.
Help me, help me!
I charged in, punching the cougars. Leave him alone! The cougars must have been so hungry, they didn't even pay attention to me. The poor little piggy was really in trouble. I took a few swings, and soon, all of the cougars were gone. Hey there, buddy. Are you okay?
Yes, but no. This was my family's farm. My family was captured and taken away by the henchmen of Buff Bear. I was next. Thank goodness you came along.
Happy to help, but it's not safe out here. Please, come stay at my gym with me and my friends. You'll be much safer there. Pig was thrilled at this idea. Oh, and his name was Wilbur. On days 36 to 39, Wilbur and I had arrived back at the base. I brought him inside and introduced him to Perry, who was hard at work training on a dummy. Perry, I'd like you to meet Wilbur. He's going to be staying with us, and I thought he'd make for a great training partner. Perry and Wilbur started chatting and hit it off right away. Then they ran off to go do some training. While they were doing that, I decided to go outside and work on the farm. Using the crops I had collected, I planted everything to give us a nice food supply. With the farm set up, I then got right to work, building Wilbur his own room. The poor guy was missing his family, but at least we could give him a home here in the meantime. Once the room was complete, I headed back to the ring to guide Perry and Wilbur in a practice fight. The two of them weren't very strong yet, but we would get them there. Master Balboa came over.
And who do we have here?
I introduced Wilbur to Master Balboa, who seemed happy to see him there. He didn't seem to be quite as strict as he was when I first arrived.
But remember, the things you learn here are for your defense only, not for attacking others. Speaking of which, I have something to share with you, Zozo.
What is it?
If we are to be prepared for an attack, we must have every advantage available to us. There is a powerful defensive item that you need to find.
Master Balboa then explained the direction I needed to go. He wasn't sure of its exact location, but another animal in the area may have heard of it. I set off right away. On days 40 to 43, I was still traveling across the land toward the special item. Off in the distance, I could see a watering hole. Oh, perfect, I could use a drink. As I got closer though, I was stopped by a gazelle.
Hang on, you can't go over there.
Why not?
Don't you see that lion? He attacks anyone who tries to drink. He's a real jerk.
A real jerk, huh? I've got a thing for getting rid of jerks.
Well, if you can get rid of them, I'll give you something good.
Sounds like a deal. Hang on a second. I hopped over to the lion. Without a word, he attacked. Wow, they weren't joking. You are a jerk. This guy was tough, but he had no training. His fighting style was messy, and he just tried to swing mindlessly at me. I bobbed and weaved, landing blows. He still got some hits in, but in the end, I managed to take him out.
You did it. Wow, that was really impressive. Here, take this.
The gazelle tossed out a specialized pickaxe. As I looked closer, I could see it was enchanted with efficiency and fortune. Whoa, this is a massive help. Thank you. I ran off and soon found a cave. I had to put this thing to use right away. As I explored the cave, I soon found what I was looking for. Diamonds. The perfect thing at a time like this. I'm going to be able to upgrade all of my gear. My pockets were soon full of diamonds, and I headed out to keep looking for the special item. On days 54 to 49, I was finishing up my diamond mining. Suddenly, I heard a noise behind me. What the heck is that? A giant two-legged monster was looking at me. It attacked. I had never seen a monster like this before, but it was really powerful. I was starting to get worried because my health was really dropping. It doesn't look like I'm gonna make it. Just then, a colorful warrior came stepping in and finished it off. Whoa, you're super strong. Where did you come from?
Technically, I came from 1,000 years ago.
Whoa, are you some kind of time traveler?
No, not exactly. In my lifetime, I was cursed by some evil witches, and now I can't rest until I've defeated the ancient ghost warrior.
Ghost warrior? That sounds spooky. What is that, and where do you find one?
Follow me.
I took off after the ancient warrior, and we soon arrived at an old temple. As we got closer, I could see there was some kind of magical force field blocking our way in. The ancient warrior explained that in order to bring down the shield, we'd have to defeat 3 nearby ghost shamans.
I have come here many times, but I'm not strong enough on my own. If I could get your help, there would be something in it for you too. Inside of this temple is a powerful defensive item that can only be used by the living.
That sounds like the item I've been searching for. I'm in. On days 50 to 53, the warrior and I soon saw the fire tower looming in the distance. On top, the fire ghost shaman was waiting. We charged up the tower, fighting blazes along the way. Out of the way, hotheads! The warrior was really impressed with my skills. We soon reached the top. The fire ghost shaman took one look at us, then attacked. We had an intense battle while he set off explosions around us. It was hard to believe that there were 2 more of these guys. With the combined power of the warrior and me, though, we managed to finally defeat him. After he disappeared, we noticed that he had dropped a key. Oh, we can use this to unlock the barrier. 2 more to go. Sometime later, we arrived at the ice tower. It was a huge ice spike protruding out of an icy wasteland. It was quite the sight to behold. Let's get to it. This time the tower was covered in skeletal warriors. They were vicious in their attacks, and at times I was scared they were going to knock me off the tower. We got lucky though and managed to make it to the top. Problem was, there was no one there. Where is he? Do you think someone defeated him already? Without warning, some ice in the wall broke and the ice shaman came charging out. Quite the entrance there, sir. The ice shaman put up a big fight. As we battled, he shot ice spikes up from the ground, which were really scary. A hit from those would do some serious damage. We were tough though and managed to take him out. He too dropped a key, which we picked up. Later, we arrived at the final tower, the storm tower. It too was an impressive sight, towering over the surrounding land. We didn't have time to be impressed though. We had a key to collect. We charged up the tower, racing to the top. Protecting the tower was a small army of lightning allays. They would shriek as they flew in, trying to hit us. These guys are freaking me out. It took a lot of effort, but at long last, we had almost reached the top. There was just one problem. Looks like we've got some jumping to do. Hopefully we don't fall off. The platforms had been covered in water and were a little slick, but we were doing okay. That's when a small storm cloud opened up and started shooting lightning at us. You can't be serious. We kept hopping across the platforms, doing our best to avoid the lightning strikes, which, as you can imagine, is not the easiest thing to do. Yet somehow we managed to reach the top. There was a burst of lightning and the storm shaman appeared, floating on a thundercloud. Let's show this prehistoric storm junkie who they're messing with. The shaman started to fight us, shooting lightning as he went. Come on, man, cool it with the lightning. He was quick, but not too quick. We hit him again and again, taking some hits of our own. It was a close battle, but in the end, we were able to come out on top. And there's the last key. We picked it up. It was time to let our warrior rest. On days 54 to 57, we had returned to the temple. The warrior stepped forward and placed the keys in the elemental circle. As he did so, each key floated in place until at long last, the barrier was destroyed. We entered the temple and went up the stairs. As we reached the top, I could see the item floating on a table. The eye of the tiger. That must be it. We ran forward to grab it, but heard a strange noise, stopping in our tracks. What was that? Suddenly, the ground broke and we fell down a long hole. Oof. Where are we?
Who dares enter my tomb?
Sitting in front of us on a throne was the ancient ghost warrior. He was dressed in a tiger skin. There was no way I was going to get that item without defeating this guy. All right, Catman, let's dance. Ghost warrior charged. The battle was fierce and everyone was getting in some hard hits. The thing is though, we were winning. For an endless being, you aren't very tough. We landed a pretty heavy blow, which sent the ghost warrior running back to his throne.
Feel the wrath of the elemental beings.
Suddenly, a small force field appeared, and the 3 elemental shamans came running through the portals. These guys again? We can do this! It was hard enough fighting these guys one-on-one, but all 3 at once was a real challenge. Before, we had always outnumbered them, so this was a tough fight. Luckily, these reanimated warriors weren't as tough as the ones in the towers, as they didn't seem to be able to use their special attacks. Hang on, buddy, we can beat them! Slowly but surely, we were able to start taking them out. As one would fall, the force field would weaken, until finally, they were all gone.
I will end this!
The ghost warrior attacked us again, but it was clear we were too powerful. He tried his best, but soon, he was destroyed.
Thank you for your help, Zozo. Please, go and claim the Eye of the Tiger. I will stay here and assume my final rest.
You're a mighty warrior. Enjoy your afterlife. I ran up the stairs and grabbed the Eye of the Tiger off the pedestal. I don't know what exactly this does, but I guess I'll find out. As I went to exit the temple, I saw the warrior standing at the bottom of the temple steps. What are you doing here? I thought you were on your way to the afterlife.
Well, I did too, but nothing happened. Did you get the item?
I did, but I'm not sure what it does exactly.
You will never leave this place.
The ghost warrior had reappeared at the top of the stairs and came charging at me. He hit me super hard, but I immediately responded with an even stronger counterattack, knocking him out in one hit. Whoa, what was that?
It was the item. It lets you deliver a powerful blow, but only if you take a powerful hit yourself.
Interesting. Say, if you're not going to be disappearing anytime soon, why don't you join me on my quest?
I've got nothing else to do. Sounds great.
Awesome. By the way, what's your name? I bet it's something really cool and ancient sounding.
Tim.
Tim? Like short for Timothy?
That is correct.
Okay, well, that's still cool. Let's go. On days 58 to 62, Tim and I arrived back at the base. I headed straight to Master Balboa to tell him about the item I had found.
That is most impressive, Zozo. I'm so happy that you made it back in one piece.
Master Balboa let out a cough. That didn't sound so good, but I didn't want to press him. He was also looking a little shaky. With Tim at the base, I needed to make sure he had a place to stay. I wasn't sure if undead, timeless ancient warriors needed to sleep or not, but I did my best to make him a comfortable place. At the very least, he could just enjoy the feng shui. Tim then called me over to him and told me that his 1,000 years of life came with some training tips. Following his instructions, I made some improvements to the gym. These are really going to help us out. With Tim all set up, I then headed over to the crafting table to make use of all the diamonds I had found. It had been something of a miracle that I was able to win all the battles I did using subpar armor. Soon, I had everything upgraded and was ready for my next fight. On days 63 to 66, I decided to get some more work done on Ernie's statue. I had gotten a decent amount done when I heard a noise coming from the base. As I looked, I saw the base was under attack by the monkeys. And this time, it wasn't a dream. You scumbags, get back! I started to fight off the monkeys, taking a lot of them out. Buff Bear was strong, but his students weren't. He must not be a very good teacher. I then hurried and ran inside the gym, where there was a pack of monkeys attacking Master Balboa. Get away from him! Master Balboa was holding his own, but I could tell he was eventually going to be overrun. I helped fight off the monkeys until only the henchman monkey was left.
You may have defeated a little army, but as long as you keep training and getting more members of your gym, we'll keep giving you these little visits.
Enough is enough. We will never give up. Tell your boss this is an official challenge. I challenge him to a fight to the death.
Oh, okay, pal. Your funeral.
The monkey turned and ran off. I ran over to Master Balboa. He wasn't looking so good.
Zozo, why did you do that? You promised me you wouldn't fight him.
Promised I would only fight out of self-defense. They attacked us. Isn't that what I'm doing? Master Balboa let out a cough. He had been seriously injured. We don't have to worry about that right now. You need to rest up and heal your wounds. I'm sorry. I led him to his bed to rest. Things weren't looking good. On days 67 to 70, I got to work, building a medical area that would have all the things that could help Master Balboa to heal. I hoped he could pull through. When I was done, I went to check on him again, but things were not looking good.
Zozo, I don't know how much time I have left, but I need to talk to you about this fight.
Master Balboa, it's okay. Save your energy. I know what you're going to say. We don't have to talk about this now.
We do, Zozo. I just want you to consider something. You can live your life in peace at this gym, restoring it and training the next generation of protectors. You don't have to throw your life away in the pursuit of revenge. Don't answer me now. Just promise you will think about it.
I promised him I would think about it. While I thought about it though, I decided to get to work repairing the gym. The monkeys had caused a lot of damage and we needed to get things back in case they attacked again. Once the repairs were complete, I went around the outside of the gym, putting up a fence. A little extra security could make a big difference in the future. As I was finishing up the fence, Perry came over to talk to me.
Hey, I've got some information you might find useful. I know where you can find that monkey.
Oh, do you? Because I wouldn't mind having a little chat with him.
There's a club nearby that he likes to hang out at. I'll tell you the way.
Perry explained how to find the club and I set off. If I decided not to fight Buff Bear, at the very least, I was going to take out his monkey. On day 71 to 74, I arrived outside the club Perry had told me about. There were some bouncers standing outside. Out of the way, boys, or I'll move you myself. The bouncers weren't interested in my threats and we started to fight. How bold of them to think they were going to stop me. I was able to knock both of them out pretty quickly. As I stepped into the club, there was a shout and a bunch of monkeys started to swarm me. Bring it on, you tree rats. Where's your leader? I smacked the monkeys left and right, sending them crashing into the tables and chairs. I wasn't in the mood for their sad attempts to take me out. I only had one thing on my mind: revenge. Come on, where is he? I know he's hiding around here. More and more waves of monkeys came running out, but it didn't matter. I tossed them around like stuffed animals and took them out quickly. If they weren't going to show me where the henchman was hiding, I was just going to have to start destroying their club. I ran around the room, busting up the tables and chairs. I ran around, breaking everything I could. If he was going to come to my house and break my stuff, I had no problem going to his and doing the same. Surely this would draw the monkey henchman out. On day 75 to 78, a nearby door opened and the henchman finally revealed himself.
Hey, what's the big idea? I thought we told you where you could stick your little kangaroo paws.
Did you really think you could come to our gym and not have anything happen in return?
You said you wanted to fight Master Bear, not me.
Turned out I had some room in my schedule. You and me, alone. Now, let's go!
Sure, I can crush you myself.
The henchman leapt forward, getting an early hit in, catching me off guard. He was stronger than I was expecting.
What's wrong, Happy? Spending too much time hugging trees and drinking tea with your turtle grandpa? How is he, by the way? I hear he's not doing too good.
You're about to pay what you did to him. I landed a really hard hit, which I could tell really shook him up.
Nah, not like this. You won't beat me.
Suddenly, a bunch of monkey guards came running into the room. You coward, always hiding behind others. You talk tough, but you're weak. If Buff Bear wasn't around to protect you, you'd have disappeared a long time ago. I managed to knock out the crowd of monkeys. The monkey henchman looked around, then took off running up a flight of stairs to the roof of the club. I chased him to the top. What are you so afraid of? I thought you were going to crush me.
What are you doing at that turtle gym? How did you become so strong?
It's called training. Maybe you should have tried it instead of running your mouth. The monkey henchman was cornered at the edge of the roof. Hey, come on now. I just wanted to rough that old turtle up a bit, you know? It's not a big deal. We're not so different, you know? We're both strong-willed. So what do you say? Let's call it a draw and I'll get Buff Bear to call the fight off. No, I punched him so hard he flew over the edge, disappearing into the night. I had no more time for slimy monkeys. As I ran down the stairs, I noticed there was a note on the monkey's desk. I picked it up and took a look. Do not worry about Zozo. Even if it comes to a fight between me and him, I have a man on the inside. We will poison Zozo before the fight and ensure my victory. This must be from Buff Bear, but a man on the inside? I'll have to keep an eye out. On days 79 to 84, I arrived back at the base. As I got closer, Perry came running out.
Zozo, come quick. Master Balboa has been asking for you. I think this is the end.
I hurried inside and saw Master Balboa was looking even worse than before. He looked like he didn't have much time left. Zozo, my end is near, but I needed to speak with you. I'm sorry, Master Balboa. I've been rash. I know I need to call off the fight. If that is your final wish, I will honor it. And finally, you understand. What do you mean? Zozo, I know you. And while I know you mean that when you say it, your desire for revenge will grow stronger with every attack Buff Bear launches. Even the strongest warrior can't run in two directions at once. Wait, do you mean to say you want me to fight him? I do. I've known this from the moment Ernie stepped into the ring with that bear. It was always your destiny to avenge Ernie and save this gym. But I needed you to understand that you cannot defeat the bear with a heart of rage. You've been preparing me this whole time, and I didn't even realize it. Thank you. I'm afraid someone here is trying to sabotage me though. I found a note from Buff Bear saying so. If a friend is going to cross you, they may have their own reasons why. Be patient and have compassion so you may learn why. Goodbye, Zozo. I will be with you. Master Balboa turned to his side and vanished. I couldn't believe he was gone. Suddenly, there were some blinking lights as experience poured in on me, leveling me up into an even bigger kangaroo with more hearts. Master Balboa's final gift. I won't let him down. As a show of my gratitude, I headed outside to do some work on the statue. There was something new I felt I should add. Now that Master Balboa was gone, it might not look like much, but soon enough, it will be something great. On days 85 to 89, I walked around the gym, visiting with each of the new friends I had made. Each of them had a piece of advice for me. Tim spoke of speed in the fight, using fast movements to evade the enemy's attack in order to land my own. Perry showed me what he had learned about his tail and shared with me a secret he had discovered that allowed him to hit twice as hard with it. Wilbur spoke to me about the power of perseverance. Sometimes things get hard in the fight, but by keeping your head down and continuing to fight, you will always make it through. As Wilbur was explaining, Perry came over. He had a note from Buff Bear. Greetings, Zozo. I accept your challenge and I will meet you in the arena in a few days. Best get ready soon. As I read the note, I noticed Wilbur was acting a little funny. I'd have to keep an eye on him over the next few days. On days 90 to 94, I woke up and decided it was time to make my final preparations. I felt more powered up than ever, but there was still more that needed to be done. There was no way I could let Buff Bear take me out. First things first, I've got to upgrade my armor. The strongest armor comes from netherite, so I needed to head into the nether. I set out to find obsidian. I had ventured deep into a cave where there was lava and was able to collect all the obsidian I needed. Using my newly collected obsidian, I then set up a portal outside and lit it. Going to the nether always makes me nervous, but here we go. I stepped into the portal and the purple haze took me away. Safely in the nether, I got right to work, looking for ancient debris. Unfortunately, this wasn't going to be an easy trip, and I was soon fighting my way through. Out of the way! I fought as hard as I could, and managed to clear a path. I had to hurry though, there was always something hiding around the corner. After plenty of searching, I managed to get all of the ancient debris that I needed. I also grabbed some gold. This will help me make netherite ingots, but I can also use it to finish the statue. Once I had collected everything, I headed back to the portal. On days 95 to 97, I arrived back in the overworld and made my way back to the gym. Using the ancient debris, I was able to smelt it down into netherite scraps. Then using the netherite scraps and gold, I made some netherite ingots. Now I can get truly powered up. I took all of the diamond armor and gear I had collected and upgraded everything to netherite. I had no idea what Buff Bear was going to show up with, so I had to have the best. After that, I headed outside to finish the statue. Using all of the supplies I'd collected, I was finally able to give it the final touches. As I'm sure you figured out by now, it was a trophy of my two friends, Ernie and Master Balboa. As I finished the statue and admired my work, I suddenly had a vision.
Zozo, it's me, Ernie.
Ernie? I can't believe it. You're back.
Well, no, I'm just here, in your head. But I wanted to say thank you for working so hard to avenge me.
Yes, Zozo, we won't see you there, but we will be supporting you. We know you can win.
Thanks, guys. I was starting to feel a bit lonely, but I feel much better now, especially since someone is going to try and poison me.
Zozo, remember, they may have their reasons, so meet them with compassion, not anger.
I nodded as the two of them vanished away. I'll do whatever it takes to win. On day 98, I woke up to the sound of a knock at my door. It was Wilbur.
hello, Zozo. I thought you could use a pick-me-up before your fight. I made this for you.
Wilbur seemed really nervous as he passed the drink over to me. As I took a closer look at the drink, I could very clearly see that it had poison in it. It was labeled. Before I could say anything, though, Wilbur piped up.
Zozo, wait. Don't drink that. It's poisoned.
Yeah, I saw that. Wilbur, what's going on?
I'm sorry for trying to poison you. Buff Bear is blackmailing me. He knows something about me and threatened to tell everyone if I didn't help him.
What do you mean? What could be so bad that you would poison your friend?
The truth is that I love clean water. Bathing in mud is so gross. But if anyone found out, especially the other pigs, I would be ridiculed until the day I become a pork chop. Please don't tell anyone, and please forgive me.
The advice of Master Balboa repeated in my head. It's okay, Wilbur. I forgive you. And don't worry, if anyone ever gives you a problem about liking clean water, you just let me know. I've got 2 fists that will have a word with them.
Thanks, Zozo. You're a good friend.
I decided that I would even do him one better and got to work building him his own special hot tub. I wanted him to know that he would never get made fun of here. Once the work was completed, I gathered everyone together for one final chat. They were all so excited for me and began to give me words of encouragement. I didn't know what I had done to have so many great friends. As their encouragement grew, I suddenly started to as well. Out of nowhere, I became a big, buff kangaroo. Let's go kick some buff bear butt. And don't forget to hit subscribe. I can't do this without your help. On day 99, we made our way to the arena. The day of the fight had come. As I entered, I could see not much had changed from before. Buff Bear and I stepped into the ring for our introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the latest Rumble in the Rotunda! In the red corner, we have the mighty, the majestic, the powerful, the one, the only, Buff Bear!
The monkeys in the crowd went wild in admiration.
And in the blue corner, a kangaroo.
Buff Bear and I were facing each other. He had a sly grin.
Hope you're not feeling a little under the weather today.
You mean like poisoned? I feel great, actually. Turns out your friend is actually my friend.
What? That useless pig. After I beat you, he's dead.
Keep dreaming. We got ready for the bell. Buff Bear was going down. As the bell rang, we both leapt into action. I had been preparing for this moment for so long, I just had to win. Even then, he was still incredibly strong.
Silly kangaroo. You've wasted your time at that old decrepit gym. You should be putting your talents to use as my servant.
I'll never be your servant, and you're going to pay for what you've done to Ernie and to Master Balboa. We continued to exchange blows as the monkeys around us were going crazy. I had to be careful. One slip up, and he was going to be able to knock me out. I felt like I was winning and was getting some good hits in. Looks like your time is coming to an end.
Guess I'll stop playing around then.
Oh no, it was his fight with Ernie all over again. I was in trouble. He started to really hit me, and my health was really starting to drop. Just then, I heard a voice in my head. Master Balboa!
Focus, Zozo, and use the eye of the tiger.
Of course, the best offense was a good defense. I lowered my guard, letting myself take the full impact of Buff Bear's hit. As I did so, the eye of the tiger let me absorb the blow, sending Buff Bear out of the ring and into the afterlife. I did it! The monkeys were stunned. They couldn't believe it, but I could. Justice had been served. On day 100, I was back at the gym, right where I belonged. With Buff Bear defeated, we could train and grow in peace. The world had become just a little bit safer, but we had to be ready, always.